Right there from Rocker on that break attempt. Everybody attacking a different angle, winning their one-on-one, spawning Boston all the way across the map. Now this final 30 seconds is going to be yours, and Estriel, he continues to shine, man. I've grown to be such a big fan of this young man's gameplay. The way that he's able to finesse, the moves he's able to make, the play-making decisions that he's able to make. He's just an outstanding SMG player.
Absolutely agree with it. I think most would. Nice double here from Gio. A little bit of support onto Purge, but kill still comes through. Not able to turn that into a second. So we'll get a 3v3 over the top of Kitchen. Now down to what happens over the top of the bar. Back and forth we go. Cammy versus Estriel, but Cammy's been septexed and damaged, and that'll be enough for him to kind of hold his ground while the rest of his team tries to come and support.
Yeah, when he thinks the regen's gonna come on in, another stun connects. Now he's still stuck at bay and allows Minnesota Rocker, at least for now, to work their way back into the HP. But Boston have the numbers, they get it clean forward. Dead spawn starting to get a little bit scattered, and this is where Snoopy can tend to be a little bit activated. Turning, burning onto multiple players. They had at least a 3 dead for Boston. They in control of the spawns for the next hill, but Awakening dying in that position now allows Minnesota Rocker to work their way on out.
Yeah, not a strong start for Wake, just 4 in 10. Nero on the other side is 5 in 11, so you've got a couple of vulnerabilities for both these two teams, but as you kind of exclaim, we're in a little bit of a dire spot. Good prediction from Wake, can't quite finalize the elimination onto Estriel, and you see Kenny spawn right up behind P4, so Minnesota will win the rotation to the spawns to New.
Now you just gotta hold down the first push. You know that Boston are gonna
Kenny actually look alright. I don't think he's I don't think he's a free under anymore. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't think he's dropping any more triple nags.
All you have to do is just finesse though. Estriel again on 5 in a row. Just doing a great job of just playing the objective. This is how you want to contest here at P4.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get Nero right here with him. For Estriel, dances away from the Septex, and now you can try to break this open if you're Rocker. And Estriel's just playing.
Yeah, I mean, he still might not play amazing, but I don't think he's dropping any more like 10 and 30s.
From the front and flip the spawns. Looking for this back 15 seconds, but Boston close by, still giving it a fight.
Yeah, Purge, final player here to potentially contest it. At least
I was thinking about the Snoopy. I looked at the thing. Snoopy was, I think 31.5 is, that might be the highest I've ever seen. Like, I think I've seen Hydra at that before. I don't think they've ever gone above, like, that's one of the highest lines they've ever made.
Gives them a 35-point lead, and Estriel is still not missing.
No, he's looking real solid at the moment. I know Ann often likes to talk about this Minnesota team before 3 p.m. Sometimes they look a little sleepy, but Estriel has been lights out. Now Kenny follows up. That'll be enough for Rocker to get into the hard point and break past the
they're about to all hit their over, I think.
Now you can already see they're taking a lot of space with it. So every gunfight is super important here for Rocker.
Maybe not Wake.
Everyone that you find over here towards poolside, you will spawn them all the way
Kenny looks pretty solid, actually. Even his POV. You remember when they used to switch to his POV, he would be getting like turned on and shit. Now he's actually like getting 2 pieces and shit.
Still 15 seconds to fight for, but you have
I don't know what was going on that team, but
yeah, Nero can just kind of play
he's not bad. So I don't know what the hell. There was something weird going on there, but he's not bad. It might be. Hey, you know what? It might be. We might have to take Kenny overs because they might not have adjusted his line to his new skill.
Snoopy actually spawns back up as well. So
because they're still treating him like he's pissed.
Supply this hold from P2.
Yeah, that's way too sloppy there from Rocker because you find 3 kills. Nera just gets a little too aggressive in towards bedroom. Once you cross that pathway of that 50-yard line that I always love to say, in towards the bedroom with no one blocking.
Yeah, he was only at 26. Where the whole rest of the lobby's at almost like 30. Like Purge and Snoopy were both at 30. I think Gio was 30, Estriel was 30. Nero was 29.5, 30. Like he had like the lowest line in the lobby, and I don't think he's the worst player on the game anymore.
Back towards P2, you get another player who spawns up while the break is unsuccessful, but you still cannot make good on that. And now the game has become to a point where it feels a little unreachable if things go even slightly south as we head over to P3. The good news for the Breach are there's a little bit of pressure on Old, plus they also have the setup that they want for New.
Yeah, they had the rotation over towards New. You want to keep this hill basically scrappy, but the P4 needs to be the money hill. So So you can fight yourself back into this game. But Minnesota with the angles.
Control is a little weird, dude. I don't. It's a Hacienda control, I believe. I don't. Unless it's vault control, I'd probably just stay away.
Still doing a little bit of objective work as well.
I don't know.
Need to get in. They need to guard soaking up this time.
I mean, this is just another one of those rocker games where Estriel and Geo just take over, and you allow an opportunity for a player like Nero, who starts off like triple neg, to get back to even. Like, it's just unbelievable how resilient this rocker team is. And so we kind of go back and forth between those two POVs. 70-point game, and as we start to look over towards P4, Minnesota Rocker working on it as we head into a rocker listening.
Look, okay, let me see, dude. Let me look at his POV. He actually looks like, man, they gotta stay on it, bro. I want to see it. It's gonna be a quick match.
Play the top. Play the top. That's fine. I just fucking took the ball. I know. We need to get. I'm getting there. I'm winning plot.
Bro, Nero got most time again. I mean, it's pretty even this map, but he still got the most time. I think they changed the way they play.
That's fine. I'm gonna double it with you, bro. That's fine. I need every time. Y'all together. Yeah, we are. I said double in the vent. I'm down, sure. Yeah, drop. I got stun. Go. My bad. You get. Top right. We're good. Go catch or some shit. Yeah. Let's all go top. Okay, that's fine. I know some other smoke. Y'all get. Where's the top first? Hop. He dropped. Let's get shit. Maybe piano press. Yeah. I need G. Run him down. And what's up?
Geo gets kills, especially versus like mid people or shit people. He be slaying them out.
Well, for a moment in there, I mean, we're looking at a 210 to 110 point game. Boston really do a solid job at P1, but unfortunately, right as soon as they need to put together a hold to string together 1-2, they get foiled, and now Minnesota's in a position to win the game.
We might have to consider Kenny over because his line is so low.
Basically -10 besides Snoopy. They had that one sequence there.
They haven't realized that he's not ass anymore.
Like you said, final 10 seconds, you're dying at P1 with a clean 4 dead. Minnesota Rock were able to flip those spawns. Now they can close it out here. Yeah, that's going to be the game. Boston just decided to have too much of a slow start. Actually, Snoopy going to give it one last hurrah, but no, yeah, GG. Minnesota way too strong there. Map number 1, the slang was just all there for Rocker.
Yeah, that's one of the series you just gotta look at and you just think, damn, like that from start to finish.
Okay, well, let me see the map. I think it's Hacienda, right?
It was really just down to the fact that Geo and Estriel were dominating from the word go. Nero, a little bit of a slower start,
if we can get to a map 4,
finishes, I think like +7, +8. Like,
maybe.
Everything seems to be clicking for this Minnesota squad. And, you know, Jan, we're going to have a whole highlight package and a scoreboard to take a look at here.
Wait, do we have Faze?
We just have to introduce the topic of conversation of, like,
need Faze maps
about this Minnesota team that Kenny is
should be getting them very soon.
Usual form. Do you think there was just something going on in that Optic Texas game?
If they tweeted them.
Is this just kind of a turn-up moment where Kenny says, I got to play for my career right now?
Hey, I don't know, man. I don't want to say anything about the Optic camp. Obviously, we know their struggles. They went 0-18 map count with a World Championship roster. Everything just simply was not working. But Kenny, we know what he is capable of.
Oh, they tweeted the fucking
change. Like, that's all you're looking forward to. And a different fire as well. Like, whenever you're one of those players who get released or get dropped.
We'll wait for maps for Faze. I think you use it in any state, no? Is there any state where it's... No, there probably is some states where, I don't know, if it's legal in Texas, it's probably legal everywhere. I'm sure you're good.
A world champion, a phenomenal leader. They are playing for him as much as he is playing for them. And you can just tell he's feeling a lot more comfortable. There's not as much stress as it possibly was representing the green wall. Minnesota Rocker with players like Estrier and Nero still trying to work up their names because Nero's been in and out the league multiple times. And same thing could be
got banned for what?
These guys are
What do you mean you got banned? Oh, you got shadow banned for that?
Adding a player like Kenny, you're going to want to listen to him. You're going to want to all be on the same page. And I feel like even before adding Kenny to the lineup with Paul X, they had a great system. It's just Paul X is way too inconsistent. So now with Kenny in the lineup, better leader, better player, the guy has just been filling in those shoes very well.
It's just, I think, interesting to see like the overall like career pathway that Kenny has had. You know, I gotta give kind of a lot of love to the Breaking Point guys for putting out the story of Kenny video from a couple of weeks ago. Really well put together.
It says I'm temporary.
I feel like, you know, with this team,
I mean, when you log into, did you log into the ban appeal thing
that he may not have had
on the website?
Before? Like levels of it with that Thieves team from prior, a little bit of that with Optic, I think, as well when it comes down to having the experience of World Championships.
You know how to check that?
Not like this, where you're, like you mentioned, essentially taking 3 younger players that have a lot of ceiling, a lot of potential, but have not been able to crack the code to becoming a major talent in the CDL. I feel like this is another kind of notch into another chapter of what Kenny can bring as an asset to a CDL team.
I feel like that's a lot of the stories for a lot of these veteran players in the CDL, even before the CDL even came about. Like Kenny was playing COD when he was like 13, 14, and then the age restriction came in. Then he had to take a couple years off, and he came back, joined that TK lineup alongside Accuracy, alongside Chino, and they were able to host a couple championships together back in the day with him being such a young player. It's just like you see the evolution for certain
you
guys.
could check
like,
if you're shadow banned. Just go to
as he got older in his career, he became one of
just
the best
type in COD ban appeal.
And the same thing could be said for Attached. Like he was at SMG
and like Google and just
it's like
go to their little page and log in.
You start to understand the
and it'll tell you if you're shadow banned or not.
And then you just start to take off with it. But when you take a look at this young man right here so far in year 2, Gio is just unbelievable. He kind of let me down throughout stage 2, but he's back in full form so far in stage 3.
Yeah, and I think the thing about this Minnesota team, and trust me, fans, we will talk about Boston here in a moment, but talking about this Minnesota team and their inconsistencies, especially in search and
I got shadowed before on this game for D-ranking, so I don't know if there's something with that, because I remember one time when I was D-ranking my account all the way down, I hadn't played a game on the account in like a week. I literally just D-ranking it the whole week. And I got shadowed for that, so I don't know.
Round 11 loss versus Optic. Of course, you had the round 10 win on Rewind, where we're going right now. That's going to feel good for you. But on the other side of things, you know, I think this is an interesting point because for Boston, you look at like the wider and the more open the map is, the more opportunity that this guy has, where Snoopy can kind of run free. Do you think he's going to find that same kind of success on a map like Rewind, like he would on like a red card, for instance?
Oh yeah, if I remember Boston correctly, in the beginning of the season when Rewind S&D was a match,
I don't know.
In stage 1, Boston preferred
to play kind of weird on this game.
You know what Snoopy's going to do. He's going to roam around Ziggs, try to dominate around Jen's area. And the same thing could be said on the opposite side for Nero. So that's going to be a nice little battle to see right off the rip.
Why did he just shoot him? What the fuck?
Yeah. And that's not going to end the game. I think Gio just walked right in front of Kenny. That's tough.
I think so too. There may have been a set down on the corner there as well. So 3v4 situation already. Estriel has seen a small piece of Kenny.
How did he team kill him? They just, I don't know what just happened.
Container.
The fuck?
But this crossfire setup inside of Jen's is going to be difficult. Does Nero get a look at Cammy up top? No, but Cammy's got to look at him, and that'll be good for our confirmed first blood, actual. And with the follow-up coming through, this will be a pretty clean round for Boston.
Yeah, 1v4 now. On the cards here for Kenny. Only
if it says no ban, then you're good.
And it's going to lead to a Boston.
Because it'll say like limited or whatever.
Around there. It also helps when the first blood, you don't have to do anything for it. Get that early man advantage. You're able to spot Nero with Cammy playing that position towards top 18. Tucks himself in the corner towards glass and just commits on that gunfight, puts them in a numbers advantage, and Boston, with ease, take the round 1.
Yeah, and I think the thing about this Boston squad, just to kind of give our diligence back the other direction here, is their improvements over stage 2 in the search and destroy metrics in particular were, I think, obviously what the doctor needed. I mean, there were so many times that we saw these guys just kind of struggling. The problem is they did a lot of that by playing through maps like Skyline. They played Skyline a lot in Major 2. Did not necessarily find a lot of success with it, but you have to be thinking that, like you mentioned, the early roster success on this map when it was still in at the beginning of the year, this has got to be a bread and butter for Boston coming back into the pool.
You can already see on this round the slow and steady approach. Watch Minnesota Rocker play this a couple days. They like to take space in towards DVD. 35 seconds already gone. Single ounce of noise given up on the side of Rocker. Now Boston attempting their push in towards DVD. Narrow knockdown to 50 HP, trying to get out of dodge.
Yeah, and this trophy system is going to keep this defense very safe at glass. Snoopy looking like he wants to try to challenge this. May have to. Finds Estriel. Nice little drop shot. Trades out for Kenny. Follow-up is there. We're going to go to a 2v2. And Cammy will create a bit of an exit. And whoa, the last shot through the shelves will connect, leaving Gio to the 1v2.
That's time to work with. 25 seconds to go. Clear out this A site. Not able to spot him. So
good read.
Already has the read. They're potentially going over towards B. He's going to spot the player crossing. And he also has a frag to work with. Might want to invest it here.
Yeah. Texan back. Does find damage, but the bomb gets planted. Can he find any piece of Cammy? Can't stand. You know that Purge is going to be looking at you. Nice shots, though. It's clean. Now to the 1v1. Over the top. Cammy in trouble. Both players down low. The reset comes out, though. And now it's Cammy on the high ground. Gio trying to play off of the bomb. Hasn't seen him yet up top. The snap is decent, but Cammy too quick on the trigger, and Boston saved the round.
Such well played right there out of Cammy. Gets the objective down, knows that Gio is somewhat close into this fight. But then the finesse good enough. Also, the SMG in the back pocket is going to help. As he takes the positioning towards top 18, he was ring around the Rosie and all-out mix fest in through the middle of the map. And I'm pretty sure Cammy was able to line up 3 with the wall bang onto Kenny. So the Cam man securing around there for Boston. They go up 2-0.
Clean stuff, man. Well, I mean, it gets a little dicey there at the end, but like you mentioned, Cammy coming up big. He's on 4 in a row, 4-0 up. Opening trophy system for Minnesota's offense, trying to keep them safe as they approach over towards generators. Oh, and Purge just gets caught. Yeah, no one had any contact over through streets. Just a late check from Kenny. He finds good timing on it.
Yeah, that's just some of those plays that really irked me with the Boston Breeze squad, is that we're relying on Purge to just individually trying to win this round. But then if he gets called, you're instantly putting a man disadvantage, and then Minnesota Rocker just picking you apart one by one.
Yeah.
Don't really need to take those risks this early into the map. Now to 1v4 for Cammy, able to get killed number 5, dancing with number 6, unfortunately can't find it. And Rocker finally put one on the board.
Yeah, that seemed like one of those setups though for Boston.
We got the map. Hold on, they tweeted. I was waiting. Sky.
And is just watching for a cross.
Faze is playing Skyline. Skyline. Protocol.
You don't see anyone for the first 15 seconds.
Protocol again.
He's probably saying, "You're good. I got your cross." And then Purge trying to play early flank.
Skyline Proto.
Gets caught just on the timing of Kenny wrapping back to check. It just felt like one of those rounds where Boston were trying to get aggressive and test the waters. Doesn't really play Skyline.
Yeah,
they're playing all the shit they don't play.
Because every single angle you can see
they're already high
really
as fuck.
Distance, so Kenny just backs on up for that first blood, and that leads to the round W. Now Boston, your opportunity here. Try to make up for it on the attack. Already showing a lot of presence in towards DVD, and you have gen control.
Yeah.
Just clear out glass. We can plant the spawn.
Yeah, should be. It's gonna have to be a retake from Rocker. You have to think that they have set themselves up for this though. But like you mentioned, the problem is multifaceted here because you have to get some level of control at glass or just flood quickly through the site. And the problem is Purge is on your flank now. And the timing is unbelievable from Purge. He's got, whoa! Thought he had 2 for free! But Estriel snaps, finds the kill, makes this more doable to the 2v2. But 20 seconds on the clock. The re-wrap from Boston, they can check over the bomb. No one's on for the defuse, and Rocker are in a very tough spot from a timing perspective.
Yeah, they're running out of time. Someone now has to stick the defuse, and the player who's watching over him in Astro has to find both kills. Not going to be easy to do. He's not going to stand a chance in Boston with the early aggression. Able to bounce back off of that defensive round. Secure the attack. Plant the bomb immediately in towards A, and I love that version of Purge. When the play is already developed, it's not you trying to start it off by yourself. You know that everyone's going to attack through glass. You know they're not going to work through gens because you already had presence on that side of the map. But just catching that timing, even though it doesn't lead to 2, it forces Minnesota Rocker to put a lot more focus on that side of the map and didn't have any time to work the defuse. So Boston, now 2-round advantage.
Still a little bit tighter than you would have liked, I think, just due to the fact that Purge should have had 2 for free. But lessons learned, I think, for both squads. Minnesota, I imagine, will not be letting that flank go uncovered next time around. Nades over the top this time. Trophy system placed a little bit later for Rocker, trying to get RV to rig control. And stuns will come behind this. No defenders, though, over the top of Courtyard, and that's just kind of a game plan that doesn't really find success from Minnesota, and now Boston are punishing for it. Really well done, but Estrel's got 3 and almost has a chance to reset, but not quite.
He just needed the extended clip right there, that
quick
Jackal.
ass fucking.
Because he was able to find 3, just simply runs out of ammo, and there's too many players from Boston still.
I don't like any of these
Around the
lines,
area.
honestly.
Purge has him a little bit weak, finishes with the slide and glide.
I'll
Ready
investigate
for
after
that
this.
defensive push over
They're
towards
already
B.
way high.
Complete line counter there. On the side of Boston, as they are starting to pull away into search and destroy. Vibes are high. As smiles are from cheek to cheek. They know that they love to be a 2-3-5 team with sometimes stealing some hard points, but we need that 3.
Yeah, I think if you're Minnesota, you got to reevaluate that approach towards B. If you don't get
Oh,
any
the
stuff
Lakers
right
game
towards
is.
the back of the
Oh,
site,
that
you
shit's
have to be
early, huh?
responsible for what is coming through glass and shelves, but
Why is that
that's a
shit so
conversation
early?
for another day. As Minnesota have found the first engagement favorable. Cammy has extended over through Burger, though, and Purge behind this. They could reset, but he gets caught on the mantle, and now it's just down to Cammy for the 1v3.
Hey, don't put it past him, though. 8 and 2, making 9 and 2 so far. Fantastic search and destroy by this young man. And a minute to work with. He has information on both players. Can he line them up? A team kill happens, but unfortunately, you're not able to put any bullets on the player behind him. Minnesota Rocker almost let that one slip away, but they secure the round. Now down by 2.
Yep. This is the big round coming up, though, just to see if Minnesota can develop something on offense, because so far they have not really found much success in terms of manipulating the map. So I'd be curious, are they going to try to do something along the same lines of which they've shown to this point, which is this early kind of aggressive push up towards Gents? Nades over the top towards Courtyard have often been a part of that, but I'd be interested to see if Kenny just holds the angle over towards Burger Side Street first. Yeah, like right here. And maybe you try to work for some information because you know Boston's been getting this for free. And yeah, Kenny's got some good intel on this cross.
Oh yeah, he spotted at least 2 players already through the mid street, so he knows at least 1 player's in towards DVD, playing super aggressive. Can they potentially catch Snoopy lacking? But Snoopy's just gonna slide and glide for the first blood. He's still dancing. Kenny's trying to play for the trade. The shoulder good enough, but Kenny makes it a 3v3.
Yeah, this is fine though if you're Boston, just due to the fact that you have not lost any control inside of A. This 1v1 is everything, and Kenny just would not ever expect Purge to be taking orders at the drive-thru. So now it's just down to what Cammy can hold from the front side. Answer is not much here.
I don't know, but
But Estriel still finds himself nonetheless in a very difficult 1v2, and he's
is
between
everyone
both Boston
playing?
members at the
Let
moment.
me see.
Yeah, he's gonna be spotted. Has a
I
big
don't
wing
even
fight in
know,
front of
let
him,
me
but there's also 1 player trailing from behind. It's Minnesota Rocker now.
Yeah, pretty
Get picked
much.
off. The fact that Snoopy is able to get out of dodge there is insane. And walk away with the first blood allows Boston to still contest it the way that they did. And you make it a 3v3. Purge this time makes the adjustment.
Luka
switches
actually
from the
doesn't
Jackal
play
to
well
the
versus
AR and
OKC
catches Kenny
usually.
working through that burger area.
Because they just double him and Lou
Gives them
Dort's
the
fat
early
ass
numbers
just
advantage,
fucking
and
fouls them all
for
game.
Minnesota
But
Rocker, at least versus Optic, they relied on a lot of clutches. They had like 2 2v4s, 1 insane 1v2 out of narrow. So far on this map, they haven't had any, and now Boston are at game point.
Yeah, this has been one of those maps that really hasn't developed in any form for Minnesota at the moment. Boston definitely have a leg up, it feels like, in just the understanding the awareness and what they want to do from a game plan, including this SMG push down into Courtyard. Yeah, Purge, Snoopy both finding 2. Minnesota does not expect that whatsoever, and this will lead to a 4v2 post plant at B. Good luck, have fun.
Hey, Kenny and Escher,
Eve's match, it's online, so
some of the guys that pulled off those 2v4 clutches yesterday, but
expecting
Kenny
that
only
these
able
to
to take
win.
1. Escher not able to find any. So now it's a 1v3, no time, instantly gonna
we are getting a
beaten,
map
switched in
4.
Boston with a quick response there.
Let me see these red card lines.
So
Hold
happy
on.
to see that map back in the pool.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that just kind of watching over how they've played the map in the past and reflecting on that kind of in real time, a little bit of nostalgia.
They're not up
It
yet.
is a lot of that where you're
Never
getting these
mind.
double SMG push-ups. You have this
Wait
little
for them to
tempo
go up.
flip where at times you don't see them until there's only 30 seconds left in the map. Other times the round is over in 30 seconds. They're so good at being dynamic
picked it?
and
Let me-
versatile.
hold on.
And I think the most important part about
See
this
who
is
picked what.
they were able to establish control of Burger Street on the defensive side from round 1.
Austin picked
essentially. Like,
Skyline, okay.
that opening play, Purge gets a little bit caught. We saw that, but it's still like that was the mindset for Boston, is to continue to play through Street, and then if we have to
Rocker
come back
likes red
towards
card.
the A site, we can.
Okay.
It's just, I think, a really interesting understanding of how how they want to play their defense, just winning street control first and then making your way into the interior if you have to for retakes. It's good stuff. I like it.
Yeah, it's perfectly played, man, because you got Camu who watches the street, everybody else with the SMGs being aggressive in towards DVDs. Like, they're just shutting down.
You mean you can't buy
Astros? No openings. So Boston tied the series up. Let's bring the Deaths back in to break it down.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And,
like they don't make them. Pretty sure they do.
I said tell Shift, nice hoodie.
He's got a nice hoodie. He looks good today. You know who else looks good today? Cammy, 11 kills. Can I ask about Boston, though, in Search and Destroy? How does Giga drop 916 damage and go 1-8?
I'll tell you, I mean, a lot of those situations, they're like gathering info, then rapping, and they know exactly where Minnesota's going to be. And you just get into a team fight where he's putting in a ton of damage. I mean, he has 5 assists.
Oh, there's about to be a break. Okay, hold on.
KD is in everything.
You look at the last time Faze played a fucking Skyline.
If that's your question, like a lot of those fights,
It's been a while, I think.
He's dying in the trade process.
They only played it. They're 4-1 on it. They just don't
like
play
your
this
job
shit.
kind of is to lay damage. It's not that shocking, especially on a map like Rewind
I
and
don't
the way
even know
that
how to.
Boston
It
was
must have been a
playing
long
and playing
time
that street
ago.
control. He can look in, lay the damage on the players. That just means Minnesota Rockers playing their life well. But the ideal is that your SMGs then push up with that aggression and finish off those kills for you. So there's a couple of different scenarios.
I think Cammy's just a thief. Look at the guy. 11 kills out of Cameron. He is the only player in CDL history to cause 2 forfeits. The man is the best in the game.
Facts, man. Listen, they can't mess with him. But honestly, Rewind, I can't believe we ever removed that map. I love the way it plays. More traditional COD map.
Yeah.
You saw Boston so comfortable. I mean, every round just getting all the info that they could need, making plays off it, quick wraps like that. If teams want to learn how to play Rewind, you need to study Boston VOD. You can go back to stage 1 and watch it as well. That team's ahead on that map.
Minnesota, last time these two teams met up, it was December 7th of 2024. It was Boston taking the Hardpoint, Minnesota taking the Search. This time around,
Ravens
it's flipped.
took the
But either
control.
way, it went to a Game 5 round 11 and Alley. If you look at these respawns,
Hold on. Let me see.
Boston doesn't finish it.
I'm thinking I might consider 1 through 3 unders on Carolina.
Let
me look at their shit.
I mean, he is the reason that they kind of got the momentum swing. It was a little back and forth in that first set, but that P4
Because Faze is going to get 2 defenses on that control.
Minnesota does find a 3-piece. Kenny finds a specific 3-piece though to get that
And I don't
4-point lead game.
like
And
Faze
then
might
he
3-0
gets
that
set
control.
rotations, and it's a full 60.
Hold on.
Perfect P2 hold from inside Minnesota.
Where are their lines
Rockers,
at?
which allows them to then just
Win is
steamroll
at
the rest.
58.
Yeah, their P1 into P2 is very good.
TJ's
I
at
mean, we saw
56.
it there, like just Estrio finding the kills up top and just making sure you
I might
don't
just
let
do map
anybody slip
3
through,
on
whether
it,
that be
actually.
underground or through P3. Like Minnesota looked very good there. That was a big turnaround.
Damn,
from
Sasha's only at
National
20.
Nero, we expected you to come
Vivid
out
at 21.
sluggish. Please slow down and make my
TJ's
boss
at
pick
23.
correct. The whole
Gwyn
team is
is
firing in the
at
response for
23.
Minnesota. We'll get into that game 3 in just a moment, but first, it's time for Hidden Heroes.
me check
Ladies
it.
and gentlemen, it's Allie's favorite game,
please.
where I
What
provide
is this?
4
Oh, this is this
silhouettes with
bullshit?
3 facts each. Now, this is old faces, new places. Biggest hint I can give you, all of these folks are world champions. Allie, you get to go first.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Kenny, and I'm gonna go with Kenny in the top right.
Top right, 9 tournament wins. Best champs
Okay, I
finished
don't even give a
first.
fuck.
Yo,
Oh,
top
hold
left
on.
can't be
so far.
top left can't be a world champion. It's impossible.
It's not a world champion.
Do they play Protoverse?
3 world
Toronto, they
champions and a
did.
non-world champion.
Dude, that's so top left is so big, bro. Who's got?
Top left is.
Wait, no. Top left is Fellow.
Tournament wins 1.
Oh, nice.
Come on, bro. My
This
bag
is
is
landing,
deep.
not doing
Wow, okay. Bottom right, tournament wins 10. Best champs finish first.
That's all you, Chris.
0.96 in stage 3. I'm going to go with Ken here.
it. Okay.
Oh,
I think I got
there
some.
was one off of
Map
that
3.
10. Does that make bottom left press?
Wait, let me check. I want to do Cell and Vivid, I think, under, but hold on.
Me
I
an
did
Australian.
pretty okay on this one. I didn't.
He
stutter.
goes by the name of the face of the Falcons, Pred, in the bottom left. We did well. 3 out of 4.
I didn't have a mental breakdown this
You were
time.
so close. You were so
I was
close.
really close.
Yo, Fellow's a dot.
Right? Who calls that one out? He only had 1 tournament wins in 10 years.
It's because it's the OSA tournament when he was with Looney and Facento. Yeah, I remember. I think it was that one.
Shout out to Rise. All right, we got to get back into Black Ops 6,
You
though.
weren't
It's
even born yet,
Hacienda
buddy.
Control.
21.
Let's jump in with ship.
Okay. Cell and Vivid map 3
Enterprises around
unders,
circa
I think, is the
1965,
move.
that's what we know. Yeah, You gotta give love to Fella, man. He's looking good. He's looking
Because
good.
Faze is going to get 2 defenses. So honestly, Carolina probably won't win an offense, and it's very likely that Faze 3 owes them.
They are one of the only teams
That is my
who, again,
thoughts.
be in this position of, you know, vying for playoff spots and not make a roster change. So you really have to see improvement, I think, for Boston in this mode coming into this stage.
Oh yeah, this is the only thing holding them back from being one of those true contenders to contend potentially with the top 4. Because when you think about it, like Boston Breach right now is spawning into a series down 0-1 because they are so bad at control. Because realistically, they just don't know how to finesse their lives. Thankfully, at the major, I was able to have a couple conversations with 3 of the 4 Boston players. And I was just sitting there like, Purge in the passion pit, dude, you got to finesse your knife a little more. He tells me that we all do it in practice, but the only one who consistently do it in matches and practice is Cammy. So Purge, Awakening, and Snoopy all got to figure out how to just stay alive a little bit longer.
And they need to do that on this map in particular. Again, for both the 2 stages that we've had to this point, they've only won 2 controls in the entirety of both qualifiers, the minors, and the majors combined per stage. Not good, and not a fantastic start here either, as Cammy's the last one left on patio stairs. And it looks like Gio and Kenny want to try to teamwork him out. Kenny giving him a battle, though. Gio eventually able to win the battle outright, and there will be an opportunity for Minnesota to stay up in the play, but not quite as Boston get back quickly to the control office.
Why is Kenny's
situations where Cammy just
what was it,
plays his
yellow?
life? He knows that, okay, we went 3 for 1 on the last man standing. I need kills to go my way.
Damn.
To make it easier
I would do. Why is Estriel's line lower than Nero's?
And he was able to catch a double.
That doesn't make sense.
To reinforce behind him. That leads to a clean 4 dead. So Minnesota's first attempt instantly gets shut down, and you can already see that takes a minute off of the game clock.
If you want to do map 4, I would do Estriel and Snoopy
And they're not really able to
over,
develop
but
too much,
I don't know.
quickly. As the focus
It has to
is
be a
over
close
towards
game.
B. Snoopy does get pushed off the top spiral. You also have information that Cammy's playing up top at window, but they just can't deal with it. And Boston defensively, after what was a really solid break-off for Minnesota, have really come to life here. Haven't lost many gunfights since that opening break-off, if we're being honest. Off the reload, Cammy in trouble, almost actually able to push back against Gio. Last attempt for Rocker has to be here on this B hit.
Yeah, final 5 seconds. Gio wins a big one-on-one. Opens up that B point. You sort of have a double stack going, but still a couple players from Boston unaccounted for. They're able to jump out through the window, able to find that kill. But an unfortunate team kill now leads to 3 dead. So Minnesota guaranteed their first segment. They got a pinch here from Kenny on the horizon. Now all of Boston coming off the respawn. They realistically should be able to extend this time here.
Yeah, really important route right there from Kenny. It forces the spawns out, plus he also deals with the earliest defensive contestant up top. So now you've got an extra 60, and just like that, you snap your fingers, and it's a 15v15 on top of that. So now all of a sudden, shoes on the other foot if you're Boston trying to get back into defensive positions.
Yeah, and already tight in their spawn right now. Snoopy knows it. Thankfully, he's able to come back and find that kill on the Estrio. That now leads to 3 dead. So if you're narrow in this situation, just put yourself in a position to potentially find an opening for your team, draw the attention from Boston so they can work their way out of base. With 35 seconds to go, we got to make this play quick.
Yeah, Wake gets traded over towards P2. That follow-up at Rock is good as well. Chasing is Snoopy.
You don't recognize any of these people? These are all new people. Well, Kenny's not.
Estriel does find Snoopy. Now there's
I mean, Kenny's been around for like 10 years.
Pause the clock at 20.9. Nero's not done top office on 4 in a row. Help is on the way over towards the point as well simultaneously. Can they find the kill they need down side bar? Yeah, nice shots from Nero on 5 in a row. And here comes Minnesota. They have a chance to stack.
Yeah, this double stack going. Awakening's the only player to find a kill there, so now it's on him to just stall out time. The teammates are not near the play. The second segment is going to be guaranteed.
Wow.
Big Wake on this pinch needs to find something.
What the hell is he doing?
Wow, Nero's still alive and kicking. Gets the 10 and 4. Cammy pushes both players off. Now it's just down to Gio. This would be like a 1v3 essentially for him. Has a little bit of time to play with. Down to 10 seconds though. This next play has to be successful on the zone itself. Gio. Couple of defenders seen over towards patio side. Estriel down low. None of those gunfights coming through. And it's just on to Kenny. And he's going to be held outside of Fountain. Still, though, to get 5 ticks.
You see Nero's line? That's what I thought. I was thinking Estriel. I like Estriel on map 4 over.
We make the last hoorah push over towards B, and all the kills go our way.
I don't know why Nero's at 30, but
allows us to extend that time. Walking away with 5
seconds. I mean, you could do under on Nero. It's just fucking red card. They could all hit 30 on red card. I don't know why Nero has the highest line on the team. That doesn't make any sense. But
on that bench, besides the one opening it, when it turned into a 1v3 and then he flanks through close. Just him drawing the
damn, Estriel already went up one after I talked about it. Hey, this shit pissing me off when they do that, man. It was at 28.
teammates are just flying on in off the respawn.
shit went
find the
up
kills,
one,
and then
man.
hold strong to secure the first defense.
The fuck, man.
All right, now we swap the sides. See what Boston can manifest on their break off here. Trophy system over towards Arches.
It's
Looking for some
annoying.
early influence to play this B approach through fences, but doesn't really work out. Kenny holding the stone wall. He's able to find himself too.
I mean,
follow up through stairs, and Cammy's
wait,
now the
Geo
last
just
one
went
left,
up
and
as well.
Minnesota seem to know that he's playing
Hey,
Geo
someone's
over
listening,
top
man.
fences. Kenny
Hey,
gets started
somebody.
3 in a row.
They raised everyone's
The
line
initial B push.
because Nero's was too high.
Boston to waste time working out of their
That's
spawn.
actually insane.
They're taking their time on the approach. Someone going slow and steady in towards Secret, the other two attacking.
You
From
Kenny's
broad
still
side.
down at
They're
27 and a
just looking for
half.
kills
I don't
all
know
their
if you
way.
want to
Snoopy
trust
opens up
Kenny.
The first awakening time for you to strike. That's already 3 dead. Last player here is going to be Nero. Snoopy's able to get out of dodge. Fantastic play to finesse your knife there. Now you can work some segments here at B.
And you get a little bit of further positioning over through Tin. Kind of scaling this offense a little bit further beyond the bounds of the zone. Purge up top, just trying to be a nuisance. Seen, dealt with. Geo, nice shots down low. 2 members on, though, for Boston. Second tick is going to get locked. Third on the way. Awakening finds one more before falling, giving Snoopy and Cammy
I still
a
think
shot
it's
at this.
crazy.
It's just
I
down
think
to
it's
Kenny.
crazy that
Last one
Purge
left,
and
he's got a
Snoopy have the
1v1
same line.
with Cammy.
That doesn't make
Top of
sense.
the fence, his opening shots are decent for both players, but help is here. Now the pinch from
Like, Purge is
coming
29 and a
through,
half,
though. He's gonna
Snoopy's
find
30. That
2.
doesn't make sense.
More in front of him, but Geo shuts it down, and that third tick stays empty.
I don't know.
Third
I've
tick
been
stays
wrong
empty,
about
but at least
Purge
you have
before.
Awakening already put himself in a position to find a couple
Wake's in
freebies.
fucking boat.
That's 2
Hello?
dead. You have the numbers advantage.
This is
Snoopy on the pinch
insane.
makes it 3. The only player unaccounted for is Kenny. The guy
Nah,
who
this
broke
is
us down the first
absurd.
attempt. He's all the way pushed out towards well. They know Awakening sitting in
They
towards
got him.
Bow House. Can't find anything, but now it's on Kenny.
Couldn't get there in time to get the final kills on the zone, so an extra 60 seconds comes through for Boston, plus they hold a life advantage. Minute 15 is what they'll have to work with. Awakening off his respawn, trying to hold over towards P4, shut down. The rest of the hit, though, is still here. Can they out-trade this? Estriel in trouble, but whoa, help from Nero comes through in the nick of time, and Minnesota will still hold on towards open hallway.
Oh, and now this is on Purge. Can you open up a lane for your team? You at least find the first kill. Now just get out of dodge, finesse your life. You are listening to the Yonk. 50 seconds left to go. Boston up by 1 life, and now Purge with the repositioning might catch a couple more free kills.
Oh, Geo seen him, but doesn't make a difference. Purge too clean with it. 11 plays 9, 40 seconds on the clock. Boston still finding kills, not allowing Minnesota to get this defense in towards their spawn. Play on the point, now starting to come through with a couple of members. Estriel gets 1 before dropping. Awakening gonna join the effort on the point as the first tick comes through. More potentially on the way. Purge is holding up top. He's in a really good spot to watch this. Has the first in front of him, not able to deal with the second. Can Nero clean the point up though? Second tick is looking good.
That's guaranteed. Now can you get on in and stop this third?
Kenny
one? If you
is,
are Rocker, Nero and Estriel already combined for 2 soupy
I
kills.
think he's.
stuck between
I don't know
rock
if
and
he.
a hard place.
I
Trying to
guess
get on
because
out.
he's
But it's
all right.
3 dead.
He's not
Another
bad
6v5
anymore. I'll say. I don't know if I'll
round.
say he's
Purge is
good, but
gonna
he's
back
not
on
bad.
up. Final push here from Boston.
Purge hoping he can maybe catch a rock. Remember, a little bit too aggressive. Semtax has Purge weak with the opening shots that are there with him, but off the regen, Cammy's able to find one. Now here comes the play forward with Snoopy in the mix, but Geo holds on nicely. The rest of this hit, though, starts to make a play through connector. Kenny right here and try to save the day.
See, he actually
He's gonna
gets
find
2 pieces now.
3v2 situation.
If he was on optic, he would've got
Last
turned
members
on by
up
the
are
second
Purge
guy.
and Snoopy. 3 seconds on the clock.
like, he's
You gotta
all right
jump in.
now.
You've got to touch. Purge the one to do so first. Catches the kill. You got to stay in the zone, though. You got to stay in the zone. 0.0, but caught as the window play from defensive side of Minnesota looks solid, and it's Kenny who saves the round through connector to get Minnesota.
I
their
think the
defensive
reason
win.
that he was bad on
Exactly
optic,
what
I
it
think
is,
it's
man.
honestly
Kenny just working
Pred.
his way through L side,
Because he
passing
wasn't
some
that bad when
players
Hook
with
was
that
on the
double.
team.
Obviously, no more
When
respawns
Pred
on
came
both
back, he
ends.
became like terrible.
You just had the numbers
And now he's on a
advantage to
different
close
team
out
and he's
that
alright
round.
again. I honestly think it's
Rocker.
Pred.
Able to only allow 5 segments to get away from them. They tie the game up at 1, but Kenny's double was the difference here in this one. He doesn't get it. If he only gets 1 and he gets taken care of, numbers heavily in favor of Boston, but tie game now.
Really tight in these first 2 rounds. Caddy will retain a 4 spree coming into their next offensive effort. Trophy system down for both teams over the top of this B zone. Purge dealt with. That's now 5 for Kenny with an SMG to work with. He just slides right on into him. Trade good for Geo, but the Minnesota offense has been stalled.
And now it's on Geo. Can he try to make up some ground for that stall?
It's because, yo, it's just, I can understand why someone like Kenny wouldn't mesh well with someone like Pred gameplay-wise, because Kenny does the right shit on the map. Pred is the complete opposite. He's like doing his own random shit on the map. And I actually think Kenny was actually faster than Pred as an AR, which doesn't work. Your AR can't be faster than your sub. It just didn't work. So I think it made him look like shit, and it really wasn't his fault.
But Snoopy deals with it, and Boston will find quick successive kills.
But he was getting pissed on though. So you can't just blame it all on Pred, because we'd watch it. You watch his fucking POVs getting turned on, so he was also pissed. But
push up and take some space away, and we got everything covered. 25 seconds. Rocker only have one segment to their name. 20v17. Last push gonna be over here towards B.
Not again, surely not. Purge, good first. He's got help nearby. Cammy's with him, and that help comes through immediately. 10 seconds on the clock. And Minnesota are just not going to have the time to get to a zone unless Nero can find this 1v1 towards open hall and jump onto A. Not going to happen. Really solid defense. This time it does get converted beautifully by Boston.
Yeah, it's fantastically played from there, right there from Boston, man. Just finessing your life a little bit longer. We're playing cruddy angles. We are understanding our timings. Okay, 3 go dead. 5 seconds till they come off the respawn. I can take space well. I can take space.
Yeah, this game just doesn't really fit what Pred likes to do.
So far, been the recipe for success.
This game is more just trades.
So far in control.
Like going around and
more consistent. The ARs are holding down
trying to flank or sit in a corner or whatever the fuck you're trying to do. Like, it doesn't really like work on this game.
Oh, without question.
It's better to just
defensively speaking,
trade.
You don't really ask for much more, and really either of those two zones, outside of the fact that obviously that last breakdown on round 1 comes through, but for the most part, this has been really clean for Boston. Now this break off up top towards Fire Hall's looking good. Snoopy catches the first. Astral trying to follow up on it, but denied. And Snoopy is thinking, yep, I've got help from an AR. Let's just go ahead, jump out, get on defenses, and get to work on the B zone.
First segment might be guaranteed here unless Gio's gonna time this to contest at the right second. But he jumps on in, also wins that gunfight. I swear, like whenever I watch Gio with that AR in hand, even versus SMGs up close and personal, he has a really good chance of winning the gunny. And whenever he finds himself in that kind of mode, it's always very difficult to take him down. He single-handedly shuts down that B push. Now Boston forced to work their rotation on the OE through Rockside, and they at least are trading now and taking space away.
Another one of those maps that you start to look up towards the scoreboard and you say, who's going to be the hero to keep this Rocker hope alive, as Estriel's just 13 and 25, really having a tough go of it. Awakening able to catch off one by surprise, and another. Wow, Kenny in the corner. Thought he would have had him dead to rights, but not the case. And so now it's just on to Estriel. The wrap for Boston heading over towards B, and they're going to get the second tick, especially with Purge able to find 2 up on the corner.
Yeah, that's going to make that so much easier at this B point. The only play you haven't accounted for is Estriel, but you should somewhat know that he touched that A point. He's most likely working the pinch.
Okay, now let's go ahead and witness.
You're trying to isolate onto that gun.
Go ahead and get to this map. I didn't even put anything in for map for you. Hold on. Dude, I kind of want to take the Nero under at 30.5.
Cammy holding on to office is on 3 in a row.
You've been getting a lot of hill time.
Big gunfight win versus Gio, and Awakening will
30 is a lot.
Controller down on the zone at the moment. He is on A and hanging out.
Dude, I kind of want to take Nero and Purge under.
5 for the Cam man.
Might be a Purge hater, I don't know. He's not bad at this game.
And honestly speaking, Awakening is like, screw the point, screw it. On the zone, dude. Yeah, I'm not even worried about it. There's like, let's just get the kills.
Let's just keep on slaying, man. We have them in the hell lock right now. But at the right time, Minnesota are able to strike for a clean 4 dead. So now a minute to work with. You're up by 11 lives. No way Boston throw this situation away.
Well,
I'll probably do Vivid map 3 under with Nero under.
Awakening will catch 2. Purge, yeah, freebie up there, and that'll be all.
I'm just not buying it. Nero's getting 31 kills.
Minnesota a late lease on life, but Nero's not going to have a chance to get back to the zone. And yeah, really solid stuff for Boston.
Right, here we go. Wait, Boston wanted control. Well, they won one yesterday. Technically, I guess.
Could not find their kills. They couldn't find their timings before stage 3 started.
Okay, I got Nero under 30.5. I'm not buying it.
Yeah,
don't think he's doing
when you put
that.
in practice, when you go through all those leaps and bruises of everything that you have been through in that mode, eventually something has got to shine at the end. And just a little bit of communication, a little bit of practice of how they want to finesse these plays, how they properly want to set up these plays, and just valuing your life.
That might be. Hold on. Let me look at their hacienda control. Hold on.
Keep on being a part of the play.
I wonder. Let me see their record.
Double kills because everyone on the side of
That's their second hacienda win on the year.
Yeah, but if that's what the improvements you were looking for Boston Breach, they definitely showed it there. And now they're up 2-1 in the series.
Yeah, really good stuff.
We getting Surge and Thieves maps.
Just look at just the simple fact that
I think they're gonna play hacienda.
Maybe a little bit cleaner.
They always play hacienda between these two.
It's passes the eye test. You know,
because Thieves is gonna veto. I don't know. Surge is gonna veto Skyline. Thieves is gonna veto. I don't know actually. Let me go look at their old one.
Not winning a single round while they were in
I think they're gonna play Proto and.
This is one of those things that you start to look at this Minnesota team, and I think we often look at
Hasi,
the control as being the spark for this
let me
team
go
to
look.
get back into Sears when they start slow. If they could find a way to start hot and win controls, they become a major threat towards, you know, some of the top teams that are in the game. But here today, right now, I would give every single one of those rounds a really solid nod to Boston.
They played Vault.
Question, man. And even in the first
they
round,
didn't veto Skyline. What the fuck? What did they veto?
Play right there for Minnesota Rocker.
Oh, Surge might. Okay, Surge will veto red card.
So they were able to stack the point, extend the time a little bit longer, and walk away with 5 segments. Besides that one mishap, though, Boston basically played this to perfection.
Hold on.
And that's what the response you were looking for. It's like you're always in a series down 0-1 because you are terrible at control. But now you have an opportunity to turn that around.
Where was
so far,
the
you're 1-0 in this stage, 2-0 in control, and
Didn't
you're
they play
playing all
again?
these bubble teams that you need to play really hard versus. And right now, if this is going to be the recipe for success for you, the 2-3-5s, then I'll take it.
Sure, absolutely. And you know, it's interesting that we get a red card for map number 4. I think in particular when Boston first came onto the scene this year,
let me just see what they
that
vetoed.
was going to be their
Okay, Surge is
go-to
vetoing red
play.
card versus them every
Snoopy was
time.
running
Okay.
around everybody. That included this Minnesota Rocker team. They haven't played it
So
much,
we could
though,
get a
in the
Hasi and
course
a.
of stage
We
2.
could
A lot
either
of the
get
focus
Hasi,
had been on
Vault,
playing Hacienda and Skyline.
or Skyline.
So there is a little bit of a level of bringing this Boston team almost back to what they looked like at the beginning of the year. Whereas on the other side for Minnesota, of course, new roster, so maybe some new preferences.
You can't. You have to wait for the map because if it's
onto their skyline and hasn't
if
played
it's
red
Vault,
card
it's overs.
in
If
the
it's
last handful of weeks.
Hasi,
so definitely feels like
I
a
wouldn't
square
want
up,
the
but
over.
not for any good reason outside of the fact that both these two
Have to
teams
wait.
are rather unrehearsed on it.
Yeah, and then when you look at this stat right here for Rocker so far on the season, we've always known Minnesota Rocker, they start slow in series, but whenever you're thinking that their backs are against the wall, they stand no chance at winning, most likely gonna get 3-0'd. No, they start the fight. They show fight in control. Unfortunately, lose that one there, but the map 4s are way different.
Let me see.
than the map
I'm gonna
number
keep their
1s.
Twitter up. I'm gonna wait for them to
record,
tweet it.
A lot more success here to try to force that game number 5. So on a squad who were on a 9-game losing streak in HP before taking that opening Skyline, as hardpoints are a struggle for them. And Boston Breach
actually,
right now,
no, they're
their
probably not
guns
gonna tweet it
are
for like
definitely
another 30
high. You need
minutes.
to be shooting with these guys.
Oh, 100% the case. Should be a fun one. Any wagers, Jay, on whether or not this goes to game time? I feel like every time I watch Minnesota play this map, it goes to game time.
Yeah, but now with Kenny into the mix, I don't think that he's going to allow that to happen. Someone hop the OBJ. I'm watching over you.
All right. See how things go. Gio, in map 1 was everything Minnesota needed to kick off this series on the right foot. But since that point, Rocker have struggled to really kind of keep up with what Boston have thrown their direction. And on a map like Red Card, where again, just as we previously mentioned, this is one of those maps that we looked at and said Boston could possibly be a dominant force on this map. Has not been as much of a crucial part of the map set as we would have figured at the beginning of the year, but still, the same storylines apply. Can you keep an eye on Snoopy because you know he's going to get wild?
Oh, yeah. With that SMG, probably the only SMG on the side of Boston. He is going to be playing for those pinch plays and try to be a nuisance as much as he possibly can. But it's all going to be about the ARs here. Minnesota Rocky, you add a player like Kenny to the mix to play a map like Red Card, where we know that Gio's presence is going to be felt. Sometimes Pollux was there, sometimes he wasn't. But Kenny, you got to be here to try to force game 5.
Well, really strong start here for Boston.
Do they have a
Just
kill?
about as flawless as you could
They
ever
got one
draw
kill.
up on the notebook. as Kenny's the only one who finds a kill in the first 15 seconds. Will freely go to Boston. Purge following up. Now he's on 3 in a row and playing a really solid cutoff spot. He just completely stalls out the rocker completely. And now you're almost
Are these
stuck,
guys playing the game?
in a really miserable spot, and that slow start from Minnesota is starting to creep a little bit here into map number 4.
Yeah, but you do want those spawns for P2. You want to stay out towards stage side, and at the right time they're striking with those kills in their favor. Technically not going to win the rotation over towards New. They do have one player currently in the HP, but Purge should have a freebie. He unfortunately does not. So now Minnesota.
Hey, look, Nero's in Hill again. I think he's their new Hill guy.
Oh, that doesn't help.
That's unfortunate.
I guess
Trophy system
actually
takes out
insane.
Nero, but Minnesota still a position to fight from inside the hard point. Purge getting some arches control. Middle of the map now being won back by Awakening.
Oh yeah, it is. I'll fix it after
for
this.
his life. He's got a little bit of help from Nero, but you
Because
can't
yesterday
see
when I
much
was
from
streaming
backside
other
hot dog
shit, that's
stand.
why. Yeah,
Especially with
it
Nero
is.
pulling over towards goal, so that's enough for Boston to use their numbers, break on through, and they
It's
actually
not
do
crop,
have
it's
Geo
just too
spawning
big.
out. Oh, that pinch works out beautifully, and Minnesota will find the rewipe.
Yeah, they're able to stabilize on that situation. Still control the spawns. To try to chain it over towards that P3. Estriel early off the roto. He's going to have his hands full, only able to take down one. Purge effective on the trade. And now if you're Purge, you just want to stay out because your teammates now, if they die in this situation with 5 seconds left, you're still going to spawn in the
Hey,
backside
Kenny
of the wall.
Overs.
So
That
it's all
might
on
be
Purge
it for
off this
real.
roto.
He's not
Now he's got
like.
a really good idea on
They
where
have
Nero's
him
coming
as the
from.
lowest in the lobby
Now
every
he's
time, and he's
down.
actually
Elimination.
like not bad.
Semtex and Stun trying to hold him back. Purge still trying to force the battle. Didn't really
Oh
have
yeah, I
help
need
with it.
Nero under
And that's enough for
30.
Minnesota to deal with the pressure on the backside of the hard point and now start to establish their setup. But from the front, this is looking good.
Yeah, rotations were a lot better in map number 1 for Rocker, and so far they're showing it here in map number 4. There's a clean 4 dead. Leads to Boston all spawning towards the front. They have yet to be able to touch in towards P3. But now you have a little bit of presence over towards
Yeah, I want to
that
see his POV.
big bus side. Awakening strikes for the first.
See if
Kenny
he's
effective on the
looking
tree.
good or what.
Forced
Look at
surrounded
him.
by the Boston breach, but it
He's
does not
actually-
matter.
dude.
You go 2 for 2. You give your teammate an opportunity here.
Do you think this makes like Optic like mad or what when they see him and he's actually like good
now
now?
you can try to reaggress on this last 13 seconds, and that's exactly what the subs for Minnesota will do.
I don't know.
Yeah, really
I don't know
solid
how
stuff.
they
I mean,
feel.
Boston found 20+ seconds on P1, and since that point, it has just been the Minnesota Rockers show, and that's going to continue to be the case as you look over towards the minimap, and our new hard point is going to be completely owned by Minnesota.
Yeah, this is where Rocker can pull away with this game very, very quickly if Boston can't find a break. You're currently up 540. Potential full 60
They
on
could
the
have had.
horizon here.
They could have had Kenny. I think they still should have dropped Pred for Hook because Hook is just straight up way better than Pred at this game. But they could have still had a Kenny who may have actually played better with Hook instead of Pred.
And
they would have been a better team,
In the
but-
hard point. Geo now
I don't know.
right back through mid double doors. That works out to again clear off Boston completely, and they have had no success at all in the last 2 hard points. Double up here from Geo, just continuing to dominate in the middle, and that's just again forcing Boston to have to flood from the front. And this is exactly the last
You guys are
place
getting
you want to
destroyed, what the
be
hell?
if you're Boston. And now you're just going to chalk it up and try to rotate.
Yeah, you got to be losing composure right now if you're Boston, because the only way you were able to take Kenny out of that HP was off of the wall bang, committing so much ammo. Take care of him, but you get no time there because the setup from Rocker was
Oh
way
yeah,
too
Ken,
strong.
for
The
whatever
crossfires
reason,
way
it doesn't
too
make
strong.
sense that
You're
Ken
forced to
says
cut
he
your
doesn't want to play with
losses
Hook. He's
down
playing
by
with
80 to make
fucking
up a lot of time here at P5, which usually don't find a
Geo
lot of
and
time.
fucking
Wow.
Nero, who are
Awakening kind of saves
equally
the
as
play
brain dead.
by keeping the hard point neutralized, and he finds a follow-up. That's great because Kenny is looking like he's going to imminently find the trade. He does, but everything still stays a bit of a tug of war here over the top of the bleacher hard point. Numbers for Minnesota at the moment. Geo will make sure that that comes through as he finds the final kill into Cammy, and now Estriel can play a little bit of a block off through the front side of the concourse. Double chow comes through. Estriel still dealing with it. Purge able to find 2 of his own, and that will neutralize once again under the hard point with 20
Those
seconds.
unders, man, they were
20
special.
seconds to
They
the
are
fight.
gone.
Boston need every single second to work their way back into this game.
I don't know. We don't have no like. I think our only unders we have now is Falcons Control because they don't know what they're doing on Control, but there's no like player anymore. I think that's like an auto under.
Hedge control, and they're forcing Boston in that headlock.
Maybe it's
setup
Hedge.
again to try to find a breakthrough Eskies.
This has just been almost the same story that we saw from.
And even Arcides dropped fucking 40 yesterday, so I don't know. Maybe Priesta.
Nice nade and follow up from Kenny. Helpless. win that 1v1 versus Awakening. Follow-up fights through the middle of the map once again. Continue to keep us in this back and forth affair. But Kenny is shooting 17 and 10. Almost
Yeah, I'm
better
pretty sure
Awakening
Attach went
again.
under yesterday.
But regardless of the result, it's still Minnesota in the hill.
Yeah, the AR presence right now for Minnesota Rockers seems to be too much to handle for Boston.
They got shit on.
You
I'm
try
sure
to
he
turn
went
it
under
around, you need to
actually.
find
Yeah,
a
they got
break here
destroyed.
at P1. You have a lot of reinforcements working their way through the middle of the map, but it's Kenny on the pinch. Kenny on the pinch, able to line up a couple, puts down shots at the Snoopy to not soak up any of this
Dude,
P1 time.
the issue with any overs is this might be a
Trying to fight for
quick
that stage
red card,
control,
which
and
is
now it's on
kind of
Estriel
insane to
work
see a
that deep
quick
route.
red card, but
Yeah, you got Awakening trying to play a bit of a delay on this route through stage as he spawned out. He's done well to catch one, gives his teammates
Guy's
a
played good
really
yesterday.
big chance to win the opening time here at P2.
Guy's a good
but
player. He's
Hero
not
and Estriel
not
once
bad.
again.
It's just, I don't know.
The spark plug for Minnesota coming to life. Follow up in the point, looking good. Trophy system is now down, and Minnesota again give him the
I
win
think
for the rotation here.
And now you're banking on Snoopy. On this
There's
pitch, already
definitely-
works his way out towards Hedge, only able to
There's
find one, and
definitely
now absolutely rips
something
him.
going on there
Off
that they don't want
H3.
to talk about or whatever.
Minnesota still holding on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just don't.
You got a contest fight in towards
I
the
think they're
HP.
like outside a game, it's
Trade.
fine, but like I
They're
don't
more
think
than
they
happy to
liked
just keep it wet at
playing
this
with
point
each
if you're
other.
on.
None of them did.
Yeah, absolutely the case. Well,
Like
23
Fred,
seconds to fight.
Kenny, all of them.
Rockers
Like I
gonna
don't.
play
They
the
all
long
like
game,
didn't
just
like
setting
each
themselves
other in
up
the
for
game.
new,
I think.
While
But-
also just committing their SMGs to playing around the old time. Shutdown from Boston is exactly what they need, though. 10 seconds of scrap, looking decent, but most importantly, Purge is in a position to make sure the rotation to new is completely safe.
Yeah, they're going to be locked up. They have the rotation over towards new. The setup just needs to be better. Kills
hell?
off the rotation are also going to play a big part
Guy's
because at least
flying
you
out there
die
like
at the
that.
right time to spawn on the backside of that new hard point. But on the same time, it's a parallel spawn here from Narrow to early contest.
Indeed the case. It's going to be just a flat-out 50-50 over the top of the hill. 45 seconds still on it, and Boston need it badly. Need every single bit of it. Snoopy almost able to fight off every single rock murder from the front, but the follow-up is good. Cammy getting a trophy system into play. Boston going to get all 4 members in position to deal with this next hit.
And now it's the final 30 seconds. We need to start moving forward with the next wave of kills if they go your way. Don't want to allow Minnesota to have you trapped in the way that they did last go around at the stage. Hardpoint. Snoopy making miracles.
Wait, look
happen.
at
He's
Kenny,
able to
man.
pump a double. Now it's all
Yo,
on Purge. You
what?
know he's
Yo,
surrounded.
this
He has
guy's
to get the hill for
actually
now.
really
But
good.
that one player who was early off the
Yo, look
rotation,
at him.
Jamie gets cut
Hello?
down. Now, the long route
Yo.
gets shut down, and Minnesota Rocker
This is
potentially
crazy
closes out that
PR.
stage to force
Hey,
game 5.
his
Yeah, they
PR
really
was
could.
in the dirt.
Set up
He
this
brought
day.
it back,
Boston
actually.
have to win this first set of fights. See Nero up top, Estriel in the point. Kenny watching from street. Everything
is
is
crazy.
locked down. Just comes.
I
down to
honestly
can they win
was
that fight.
considering that he might
And
be
so far,
ass.
so good.
He was doing so bad that I was like, I don't know, man. Like he might be ass.
Boston able to find a couple of key eliminations, but how
Now
do you
he's
get
dropping
into this
2.0s.
hard? Nero still up top. Can't be able to find one more, but it's Estriel staying inside the stage, nice and safe.
Yeah, this is over with. Like Minnesota Rocker have the crosses again being watched. Already find 2 kills. That's all 4 dead. We got a game.
Kenny's
5.
like the.
Finally
I think
out.
Geo hit
It's been
too.
such
Kenny
a
and Geo
long
hit.
time, but we're
When Nero
back,
hit under,
baby.
everyone else went
Game
under.
5.
I don't. Dude, this guy's actually good.
Minnesota's hardpoint game looks really solid. I have to get that.
Oh,
I mean, it looks
man.
great. Map number 1 looked really tight.
That's
they had
actually
maybe one
funny.
mistake. We're over the top of P1. They were like getting a little bit
Game
shredded at
5,
the end of
man.
the game, but still won the rotation to P2. Here on this map, I don't even know if they lost a single rotation, I'll be honest with you. It just felt like from the get-go, outside of the opening P1, Minnesota just knew exactly what timings they want to hit. They were good on manipulating spawns. They were good on making sure that when they were in a bad situation,
Kenny hit the
they could
over in
best
both
of it
hard
by
points
kind of setting up
today,
natural pinches. It just,
and I
everything
think
looked so clean
in
for
one
Minnesota.
out of the
And
2
once again,
yesterday.
look at the guy at the
I
top
think.
damage. It's Kenny, 30 and 15
Kenny's
with 10
3 out of 4
Man, that's what
on
I'm telling
overs
you.
in
If you're a Rocker,
hardpoint
you're
since he
happy as
joined
hell
this
that
team
guy
now.
fell to a free agent. Because to get a
Pretty
leader
sure.
and an AR player of his caliber who can also switch it up to the SMG, obviously he wasn't performing with Optic.
Let me check
But
yesterday. I
sometimes
think
it's just
I
about
think
the
on the
environment,
second
and so
hard
far
point
he's
he went
looking
under,
real
I think, but let me make sure.
in purple, and it's just like his leadership combined with his gameplay, you can just tell how in control of the game Rocker were from start to finish, man. They were
Yeah,
running every
23 yeah, it
rotation. They
was-
were
I'm
trapping
sure that's an
Boston
under.
every single time on some of those power heroes where they were
That's
thinking,
close,
okay,
though. It was
fine.
probably
We can be in this
25 or
position.
something.
We should be able to get on out, but not to score a single second over towards stage.
Yeah, I
to
don't
barely get any time on the
think
first
any
go
more
around at
Kenny
P3.
unders are
They
not.
were just playing
I
catch up
wouldn't
the
take
entire
any more
time, and
Kenny
Minnesota
unders.
Rocker take that one with ease.
But we've got a map 5, and it's on one of our other new maps. We've got Dealership coming into play. We'll see how both these two teams have been able to prep themselves up. on our most recently additional map for Search and Destroy. See how things go. It's going to be a tight one. Both teams would desperately like a win, and it comes down to Velo Shift X after the break.
What did he say? I don't know what he said. What did he say? Hold on.
Teams would desperately like a win, and it comes down to Velo Shift X after the break.
He says these kids aren't shooting back or something.
World Cup is an official partner of the Call of Duty League.
Damn. Oh, we got an. Oh yeah, let me do the. We got a CDL Wordle for today. Let me look. Let's look. I think Priesta is the one to guess in the beginning because he has a lot of teammates and shit. I think Priest is a good starting point. Okay, let's see. He's from United States. He's older than 26. No rings. Not many wins. Old as fuck. And he played on NYSL. Damn. Who the fuck is this old bum?
Oh my god. Oh my god!
Who the hell? Hold on.
I am the father.
He's older. Wait, how do they do the age again? They do the age as what their current age is, right? Doesn't have to be in the league. Yeah, actually, temp is a good guess. That's probably what it is. No, it's not temp, really. Okay, 0 rings is... Wait, what does this teammate thing mean again? So it means he was teammates with what?
Take it on the chin. Get ready.
I don't understand. What does this last part mean again?
Wow. Okay. Well, something.
He teamed. Oh, the person teamed with temp.
Dive off that
Oh, okay, okay.
Wow. Okay.
Temp has had a lot of his teammates. Okay.
Do you agree with Smoke?
Is it Doug?
I do personally, yeah. You do personally? I do too. I think it would make the viewing experience worse. What
Could it be Doug?
Who was that guy?
Did D-Real play the game?
That guy? I don't know. Welcome to Citizens over there on YouTube. There's some random guy, like, see how they have the
And he's
box,
British,
like,
and he's a coach. Did he actually ever play?
Just like in the
It's
4
Doug.
boxes.
Yeah, I was about to
He was
say.
going crazy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There you go. We got surge maps yet? Nope.
Just does it all now. Oh, Kobe. Oh! Weak, close. Nice. Kill me. I'll jump down. He's still on. Weak. I'm down. I'll play back. Hold down now. Too slow, buddy. Time to go. Time for that. I got world start. Oh my god. Yeah, he was shooting guff. I've just seen that. Nice. Go to plan. I'm sure he's got his tail. Yo, it was bad. It was bad. Pure guff coming out. Yeah, he's absolute.
They gave Doug like a... Not a fake ring, but like...
Right into the action, it looks like.
At the time, it wasn't a ring, but they went back and gave all the older people rings or whatever.
Maybe the improbable.
At the time, like, it wasn't a ring, but like it's the equivalent, I guess.
2-0 their qualifiers while Minnesota's fighting for their first win in only a 5-match qualification stage. It's going to be a barn burn.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a mixy one, man. It's crazy to me though that we cast challenges and we cast CDL. When we cast challenges,
I don't think it was BO1. I think it was COD 4. I think. Oh yeah, let me fix this thing.
It's been the majority of defensive success, but thankfully you got a couple of game breakers on both ends. Narrow for Rocker, and on the opposite side, you know what Cammy did in map number 2, 11 and 4. But we already know this is going to be Snoopy's play round. He had an insane 1v2 clutch in his previous series versus Toronto, and was just able to manipulate the map the way that he did. And if you remember what map 2 was like, Boston dominated in the first Bloods. If you allowed him to do that,
I think teams are just trying to learn it because they're gonna have to play it.
Simply not gonna stand a chance. So Rocker got to figure it out and figure it out quick.
We'll see what they want to try to develop, as there's already the defensive play lingering through A. But no one's even taking a look at the B site. And to get a quick plant like this at B is mind-blowing. Minnesota now have to try to play retake, and this post plant's very dynamic.
Oh, thankfully Awakening's able to get out though, because I thought he was going to give up a freebie for the first kill, but 15 seconds already gone.
No, I'm not.
Tight in the corner.
I can't stream this on Twitch.
Now you just got to stall out time if you're
I do. I stream normal on Twitch, yeah.
Awakening for
Not
one,
this.
dealt with by Nero. Any trades? Actually, interestingly enough, Cammy and Super are trying to hold this from the front. Thought someone was going to try to hit the pinch. Not the case, and Nero just jumps right on into the action, finds all 4 in the round, including the last 2 simultaneously.
An ace right there from the game breaker here, Nero. What time is it now? Oh yeah, 4 o'clock, not 3 p.m. Oh yeah, he's locked in. Sets the tone early on, and I love that play call right there from Rocker. Even though the bomb plant went down for free, like Purge, you probably just want to switch up your positioning there. Don't give up your life for that first blood. But Rocker already coming in with the game plan. We're shutting down that A play because we are banking now on our retakes. And if you find that opening kill with Narrow striking first and then isolate them in towards the cafe, it makes your job a whole lot easier with that mid-map control. Rocker, secure the first.
Definitely different, but it works out nicely. Now all of a sudden, Rocker hitting the gas right through mid-map, trying to get to the window to be, and that will work out.
Oh yeah, I seen what they were saying. They said that they were lagging,
playing it passively,
and then they were just.
And now it's just
it was like a whole.
Him and Cammy. I think Purge. No, he actually does not see him on that corner.
With the whole, and then everyone started freaking out about exit lag. I think most people don't even understand what exit lag is.
And now you don't know what the timing is going to look like, but this time Kenny switches up the positioning there from Purge. He said, you played this one and you stood up and got picked. This time I lay down and have a better angle. He's able to win that gunfight, make it a 1v3, and just too many numbers on the side of Rocker. Secures a very quick attacking round. And I'm just loving the pacing right now from Minnesota because all of that.
People are making a big deal about the exit lag shit. It's not that big of a deal.
So far,
but I tried it. So my shit's already too good because I already pinged 4 to Dallas. I put the exit lag thing on because they give you like a trial if you want to try it. My shit went to 3 ping instead of 4. I was like, okay, this is a fucking waste of my time. Like if your shit's already good, it doesn't really matter.
The wild success that they found through A means that set play was never seen. Trophy system down keeps the incoming nades away, but not the cars.
Yeah, and then like the Chicago one, I pinged like 21. It put me to like 18. It's like it doesn't really like. It only works if you're in like piss internet, or you're like far away, or you just
chasing you down.
Some trash shit. But
they're not gonna allow you to get out for free. But Purge is already.
It's really not that big of a deal.
Able to get out of dodge. Yeah. Now you reset here with the bomb being down at A, but once the information is gained, Kenny also has an AR in the back pocket. And this so far has been a very quick S&D map from Rocker.
Yeah, and I love that call from Rocker. It's nothing different than what it looked like they tried to do in round number 1. The only difference is there's trophy systems in the third, so nades don't fully get to the corner, but the van still blows up. So Boston trying to play with tempo behind that trophy system doesn't make a difference if you've got exploding vehicles in your face. And then
yeah, it just depends. Like, you gotta just try it and see if it works for you.
A little bit further forward, but not lose sight of the bomb.
Yeah, we might have to get an update or something because I heard Joe.
Like if you live in like maybe like
there's way too many cars, man. You just need a trophy
like out in the fucking middle of nowhere or something. It might be helpful.
You never know when that thing is gonna blow on up. But even when you invest a trophy, the nade blows it up. So now you cannot commit everything over towards it. You're gonna retake through the middle of the map, and not a single player from Boston did contest it.
Yeah, that's just one of those moments where the frag just beats the trophy to the ground. So Minnesota can't really develop the play towards A. They get mid-map
it's kind of insane to get 6-0 on this map.
Come through, and that's going to lead to another plant situation with Boston looking to retake with all 4 from the front.
Yeah, they're going to retake this stone very, very quickly. They have the numbers. You got to try to isolate on these gunfights, and you strike at the right time. Everyone's a one-on-one. Now Gio in a 1v4. What are we waiting for? Someone hop the bomb. Thank you.
Wait.
A little bit of timing
here.
I
thought he got in.
But no, not going to happen. Okay, that worked. I mean, I think there's one of those moments where the astonishment of Minnesota.
I did see like, Duke yesterday.
For free again. Let's just try to hop this, but don't have.
I thought that was a crazy foul to call.
Adjustment coming out from one.
That over the back was kind of insane to call that, bro.
Trophy system gets down a little bit late. Guns aren't fully up. Estriel's in trouble. Everything just kind of falls apart. And Boston quick on the flood. Find every single kill they need right from the front.
Yeah, it's just tough there if you're Minnesota because the objective player is the first guy that you're focusing on because everyone that's trying to watch over him is playing their timings. Obviously, they just cut through the map. Flank was open, so you had to put someone in a position to watch that. But then the player who was scouting over from that mid window gets back down, and you simply get outnumbered in that retake. So Boston able to put one on the board, and now they're trying to dictate how the map is going to be played. The aggression through the middle of the map, and Awakening on the opposite side strikes at the first blood.
I absolutely love that. Boston is stuck at mid. So many nades being tossed their direction. But as you start to see nades come through the B windows, Awakening says, all right, I'm going to try to find this 1v1. And it works out beautifully. Now a lot of pressure on Minnesota to try to deal with this. And it may come down to Estriel timing-wise here at front office window.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting the caterpillar plays there from the Boston Breach SMGs. They find that kill, instantly put them in a 4v2. Awakening gets too aggressive and gifts one right there to Geo. And the same thing could be said on the opposite side for Kenny. Makes it a 2v2. Bomb planted at B, though.
Very doable, especially with Kenny finding the kill on the other side of the map. It will make Boston consider the potential for a long flank. And you can see Purge is way out of the picture, leaving Snoopy just to sit here and throw shoulders. And he's got to kind of check for 2 angles at once. And he kind of misses the timing on the first. Purge gets pushed off. There comes the isolation over towards the front side of Kitchen. Kenny's already over towards the bomb. Hasn't hopped for it yet. But this play from Geo could work out perfectly. But no, maybe the door has been heard. Maybe
wait, he got away.
Hard to say, 13 seconds though on the clock. Geo has to try to chase down the kill. And he's got to make the jump happen. And of course, everyone knows about that, including the last standing member for Boston, who just waits for it, finds the kill. There's no worries.
I already bet on the Warriors to win that. I got the Warriors at plus 2,500
Two players trying to work
to
those
win.
long angles. Both get isolated.
I think they're down to like plus 800 or something now.
Repositioning himself over through the middle of the map. Information gets gained. And I thought Geo on that repinch to that side room was almost going to be able to line up a double. Just simply ran out of time there. Minnesota Rocker almost pulling out the 2v4 clutch, but Boston able to stabilize, take the round, now only down by 1.
This time the trophy system gets placed a little bit further back, and it does find success to keep this Minnesota
21
safe on the corner.
That's good odds still.
Yeah, I was gonna say it still doesn't help.
I did it right after they got Jimmy.
Secondary trophy gets placed behind us. Looks like Minnesota do want to just kind of hedge their bets and still try to force this, but Purge on 4 to roll. No. From the window catches 2. Someone I thought for sure was watching it, not the case, and all of a sudden we're into a 2v2.
Yeah, we were just trying to isolate that gunfight onto Estriel. They eventually get it, but now in a 2v2, you're still in a battle. 31 HP in the dream. Cammy just gonna play his life. Awakening watching over him. But now we stabilize.
This is a Kenny redemption
Minnesota Rocker
series.
Yeah, we cut contact.
He's actually like pretty good now.
Trying to put some pressure on the Boston defense, but Cammy's in the perfect spot, and the follow-up. Good prediction. Shuts down the play, backdoor garage, and all of a sudden we find ourselves deadlocked as Boston have really put these last couple of rounds together nicely.
It's been some massive first bloods on the side of Boston, man. That was the story of map number 2. They were able to win it 7-1. And one of those rounds still going in favor of Minnesota. You open up with that first kill, you put yourself in an early man advantage, you can isolate on some of these gunfights because someone's going to try to make up for it. But thankfully, the repositioning out of both teams, a little bit better there out of Boston. As they were playing for that push through garage, they're able to catch the double to tie the game up.
Rocker heavy stack at mid. Really only using a couple of stuns there by the sound of it. One last follow-up just to make sure. But yeah, I think that's at least 3, if not all 4 stuns from Minnesota being popped. They don't find the content they want at middle, and now the delayed hit comes through. Just the absolute worst case scenario. It does get traded away, but still, that's good news for Boston, able to open up the space.
Yeah, without question, man, because now they don't really have to put a lot of focus on
this room's actually terrible. You can't see them come under you and just go up the stairs. They just keep getting snuck up on.
Just playing inside the hut. Oh, good prediction. Slide, gun up for Nero. Works out nicely. No contact, no conflict, no problems. Even though initially it looked like Minnesota was going to get fooled. Just so much investment through mid, and that's just all it is a delayed hit for Boston that starts to open up the map. But the follow-up eliminations around the outside, especially down towards the bottom for Kenny, are critical towards making sure.
I don't mind watching the map. I don't want to play it.
Yeah, because the majority of those kills that went down that round, as soon as it started off for Boston, it was instantly responded by Minnesota Rocker. As soon as Cammy found a kill in towards garage, Estriel was there to trade. The only one that wasn't untraded was Kenny finding that kill onto Awakening over towards B while the bomb was getting planted. Massive play from him to just get that one, get out of dodge, keep the man advantage on his side, and then the retake even better. Rocker take the advantage again.
Hit over towards B. This time the defense is going to get there. Awakening's knee has been seen. So that's enough to know that for Minnesota, this approach is going to be heavily contested. Trophy system deleted, though, and Awakening could be in trouble.
He just lined up.
Instead, before the stun comes through. What a critical 1-for-2 exchange that is for Awakening, and Boston should feel pretty comfortable that his defense is still solid.
Yeah, Rocket played that just too fast. I know Kenny's definitely commenting, there's a trophy there, let me shoot it out, let's invest in stun, but by the time he throws the stun, two of the teammates get aggressive at the wrong time. And Awakening, who looked like he was going to get blooded, finds a double. Down to 2v3 for Rocker. The aggression going to be here for Boston as they have the numbers to fly through dealership.
No, he's not 10. He's
wow,
about to be 8.
This has just been such a flip of a switch for Boston. And I will say this round in particular is just really beautiful timing and maybe a stroke of luck from Awakening, because he's seen tagged and then the stun's out already. It looks like Minnesota are trying to chow as soon as that stun pops, but it doesn't get there in time, and Awakening finds the lineup to essentially just turn the round before he gets isolated. That is unbelievably good from Wake.
Yeah, just a little too fast there from Rocker. But a massive round there from Wake. Ties the game up.
4-4. I feel like this map always goes hella rounds.
This offense. Let's see what Minnesota are trying to take away from them. Not any information gained so far. Everything is dead silent. Now we're going to start to rotate.
Let me investigate after this. I feel like every time this map has been played, it goes a decent amount of rounds. We might have to get some overs on here.
Play.
I'm going to look after this.
Wow.
Minnesota aren't mad about this, though, Alan. They retook it the last time with ease in the 4v4, so.
But the difference here, Jay, is that there's trophy systems for Boston, and they have a full tool belt where the utility is still used.
Yeah, and everyone backs on up, too. No one's going to give up their life for free, so 30 seconds to go. Minnesota, again, need to play a little bit quicker.
Oh, but first blood comes through mid. Awakening on the corner. Good damage. Stun is there. Estriel falls still, but the problem is Minnesota just hop on for the defuse. About to say, that's a good pick initially, but Estriel is just essentially playing bait. He's just like, I'm just going to throw my life in, see if they can focus on me while we hop for the
Breaking
bomb,
Point has, it's not analytics, I mean, it just has like the box scores. They used to have a site that had like player, like individual player averages and shit. You could see their individual stats per map and everything. I don't know what happened to that, but
wait, nobody's here.
I think the person just didn't want to keep running it. They probably weren't making any money off that.
Map control. The only thing that can break us is if someone works that super deep inch.
Yep.
Not a single player from Boston in that.
Wait, Lakers are up fucking
Minnesota
20.
Again on a successful retake, put themselves at game point.
I just absolutely love that sense of urgency once you get that pick through mid. Let's just dive through the windows, force this post plant to deal with us. Now you've got an opportunity here for Minnesota to put the game to bed. And they're going to go for the plant at B. Retake to be required for Boston. The last time they did this, they did it by all 4 members flooding from the front. This is the same setup, but Estriel's got the safety blanket this time with trophies. And Ken over the top, and Purge still wins the first gunfight. Oh my God, joking? No way. They just walk into the setup like that and find every kill. Nero, maybe a chance to take the diffuser off, but doesn't tally the player at offense. And we got round 11.
Oh my God. Last time that they matched up was what, like December 7th? It went all the way to a game 5, round 11. We find ourselves in the same exact situation, just on a different map. As Boston, their attempt there on a retake is perfect. Purge slides on in for the first. Snoopy wins his one-on-one and Awakening with 74 HP. Gio usually doesn't lose those up close and personals with the AR in hand. But again, the same scenario there for Boston. Everyone winning their one-on-ones.
Do you want?
Secure the retake.
I think you want defense.
I
think you want defense on this map.
Oh, mercy. Minnesota's going to go right back into the quick B hit. Waiting for the stuns to come through first. There is a trophy system down for Awakening to play safely in the backside of the site, but that gets discovered, and it looks like Kenny's just going to clear it. Yep, and then they can play for the plant again.
Instantly going to put the bomb down, but this time, look at you have Kenny working on the deep bench. The contest is already going to be here.
Wait, how did he not kill him?
Yeah, Estriel hops off from the plant to just make sure he's got his gun up. It's a different stroke here for the defense.
Wait, Purge
Boston
just
trying to
up.
play quickly.
He didn't kill
him.
him.
To play for the contest, catch Minnesota off guard, but now you've got to find a way to retake this 3v4, and this is all coming through middle. Kenny, opening shots are decent. Snoopy still
Look at this, they got 2 people on the ball. This fucking map is pissed, man.
He's got help from Gio, though. First 2 kills are decent. Awakening last one. Left is shut down, and Minnesota will capture a series. And a man
Purge
5
fucked
round
up.
11. And Kenny's got a lot to be happy about after playing up against his most recent team. Now he gets a chance to tally a win for Rocker.
Wait, let me get me a thumbnail. Who got a good reaction? Let me get me a thumbnail. Hold on. What we got? Let's take a look.
From Gio, though. First 2 kills are decent. Awakening last one. Left is shut down.
What we got? Who's
And Minnesota will capture a series. And a map 5 round 11.
Kenny
Kenny's got a
laughing?
lot to be happy about after playing up against his most recent team. Now he gets a chance to tally a win for Rocker.
I don't like any of these. These are not good enough for a
Put that
thumbnail.
one on the board there for Minnesota. 2 series now with Kenny in the lineup. You go to distance.
Oh,
you
wait.
unfortunately fall short to the green wall, but here in the round 11, you go back
Oh,
to
wait,
the
we
play
need-
that
we need a
you
better
made a couple
thumbnail.
mistakes in the previous round. This time, Boston just get
Faze
a little
about
bit
to
too
play. I
aggressive
might be
at
able to
the
get me
wrong
a Faze
time.
thumbnail
Like,
or
you
something.
don't have that 4-man setup to try to retake with the numbers. You were doing it at a man disadvantage because you still had Cammy working his way through that A street. But Purge unfortunately chooses the wrong timing because we weren't fully committing on the bomb plant.
Oh yeah, let me
We were
look. So
playing
let me
for
look
that
at these
aggressive
kills.
push.
Look at. I think everybody,
Once they find that
other than
first blood,
Snoopy
you
and
instantly get the
Estriel,
bomb
but that was
down,
around
they play
11
the
though.
post plant setup
Hold
with
on,
the
let me
man
just
up.
look at something.
Minnesota Rocker able to
I feel like
steal,
every time this
steal a
map
ship
has
away
been
at
played,
the
it's
very end.
it's
They also
gone.
did not win the first blood fights. It's just
Like,
when it came down to those moments where they
at least
needed
like
to
round
retake,
9
they
and shit.
found it.
Hold on.
When it came down to the SMGs having impactful plays, they found
4-6.
it. Such a great series. Finally, we go to distance of the
Everyone
game number
got a
5,
good
but
amount
round
of
11
kills,
was pitch
4-6.
perfect there, Alan. Congrats to Rocker.
Big congrats to
They
Rocker.
didn't play
One
it.
small decision, maybe the difference maker there
They
at
didn't
the end
play
to
it.
head back to the desk to get us set up.
6-5.
Great match to open up our Sunday here.
Everybody
in
got some
5
kills,
round
6-5.
11. Alley Cat, well done on the prediction. And you and I were very impressed by Gigawake. But Minnesota gets their first win
think
since
Faze played it,
February
no.
23rd.
Sheesh.
It's
They
nearly a
didn't
2-month
play
drought.
it.
Yeah, I mean, that's
2-6.
massive for them too, because that's a huge bubble game, right? Like Boston were 25 points ahead of them. So for Minnesota, Kenny gets his
2-6,
first
but it's
up, and
fucking
he looks
Falcons.
good doing so, man. Now,
I don't know.
Hardpoint
Maybe some
were
overs on this
electric,
map.
and then we get a game 5, round 11,
Maybe.
where the smallest decisions were the difference.
Was Gio the MVP, Allie? Who are you looking at from your Minnesota squad?
I honestly kind of got to give it to
Let's see the
Estriel from
stats.
the overall of the series. I just feel like he's gotten them out of a lot of tough spots, and I go back to that
Kenny
round
went
number
plus
2 when
20.
Estriel just flew
1.2.
mid for free. There wasn't a body from
That's
the side
probably
of
his
Boston.
best
He stepped
stats
out
on
to
the year.
window, and then a couple of damage
I'm pretty
deflated
sure.
from the side of Nero and allows Estriel to get that opening too. And then even when you get to the later rounds, like Minnesota,
That's
I'm
funny.
just shocked at the composure in that round 11. I mean, Gio was literally planting bomb as soon as there was some aggression from the side of Boston Breach. He stands up, he helps complete that first blood.
I'm
Then
pretty
he goes
sure
back
that
to
is
playing
his
his
best
life,
stats.
lays the
Yeah,
bomb down,
Rocker's
still gets out
dude, Rocker
alive.
honestly they
Right in the
choked
chaos.
first
Man,
optic.
this team
They
works so
like they
well
actually
together.
threw
Gio and
away
Kenny
the
play
hard
off each other
point.
so well.
Both
Like,
of them,
when
right?
when things are going right in Hardpoint,
Especially I
with winning
think
rotations,
the
they
first
were
this
just
first
putting
skyline they
people
threw that shit away.
Yeah.
Gio had an incredible series.
Wait, and the
Despite
protocol
how
wasn't
good
it
he
like
played,
yeah they didn't get any
Gio's
points for like
crazy
4
numbers.
hills in a
Yeah, and then
row.
in game
Look,
5, he has 11 kills,
they should have
which are
won
huge
both
kill
those.
pieces.
They threw both of
You
them
know, that
away.
search and destroy, like really, Boston had some great
Rocker's
adjustments.
actually
They
probably
started
decent.
to take mid, but in the like championship rounds, as we like to call towards the end, they stopped going mid. Purge stopped trying to get loose. Cammy stopped getting aggressive, and it gets away from them a little bit.
Oh yeah, and then Estriel RC card. Kenny, that was Kenny's fault
In the
though,
winner's
but
circle by Kylo Ken, the purple lightsaber is out and strong today. Ken,
Oh, they
congrats on your
interviewed him,
first
let's
win for
see.
Rocker.
Thank you. It was a banger.
hey, look how happy he looks.
I don't know if I can. I'm getting too old for this.
Yeah, man. So I was actually thinking about it with just 5
I ain't never
matches,
seen this guy this
map
happy
count is
in
gonna be
months.
incredibly important. You guys are now sitting at a 1-1 match record, but you're the only team to go 10 games. What have these battles been like for you? How are you going to back-to-back round 11s?
I think. Well, today I think the hot seat control was just one that we've been playing good in scrims. It just didn't feel good today. Our hard point has been a little bit inconsistent. It's been really, really good in scrims. So we lost 2 hard points in our last match, but today we won. So it's like. It's kind of like a weird feeling because it's kind of a new team for me, so we're just kind of like trying to get our foot in a bit. And so the series going game 5 for us is actually really good because we get more reps, I feel like. But
Okay.
I think a win is a win. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, we're going for the win. So game 5, game 4, whatever it is, like we'll take the win.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up it being kind of like a new team, because this is players that we don't think I've ever seen you play with at all in the past couple of years. So what has that been like for you? Because now not only have you had to go into a new team and learn how their system works, but also like completely new players you have to learn your play style around.
No, yeah, I think obviously I haven't played with these players. I really didn't even know them. I don't even think I talked to them before I joined this team. But coming in, I mean, it made me super comfortable real quick. We're boys, been hanging out a lot, trying to get some team bonding going. And I feel like I fit right into their system. I think it plays to my strength. I feel like I've been playing way better. And I feel like they also have really good communication. That was the main thing for me, is like, they're young guys, so maybe they have like some flaws in communication, but so far I don't think it's been that. So it's been easy for me to, you know, fit in.
Nice, man. You look good up there. You were frying probably your best series, like respawn-wise, the entire year.
For sure.
So congrats there. You know, I want to ask you, you know, sitting out a major, how were you able to like reflect on that and like get ready for the next move? Because obviously during that time, like you're trying to decide like what team do I want to go to? Like what's that like? Talk me through it.
Well, I think once I was off Optic, there was really no indication that I was going to play for myself. I wanted to just take some time off, spend time with my family, because my family was coming in town for the major. So sitting it out didn't feel too bad for me, because I got some time to reflect on my abysmal qualifiers, or just like stage 2, and you know, get my mind right, because I feel like that was the main thing, and just have fun with it. I feel like that was like one thing I kind of lost for a bit, is like having fun and competing. So I needed to get that drive back, that, you know, get my mental right, and joining this team with some young guys. They're really fun to be around, so it feels good.
Seems to be a perfect landing spot for you, Kenny. Congrats on the success. 2 round 11s this time, walking away with the dub.
Thank you.
That is Kenny in Minnesota Rocker with our first match win of the day. And of course, it was due to this round 11. It's your Scuff play of the game. Nameless, walk me through the decisions being made here.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna see like a bomb plant go down here. Purge is just kind of
do we have
right?
fucking these maps yet, man?
We
Damn.
jumped a little late into this round. Cammy's just by himself on the other side of the map, playing for a late pinch, right? And what Boston were doing so well earlier was like they'd send players mid. Cammy and Purge were playing off each other. So now after you allow this bomb plant, there's a couple trophies that you have to handle. Gigawake finds a pick here, but like it's just not enough. You can't get through this window to make a huge play. There's just the positions are just not like, you're gonna jump out, you're just gonna die.
Window's not the move.
Exactly. You see him fly out there and he dies. If you have another player there, if Purge is there, you can make plays if you're drawing their attention towards mid.
And what's so unironically funny about that to me, but just something stupid, is Nero was the one watching the bench when he's usually the guy flying in. So I was like, that guy's gonna be live by the end of the round. I don't know if it's like
somebody told him to chill out.
Taking a look at our standings, Minnesota started this match in 10th place. Now they jump over Cloud9 by just 5 points, and they are knocking on a top 8 seed. Remember, that's where you need to be at the end of the season if you want to make it.
We've
got another 2 fights to go when we come
Faze,
back.
Carolina.
We're turning our attention back to Pred. The Falcons taking on Carolina. It's going to be a good one. I lied, it's Atlanta.
What is Ravens' record on Skyline? 5-6. They suck at it. Okay.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
The Esports
Let me
World
see.
Cup is an official partner of the Call of Duty League.
What was that Call of Duty? I think it was COD Guesser? Oh yeah.
It's more than a team.
I don't remember which one we're on. We'll have to find it,
It's
but
our team. It's more than a feeling. It's unwavering passion. It's more than just talent.
we're like somewhere here. Let's
It's
just.
right that got me here.
I think we did do
It's
this
more
one.
than a moment.
Yeah. Oh, we
It's
did a
our
lot. Hold on, I
legacy.
remember these.
One city, one stage, one champion. The battle starts now.
We do this one? No, okay. I think we're on this one. Oh no. Is this drill? It might be. I was thinking frequency maybe. No. Oh, it is frequency. Wait, it is. I was thinking that too.
Target neutralized.
What the hell is this? This some old shit, COD 4 or something. Old as oh, I gotta mute this fucking music, bro. They be playing that bullshit, man. It's some old shit. I don't know. Let me type some old shit. I don't know. Let's just get another pick. It's probably just World at War, I think, maybe. I don't know. It's some old shit for sure. Is this a state? Is that little thing on a state? Is it? No. I think this is World at War. If I had to guess. But I don't, if it's World at War, I'm not gonna know. I don't actually, hold on. Is there a, I don't know what games it goes to. If I don't even know if it goes like to all that, but if it does, I don't know. I'll just get another pick. Let's see. It's some really old shit. I don't know. No idea. This has got to be some old ass shit, man. Dude, if it's like before COD 4, I got absolutely nothing. They did have a COD mobile map yesterday. They also had like gunfight maps and shit. I don't know. Dude, it has a fucking, I think this is World at War, man. Or it's COD 3. If COD 3 is on here, I don't know.
Target neutralized.
I don't think they have anything before COD 4 on here. I haven't seen anything. I don't know, but I don't think they do. Because it has the actual, like, Nazi sign. That was back when they were allowed to, like, put that in. I don't know. What the hell is this? This is Treyarch, I think. I don't know, actually. What is this? Oh, let's get another pick. I don't know what this is. Oh. Is this, this does look like AW. Is this Terrace? It has the same colors. I don't know if it is. I don't think it is, but... What is that? Wait, this is, Oh, this is an AW, right? I don't remember the name. It's a DLC, I think. Well, I think I played this. I've definitely played this. It's DLC. Wait. No, that's not Retreat. It's DLC. I don't know the name. I forgot the name of it, bro. Dude, I've definitely played this. I just don't remember what it's called, bro. Yeah, let's just get another pick. Bro, what is this called, man? I've played this map. Green Band. Yeah.
Target neutralized.
I remember this map. Is this Summit? I don't know. No. It's not. What the fuck is this? I thought it was Summit. Wait, is this? Is this starting?
We got some new search and destroys. Will it make it to the series for Atlanta? Faze
This
are
goes.
trying to avoid a game 5. They're looking
think
to
I
get
have
it
played
done
this
in
map.
3 respawns
What the fuck
because
is
this
this?
team has had Carolina's
I think I recognize this building.
Hardpoint. And We'll see if they get it in game 1 and 4
Let's
again
get another
today.
pick.
Looking at the squad though, Ali, who's most dangerous on Atlanta? Faze, they hold the game 5 L to Toronto, but that was a tight series.
Simp,
Wait,
100%.
is this
There's been moments throughout the entirety of the first half of the season where Simp is just in unbelievable takeover mode. We saw it when they were having a slump during that first set. He gets a 1v4 versus Miami, and it's been all Atlanta Faze ever since. It's just
what's the name of the map?
They have these series where they fall short, like versus Toronto Ultra, like versus Vancouver Surge, where suddenly you're like, whoa, things are getting spooky, but it never actually is. Atlanta Faze will go on to make it to Sunday. So as we look at the match modes across the board, Atlanta Faze will feel comfortable no matter what. Their map pool is
it called? Why y'all keep saying Michael Myers? That's not the, what's the name though?
Interesting, like the skyline. We
I had to look at it. I had to look at it. Map. Hold on.
So much throughout stage 1, only one time since then, right? So first map could be pretty electric.
Is Atlanta testing their map pool, or are they going for straight dubs? They're coming off of a loss, and I don't think I've ever seen them lose 2 in a row. They only have 6 losses on the season. They don't get one today. Atlanta Faze takes the dub.
I think this has really good upset potential, but I'm gonna stick with Atlanta Faze. I made a pinky promise.
I'm gonna go Carolina. I got Carolina winning this one. Tej Slasher, Gwyn, Vivid. Time to take over.
Is it Fog?
Upset caller.
That does. That's probably. You're probably right. I think it's Fog.
He has,
makes sense.
I love that for a fraction of a second.
No,
there,
what the
I
fuck
thought I
is
forgot
this?
Vivid. I was
Oh yeah, this is definitely Ghost. I remember playing this fucking piss map. Hold on. Now I know what you're talking about. Hold on.
Series. This really
What is this called though?
Fantastic throwdown. I think the first time these teams have played each other since Minor 1, according to production. So we're throwing this one back, folks. Welcome to
Wait, is it
the
this?
second match of the
Whiteout?
day. Carolina Roll
Is it
Ravens
Whiteout?
Faze. Bound to be a
I think it's
humdinger chance.
It's going to be an exciting one indeed. I know
Target neutralized.
Never really has enjoyed playing against the Tiny Terrors. I think he beat him for the first time ever this year. So maybe
Is it starting?
the tides are
Wait, I didn't hear the
turning,
intros.
but
They already do. Oh, we
That being
ready.
said,
Hold
for
on.
Atlanta Faze, Miles,
We
it's
already
that
in the
time
game.
Where they're like now officially just using the qualifying stage matches to just work and expand their map pool. The Skyline Hardpoint, this is going to be the 6th time they've played it all year. Funnily enough, they have one of the best records in the game on this map, but it's also their 2nd most banned one. So Atlanta Faze, it is a rare opportunity that the Skyline actually sneaks through, and Carolina, they chose it. Might have just chosen some poison, but we do get to find out.
We've already made the Benny Gesserit poison transformation joke, so we won't be doing that this time. We'll just see the constitution of the Carolina Royal Ravens on their way towards this hard point. 3 down to the feed, off rip. Faze start things off a little hot. They're going to maintain that. No, they're not. Left-hand side of the mini-map, a errant Gwyn spawns behind the lineup. And that's something they're going to go over in VOD. Can he find a couple of kills here? Sure can. Shoes on the other foot early on here.
Ah, that Gwyn spawn is so tough. Did I say that right? Is that how tough he's been?
Yeah.
I don't know, but Gwyn will take it.
Tough aura, all of the above as Gwyn continues this nice little run here. He's maintaining.
Bro, this fucking kid online, man.
Halfway towards a hellstorm, ladies and gents.
It's actually pissing me off.
Was playing for Gwyn online, but if they're in the match together, that can't be the case. So yeah, this guy is certainly built different. When he's on form, he is a devastating player to go against.
Well, we're enjoying the Gwyn show right now, but in the backline, Slasher has not let anyone from Faze make their way through kitchen side. So hey, well, you'll take it if you are the Ravens. This is a delightful opener. I say that, and 3 dead. Here comes the last man left alive. Slasher gone, wiped off the face of the planet. An opening P1, they're in their way. Ravens now, they're on respawn.
Yeah, Sim found the route anyway to make sure you go and get that breakdown through. A couple players line up there for Celium and Atlanta Faze. Officially have control of the map, but Gwyn wins a single gunfight. His boy spawns in the back, and TJ shooting his gun as well, so Atlanta Faze jump all over him. A brief moment where Carolina had an opportunity, and Atlanta Faze waste absolutely no time slaying everybody in sight.
Yeah, everyone fighting their way forward once again. Gwyn with a contest. No win though. Teamwork makes the dream work on time. Faze once again rocking away with this one. Vivid with the hops and Vivid with a momentary takeover. Have that one, Wheeler.
Hey, this is about to be everyone in the lobby dropping 30, bro.
Hardpoint number 3 here on Skyline, and Fazer in first.
This is all over.
Once they got Faze, their comms must be out of control right now. Every single time there's like one errant sort of Carolina player like in the back line doing something funny, those arrows converge. So they're hot to try. They're ready for the gunfights now in this P3 time. The first 3 gunfights go their way. Last man standing is going to be TJ, who's, I mean, just waiting towards.
That's a fucking crazy angle. I don't think I've ever seen anyone use that angle. What the hell? This kid's such a freak, man. Wait, I might have to steal that.
Transform a totally different setup here on this hard point. Oh no! Sim with the old pistola at great range. You'll take that. They got rotation towards new as well. Yeah, Vivid taken care of. So that's a big moment once again for Faze. Starting to drive this lead forward. Ravens ineffective on P3. Over to 4 we go. Last one in our first set.
And just to remind people, Skyline Hardpoint is Faze's second most bans. Like they
I never understood why they don't like this map, because like it seems like a map they'd be very good at. So like I don't know why they like.
What I'm telling you, they wanted this experience.
Poison picked, and now
it never made sense to me that they don't play this map.
Shots in from Vivid, 10 and 9 so far. Great work out of him. Not going to stay alive for too much longer. TJ now left alone in the hard point. Can he get any kills out of this? Sure can. Sure can get at least one. Now back over to Gwyn. Trying to keep the pressure up for the Ravens. You are not dead in the water just yet. Nice work out of Gwyn on the approach, but no more teammates left to capitalize whatsoever. So Faze, again, a lovely start to this hard point here on Skyline.
That's a nice moment from Vivid, though. Big 2. I mean, this is 30 seconds you're fighting for, so this is great time to get, and you'll be right back on the map if you're successful at holding it down. TJ does get caught, but Atlanta Faze, I think the 2 AR players maybe squaring up the setup around P1. It is a last-ditch effort to go for the scrap, and they're not going to get it, so all things considered for Carolina, maybe a P2 that you wish went a little bit different after you get the 4 down, but ultimately, 20-point game, absolutely still in it.
Ooh, Gwyn. That 20-point game might be looking a little different in a moment. Because Gwyn, proven to be a difficult contender to deal with here at 12 and 10. An ambitious challenge nonetheless, but he's got teammates here to back him up. Lone Man Celium has managed to make himself a undetectable what is assassin right now as he's staying alive in the backline. He's managed to keep this play going. Slasher and Co trying to make sure that P2's all good. Meantime, P1 wide open for anyone to take.
And this is a game of hide and seek right now for Slasher, though. He wants the P2 spawns. Gwyn now is finally off spawn reinforcements just to help him find Cell, and Slasher dialed in, able to get it. So heads up gameplay. That is a long life for Slasher. And while he was getting the spawns for the
over under what?
TJ 20? Was picking up 2 to get some of that P1 time, but ultimately they were desperate to get these P2 spawns, and not every player is going to make it now. Slasher and Gwyn both spawn out, and TJ has to fight off a couple of the tears to try to get this time.
What a battle. That was another dogfight. Not a player's foot on the ground there as we've got Hardpoint P1 going down and out. Teach, what a win. The second man is going to get stunned up, and he's ready for the fight. His teammates in position to get this as well. Here comes Vivid. Teach now from behind, trying to get time. He's not going to account for this next player. What a win from a Beezy. Lovely shots down low again from Vivid. 16 and 11. Hellstorm to rock and roll with. Ravens trying to take the lead.
Oh, that's a sneaky Hellstorm, too. I assume he got that on the
he's 5 and 20.
Soaking up some of that time.
They're still winning.
Now for Carolina going right. It has been a mixy
They're winning
P2.
3v4, man.
It's not like it was a clean hold, even with Slasher getting the initial kills, but after the battle sort of ends, I mean, 25 seconds to get. Maybe not going to be able to apply. The trades rolling through.
Bro, he's 5 and 20. What the fuck is he doing?
Fancy footwork, and the moves are too fast for Slasher to deal with. But his teammates there for the trades. Carolina, I mean, swarming around the time once again. All the scrap.
Yo, what is he doing?
Now it's them that are going to have the 20.
Wait, what number is he? 5. Let me watch this guy.
Rotation towards Kitchen P3 here in our second set. Yeah, look at that. Last time we were here, folks, not a single second goes the way of the Ravens. Now at least 1. So good stuff, boys. You've already bested your last score. Can they hold on to the attack now? Through couches we come. Here comes Faze.
He should have a free kill. Never mind, he turned. Oh, he did get one.
Trades are done. And the classic red and blue kill feed comes to a close. Ravens on top.
What the fuck is he doing, man?
I just noticed it. Draza is 6 and 22, so that's
we can call it a problem for now, but the scoreline ain't bad whatsoever. Ravens, though, starting to take flight. 3 sprees there for Slasher and Gwyn. 4 now for Slasher. As the finding kills all over the place. 25 to go, and this time around, Faze not able to get into P3.
Yeah, I mean, they're fighting 3v4, so that is going to be a massive issue long term, and you're not really, I mean, what, 3 players fighting for the P3 scrap time, and I mean, Faze are going to be able to get that, not going to have the spawns over there for P4, and if Abeezy's dying to trophies, it seems Atlanta Faze does not have luck on their side, so they had an electric start to this map to the tune of, I'm cracking jokes, and then draws a 6-23.
Yeah, I mean, there's something going on, folks, right now with a solid lead for the Ravens. I want to find out what's going on with Atlanta Faze.
What the heck? Bro, he's 6-24.
Still P1 just challenging, bro. Someone challenge this guy P1. P1, one shot. Nice, I'm challenging bottom bed. I'm trying to push. One's on time, challenge. On team, top ball. One shot shower, lay down. Always top ball before. You, me. You. Where'd he go, you? I ain't top zone. You to right. Bang front. Absolute top mid. Just try and wait for me, Tyler. Austin's in the back. I'm trying. There's two on time. One on time. Laying down. No, someone's showered up. I'm trying to stay out. Top mid. One shot. Yeah, I'm back. Running at me on time. On time, quick. We're on time. I have time. I have right, okay? Yeah, here. Hold on. Yeah, I'll pick it up. I'll get top ball. I need them top zone. Two bottom mid. One top zone. Yeah, dude, two bottom mid. They cruise. Yeah. I'll see. Bottom mid. I'm putting. I'm trying to top ball. I got time. Hey, I'm gonna go across all of it. I'm everything. I didn't net it. You're gonna get right, Austin? Great, shoot that. Top ball.
He looked up. I thought he was gonna shoot that hoe out with a sub. Would have been absurd.
I don't know where he's at on time. I think he's keep me right. I'm trying to get it.
Better get that lesson real quick. This game could be over, chance.
Yeah, I mean, they've had to fight off 2 different Hellstorms on an open hill, and it has just been, I mean, all things considered for FaZe, considering the situation they're in, not too shabby, but Carolina Ravens have fully capitalized on the situation. They're looking great, and really just need to make sure you close out this game. TJ, guaranteed it feels like to get 2, multi-kill madness. And Draza, hey, want a gunfight? Fight response.
There you go, baby. Teach can't get in through the back. That's going to be
I don't have anything for this map. It's all for the control.
We are trying to watch this team grow and change before our very eyes. 40 seconds to go here on P2. How much time can you accrue, FaZe? At the very least, keep the Ravens away because they are close to the win at 250.
TJ is going to be the man leading the charge, operating here with Gwyn down low, and Vivid's already got the entry kill. So TJ in the back block and spawns. That's going to force number 6 out. Even though he dies, still gets value out of his life, and his teammates now in the time, trying to clear out white steps in. Funny business over towards it. Gwyn drops 2. Getting time in a victory lap here. Carolina so close to ending map number 1.
So close, but so far. 5 seconds still to go.
I got what is it? Vivid and Cell on B. Wait, 4 dead. Dude, the thing, FaZe hardpoints, you gotta take overs, bro.
When Atlanta FaZe gets a 4 down, these are situations where they at least want to try to flip the switch.
Like Draza got shit on, but I think the entire rest of the lobby, other than Draza, is hitting over.
It is not in their hands.
No, Gwyn from upstairs does a great job. The trades are there. Look at the flight of the Ravens now, getting towards time. Slasher finding another one on a Tej. First man on the point. Vivid from behind picks up another, and that should be game, folks. Sweet Carolina. Map 1 goes their way.
Fist bombs out and bound, taking full advantage. Draza, I mean, listen, even the world champions, it happens from time to time. You throw up a stinker and you just want to bounce back.
What's the S&D?
It just felt like a potentially dangerous
game. I think it was Proto. I think it was triple Proto, right?
Towards the end. I mean, quadruple negative when the Hellstorms are getting fed.
Still
made sure to keep it close.
Can we get maps on this? Oh, here we go. Skyline. Wait, I thought Surge doesn't play Skyline.
For their choice, up 1-0 so far, and listen, man, TJ.
They're 1-3 on it.
He's dialed in against the tears.
It only took how many years?
They vetoed it 18 times.
Stuff,
okay,
we're literally all of them. GG map 1.
All right, what the hell?
Shout Vivid 31 and 21. Lovely damage output across the board for all of the Ravens there. A fantastic start.
I mean, look, it's a Skyline dealership protocol.
I mean, we were joking about it pre-the-desk that he's not necessarily the biggest takeover player in the roster. Absolutely not. But right there, a good look and a wonderful, wonderful start to Namus' pick for the Ravens here on the win. Highlights here, folks, and again, a lot of love going the way of the Ravens, but Cell Chance, still one of the most difficult players to get 10 with, an absolute wizard when it comes to the KD department, a statistical anomaly.
He's phenomenal. I enjoy the thought experiment of, like, if you could just duplicate these players, like if you had 4 Celiums versus 4 Simps, like who would actually be the greatest player of all time? And I just imagine Cell in every single role would be a terrifying force. Wouldn't want to deal with it, but a lot of fun options there.
Yeah, imagine the listening when you go to like that's listening with Team Selly, and it'd be a lot. it'd be something, man. It really would. But either way, GG's folks. That's still a look across this one, and another attempt there for Atlanta Faze to deepen the map pool, a map that they have banned religiously when it comes to these CEO online matches. Have not wanted to play too much Skyline Hardpoint, but they will. I mean, this is what they do. This is our current reigning champs. They won Major 2 pretty convincingly. They took care of Major 1 in a very dramatic fashion, and Major 3 not far away, folks. And what do you want to do? Tighten up all those game modes. Make sure that you don't have any weaknesses whatsoever that your opponents can exploit. Now with a triple dose of protocol, we get to put that map to the test as well for Faze. But if you're the Ravens, happy to see that ball go through the net in the first map. How are we feeling about the search and destroy chance?
Well, ultimately, I'd say good for both of these teams, at least for the map number 2. I will just throw out very briefly the Hacienda for the map 5 for Atlanta Faze is another one. Typically, it's their primary veto in S&D. Now they're working on it, making sure it comes through. So if we see it in Game 5, that's Atlanta Faze just trying to get reps. But the protocol going to be very interesting. Both these teams very strong on it. It is absolutely a square-up map, and I think the biggest theme we're going to see on it is Carolina Royal Ravens are the best defensive team on protocol. They are 21-6 on round count. That means Atlanta Faze are going to be testing it. Can you pull off those attacking wins?
Absolutely, folks. Well, on a little micro level, this is
Bro.
a BZ versus Quinn. Statistically, both of them very comparable.
It's
but,
dealership, right? I'm gonna try overs on dealership. I'm just curious.
Looking to put the franchises way.
I'm thinking.
Excited to see this battle go down, and again, we've got great long-range plays in the form of the ARs. Of course, Draza had a bit of a stinker there in map 1, but expect to see him turn this ship around.
I'm thinking 0-4.
Island player himself, usually
dude, Envoy's only at 6.
Search and destroys. But these two.
I'm thinking 0-4 and Envoy over on that dealership. I'm just curious.
They're just kind of trying to figure out what their approach on.
0-4 is at 7, Envoy's at 6. I just want to try it. I think dealership you get killed.
Carolina, the best defensive team on protocol. And I'd say outside of that, the stats fairly comparable. Atlanta Faze, great on both sides of the board. Not necessarily dominant, but strong on offense, strong on defense. And Carolina, not too shabby on the attacking rounds either. So plenty of lethal threats, and I feel like protocol really is sort of a puzzle to solve. Occasionally the blind.
Yeah, but they don't even plan on that map, so I don't even think it matters.
Just want to stack up down low on the A site, but both of these teams are very happy to play the game.
I just picked the Envoy because that's an S&D kid. 0-4 is the S&D kid. We'll see.
Protocol, if you're working at B site, that is exactly what you need to do. Be calibrated in your approach and make sure you read sort of how the defensive setups are coming through.
People on site wide out in the open as well, so not that we see too many streaks here in S&D. We've seen a couple of Hellstorms, I think, throughout the league thus far. Nothing too crazy. Looks like we're playing quite a lot
triple
top mid
proto.
Abe.
Faze picked Team B. They picked 3 protos.
At the right time. 2 life advantage right now.
I think,
for the
right?
Boys.
Didn't they say Carolina picked Team A?
I don't know. Carolina 21-6 on their defensive rounds. Looks like we might be going to 21-7. That is an instant punch. As long as they seal the deal. Slasher and TJ for a 2 versus 3 potential, but Stallion might have just closed that door.
Yeah, wonderful work here. Slasher's trying to make the attempt alone. It's a 1v3. If you can take out Draza, that's one thing. You got to deal with a lot more, and they're coming at you fast. But wait a minute, what a read there onto the Terror, a former teammate. 20 seconds to go here. And Stallion will be coming into play a little bit later. Bomb site, you got a man on it. But you are not going to be able to find this kill. And a sneaky sell from way downtown finds the angle on a Slasher.
Yeah,
first round of Faze.
Yeah, 100%. Just no time to work with. 2 players in power positions, 20 seconds.
Why are the casters saying that?
Sell for 3 in the round. And
somebody got wrong info. Hold on. I'll check after this. Somebody's info is wrong.
Into the round for the first blood.
Hold on.
Abizi there for the follow-up. So you know you're studying it.
Weren't they just saying that Carolina picked?
Say, okay. Like
Skyline,
everyone
the
can't
casters?
figure this team out. What do they do? Where are they successful?
I'll check after this.
And how can we beat it? And just setting the tone from round 1 for Faze. Already a good look.
Yeah, we're not going to be going outside this time around. We're definitely going down low. But so are Faze. At least 2 players here committed to this one. Abizi's going for a bit of a wrap, so he'll be dropping down behind them in the elevator shaft momentarily. DJ, though, waiting for anything. Oh, Abizi got caught out by the slow play of Slash. A lovely start to the round.
I mean, Slasher has those timings dialed in for the P2 flank to roll through, and now it's gonna be trades on trades. Slasher's got in the mix though, and he uses a Beezy's weapon against Atlanta Faze, and it leaves Cell in a 1 versus 2. However, that means it's Cell, it's clutchable.
Yeah, it's not over yet, folks. On plant, all the power positions in the world you could ask for here. The opportunity for the trade, and now the intel. Cellium knows that Vivid has been left alone. 1v1. The battle is on.
Oh my god.
Never count this man out.
Yeah, Faze started on offense. Oh yeah, the casters were just seeing some nonsense.
Plays the information he has absolutely perfectly. Cellium, a wizard strikes again.
Yeah, he actually just is the best. Like, I don't even know what the argument would be other than maybe his teammates perfectly played 1 versus 2, has the angle, spot Slasher in, like just checks the left, that little left peek on the computers to see if he has to worry about Vivid in that moment or whatever player it was. And as soon as that's clear, slide out, take advantage of Slasher. And then once the pre-fires are rolling through, if I'm playing against him, I'm terrified. As maybe the Ravens were. They're down 2-0.
He gets wrong and it hurts. Now we go down low for Faze of this attack. And Cellium is still on an absolute tear here. We are close enough to the Hellstorm. No intel, no damage, no nothing, no trophies. Oh, there we go. They're starting to click away. So we send in Obese to try to pick up some of these players who are weakened. No, TJ. He finds the first blood. Cellium once again getting very creative with the frag grenades. Bomb plant for Faze now. Come at me, bro.
Yeah, and the first blood is fantastic when you take down a BZ. It's a massive thing you have to do it against Atlanta Faze. Issue is, Draza might be having a bounce back game, and Cellium and Simp are still alive.
Oh yeah, ooh, very much still alive. Streak still on. The crossfire's there. Lovely cross from Vivid. 25 on the clock. Can he 1v2 this? Absolutely not.
Damn.
Perfect setup from Faze. And a couple of chuckles in the player cam.
We're getting shit on.
The Cellium spree, it continues.
Yo, this is a evil team. Maybe one day they'll repent for their sins, but for the time being, they just get to do whatever they want. 7-0. Yeah, I mean, listen, he might just be the best.
Yeah, this the case is definitely out there, and there is a lot of empirical evidence to suggest that Cellium, what a play. And Faze, what a run. Great setup there. Especially when you know Vivid's on the bomb site. All the sort of nice moves he can make. Trying to hop over the threshold there, trying to staying out the line of fire, but they set themselves up perfectly there. The insurance policy was in play as well. And now another round up, and you can see the Ravens with a nice mixed attack towards, you know, the low and the top side. And knives out! Oh, good job, Tej. What a win.
Yeah, I thought he was going to knife him.
They've been on point for the first bloods. That's the good news. Bad news is still can't win a round, and Slasher just isolated and overwhelmed. He gets hunted down. Still going to be an 8 plant as well with awkward positioning. TJ at least gets the trades for the 2v2, but seemingly a weird round. Draza and Simp going to be going for the retake down low as TJ remains up high.
Remains up high, but doesn't pass any intel, so he didn't see either of those players cross. That's going to make this even harder for Gwyn downstairs. Yeah, Tej knows something's up, man. I've missed something here. I caught one with a little bit of damage. Gwyn now trying to stay alive. He takes hits as well. So not an ideal situation to be in right now. Gwyn has to back up. Can he get a kill? Still fighting for his life. Both weapons starting to get exhausted. Draz with the final shots. And his 4th kill in a row. Faze unstoppable so far.
Yeah, so close yet so far from that round when TJ tried to get everything, but I mean, that was a series of maybe 4 different Call of Duty timings just not going his direction, including going down the zip just into the clutches of Draza. So Draza might have played poorly on map number 1. The bounce back absolutely going to be in here. Had a solid few rounds to get back in the mix. And I mean, really the biggest shining light for Carolina, their defensive rounds on protocol. 0 for 2 against Atlanta Faze. Not ideal.
Nah, man. Especially when we pulled those stats so perfectly coming into this one. Down low we go once again. Chance, let's send it. It's like Ravens will be going in a lot hotter this time.
There goes the server. And now everybody's trapped in a corner. Yeah, pre-fire, easy reads, and a 6 spree from Draza. They are evil.
He was looking at his next there. First 2 on the round. There's no idea they're outside, but here's the nade. That gives you a bit of intel. Here's the chow. Lovely shots from Slasher. Pushes him down. Raven's still trying to make the entry, but you took too much time, and Abizi will punish you for it. Faze.
That'd be a fucking 6-0.
Immaculate gameplay.
I mean, 21-6. What was their defensive record going in it? Now they're 0 for 3. So, I mean, listen, they're going to fall. They're going to end up being the 3rd best team on defense after this map. Maybe we have to filter out when you're playing against Atlanta Faze and pretend they don't count. But either way, nothing but perfection here. Gets the tags, get the comms, and he doesn't waste any bit of time. If they're trapped in the corner, they're free kills. Draza on form in S&D.
Yeah, wonderful form. And again, an amazing sort of shade of Faze. We saw them on a map that they're not that confident on, and they're trying to improve prior, and now this is what they look like when they know what they're doing, and they're very confident indeed. TJ is going to run into a whole load of trouble in a second. How much damage can he do? The answer is not a tremendous amount. Draz is there for it. Nade stuns, you name it, it's all getting thrown at that P2 position.
DJ is dead.
Dead.
Oh, Abizi maybe bit off more than he could chew. I thought he was going to wait for Draza to get some tags in, but they're playing confident because they're up 5-0. But keep in mind, Celium is alive in a 2 versus 2 now because Sim gets the extra kill. So even with that start, Faze could still get the 6-0.
Identification on bomb now and a positive ID on another player trying to collect. This is a big moment. A massive advantage for Faze here on map point. And Celium putting himself in the most obscure off angle we could find. The unreadable and the ungunnable.
They know bomb is down,
like
so
Ravens,
they're
this
just
is to stay
waiting.
alive on the map.
I mean, yeah, you
Gotta
guys
come
gotta
get
go
it.
get that bomb.
Hey, come get it.
And they're gonna work spiral as
He
well
doesn't
for
see
their
him?
approach. They're gonna
Wait, he
funnel
didn't see him.
into Simp and
Oh, now he
Cell.
did.
Timing. Yeah, timing's not great. Cell there, guns up at the ready on the cross, finds one.
That's it.
Can we get
6-0.
it? Sure can, folks. Celium.
Damn.
Undeniable greatness there on Protocol S&D. Atlanta Faze.
Damn.
But they
Look at Vivid. He not even moving.
6-0.
Yeah, and
He's
listen,
pissed.
Carolina, one of the best S&D records in the game. That is the type of map that just puts fear in your
Nah,
heart.
that's not
If
the
they
first
ever have to
6-0.
play 'em on
There's
land
been
and
a
they
few
go back to
6-0s.
Protocol, they're going to have some bad memories on it. A map worthy of nightmares. No amount of success. Celium just 1v2.
All right,
so he
we
can
got a
keep
little.
adding
We got
those
what,
to the
like 2
pile,
minutes, and then they're gonna do
Atlanta
this
Faze truly
control.
able to
Let me
anything
see.
they
What did
wanted.
everyone go? 9 and
Absolutely
1.
no sweat, in spite of the fact
Wing
that
got
TJ gave
fucking
you
1
first
kill.
bloods,
I
and in
mean,
spite of
it's
the fact
nothing to
that
look
the
at.
First
They
blood
got
king
fucking
of
destroyed.
BZ, 0 for 3 in that category.
What we got?
It does not matter. 'Cause
This
the AR for
is-
Faze simply took over.
Yeah, the 1v2 from Cell was the absolute backbreaker.
Hey, what
And
is
the
this?
morale seemed
Black
to
Ops
take
3?
A little bit of a dip there from the
Is this
Ravens
Fringe?
boys. An incredibly capable team in the mode.
Thieves
they have
and
just
Surge
been
play
slaughtered.
last match.
Embarrassment there. The 6
I wanna guess Fringe just from how it
Wicked
looks.
work out of them. They're not going to this protocol control, all tied up at the half. And
No,
honest to
what
God,
is
man,
this?
feeling very good after that. I think you really do. Look at the rest of this series.
What's the
in a much
standoff
better way.
remake
The
called?
scoreline would have been nice to win. There's no 3-0 possibility here now for the Ravens. Damn, Studio, how are we feeling about that one?
I was feeling good.
Yeah, this is pretty.
This is not firing range.
The bounce back. Nameless goes to Twitter. Draws.
Oh, the BO2. Oh, the studio.
Game 2. 7 and 2.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Celium
yeah,
9 and 1.
Target neutralized.
6-0 in
Let me change the
Carolina on
reskin.
their best map.
Yeah, not their best map, but one of them. I mean,
What-
they're formidable
what
on
do we
that map.
got here?
And, you know, coming into it, like I thought it'd be, you know, Carolina might have a little bit of an edge. Like #1 in retaking and.
Oh,
three
no, this
plans
look
by
old.
Atlanta Faze, all 3 converted, right? So Atlanta just doing the research.
This look
They
like
know
some
every single thing
old
Carolina's gonna
shit.
throw at them. Even with the advantage that Carolina had with a couple of their first bloods, it just didn't matter. I mean, the tone setter was selling was 1v2.
100%. And I think it's important that the ARs had a good map too as well, considering the way that map one went. And just to kind of put this into perspective,
I don't think it's-
Protocol is a strong S&D for Atlanta
I think
Faze,
it's
but their last
underclassmen.
2,
Oh,
they
it
lost
does.
3-6 to Toronto Ultra, and then before that,
Oh.
it was a grueling round 11
Oh,
versus
it's
Vancouver
Favela.
Surge. So it was a map that they clearly have been putting some work on. And the
Target
fact that they were
neutralized.
playing 6-0 fashion is terrifying because
Okay.
Atlanta Faze was already in real search and destroy. They already had a really deep map pool, but if they start winning in maps like
This also
against
looks
teams
like COD
Carolina
4
Ravens,
MW2
#1
or
S&D
something.
team overall in the league right now, who love Protocol, who
Little
just
house.
recently 6-0'd the Vegas Falcons on it. You're feeling great if you're a FaZe fan.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, I'm not
Or
super
it could be
worried about
MW3,
either of these
yeah.
teams, just what we've seen so far. Like, obviously for Carolina, they're putting in a ton of focus on the respawns. And I have faith in
Yeah.
them versus majority of teams to come in and still be
We had that yesterday,
That's just
I
a tough
think.
match.
So I don't know if they do it more than once. No, they won't.
Conclusions as we head to another respawn. What did you learn during game 1?
Yeah, let's show some love to Gwyn here. I mean, this is just
Oh,
wonderful plays by
what the
Online
hell?
Gwyn?
Yeah,
Gwynternet?
people saying Gwyn's done
Wait.
this, that, the third. Slash is putting in work. So let's pull the clip up and let's talk about what Carolina was doing here. You know, this is a great situation. They get a
It's
ton
like a
of
cave.
And they get the flip. So we're going to talk about the situation first and
It's
foremost.
not.
51 seconds on this time.
It doesn't look
What
like.
Carolina are trying
Wait
to
a
do here,
second.
you want to soak time. So Gwynn's kind of playing
No,
for
this
information
no.
here. He's going to find these 2 kills. So the
Is
kid's
this
got
the one
gun.
from
But after that, what you want to do is
fucking-
you want to get a guy over here in this area, maybe behind
That is
hot
not
tub,
how
just
the
getting angles on
wasteland
mid, right? So you're going to end up having Vivid go over there to
underground
get
part
those
looks.
angles. And after that,
It's
what
not
you wanna
gray.
do is
It's like
when
brown.
they start to push,
It's
you
dirt.
then want to flip the map, right? So they're going to send players through mid,
I
you're going to
don't
send
know.
players through here,
Let's
and
get
when that
another pick.
happens, Gwyn just needs to be a nuisance, play his life, and make it easier, right? So you're going to see Gwyn after he finds a
I like
couple
Afghan
kills,
is more
he's gonna push
yellow.
over to this corner, and that's after they kill the players that are coming from main.
Let's get
Being over
another
here, right?
pick.
So you know
Here, I'll
the other 2
just
players are
get
going to be
another
coming
pick.
through mid. They're going to be hallway or going to be on that line that I just
I
threw.
think-
Drew coming through mid. So when Gwyn repositions over here,
Oh,
he
this
effectively
is-
flips the spawns because the half map is then flipped, right? So a great play by him, not only being a rat in that spot, he pulls out the attention for easy kills, and then he spawns the rest of the Atlanta players
Is it
over
COD
here.
4?
So while you're
No.
finding these kills, you're also flipping the spawns. It is the perfect storm.
The fuck
if
is
you're
this?
Carolina. This is rehearsed, this is practice, and this is how you tell Gwyn, hey, play with me
Is this
around the
fuck?
hill.
Is it this?
Play
I didn't
now.
play
Watch,
this
he
shit
finds
game.
the 2.
Is it this?
Atlanta Faze, they're going to send a couple players back towards it. Time for another break. How do
No.
I want to play this?
What
if
the
I'm
fuck
Gwyn?
is this?
Gonna
Is
take my
fucking-
time. Vivid's going to end up dropping here. And now if you're Gwyn, you find the kill on the front. Vivid just called
This
out
is
the 2
COD
guys mid.
4,
I'm
I
gonna
think.
push up, get an angle to give TJ an easy kill. And also, I've just pushed past half map. Now all of Atlanta
This
are
is
spawning
COD
on the other
4.
side of the map. 20 seconds left. We're going to get this scrap. And we're going to secure a self-rotation. So great communication and plays. And Gwyn showing up when they need him.
Carolina Royal Ravens are learning.
Is
Great
this-
teaching by
I
Brian
thought
Safety
Overtime was
Slasher at the helm
different
over
than
there,
this.
and they are
No.
now knotted up 1-1 at the
Oh my
half
god,
of
this is
Atlanta
COD
Faze.
4. What is
Number 1
this?
seed
This is
overall.
definitely COD
Atlanta
4.
has
Hold
never had
on.
back-to-back
Oh my god.
losses. Alley Cat, are you worried?
It's
for
yeah, it's
Atlanta
rainy. It
second
doesn't look rainy on
Did
here.
you see the same search and destroy I just saw?
half? I did.
All right, we're in for a banger.
We're going to protocol. It's control, and you better look out if you are a fan of anyone who goes up against Atlanta. You got 3 players in the top 10. Look at what
Oh.
Cilium has been doing.
Is it the remastered version? Is that why it doesn't look rainy?
142, another 143 chiming in from drop.
I don't know what this
Everybody
is.
drop bombs.
No,
You
it's
guys
not
are unreal
overgrown,
control.
man.
The
It's
fact that they're even
fucking.
second overall in league control is insane to me because I look at this paper and I'm like, they've played 4 protocols straight and they've won 3 of their last 4, and then even then you move to Hacienda, they're 7-1. They are unbelievable.
What is this fucking map called, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I forgot what it's called, bro.
They've won 1 of the last 5.
Still comfortable. It's their best map when it comes to the mode. Let's see if they can get to the
Think
W.
of-
It would be a massive upset.
It is
Wow,
this.
chance.
I don't remember this being the name
It
of the
might
map.
well be. Well, Faze.
I don't know which one it is. If it's just it was the remastered.
We'll get 'em
one.
next time.
Alright,
My good
whatever.
God. Well, control.
Oh, we already did this one,
This
right?
could be very quick chance, couldn't it? It really could.
I remember that a little
Absolutely
bit.
could. I'm still thinking about selling him because if he's number 1
Wait,
on
did
the
the map
attacking
start?
leaderboards and
Is there a delay?
I just keep thinking about like his clutches, where even in a 1v2 or 1v3,
this is,
I feel like he still has the advantage in a sense. Like he's winning more than 50%. At least it
I was gonna
feels
say
like of the clutch
AW,
opportunities.
actually.
So we get to see that in S&D consistently.
BO3.
That's what he's doing in respawns as well. Like every situation he's in, he's min-maxing every little detail. He's going for the pre-fires, going for the wall bangs. He's an endless nightmare to deal with.
It's not raid.
And that should sell. Here's Beezy, 1.55
Alright, let's get another
in
pick.
4 ticks per attack.
We got
That's
another
like
pick.
phenomenal objective stats with a 1.55.
Well, in a game mode like this, where you can get the kills from the objective,
It's
you
BO3.
can do it all. And Faze, they do it
Oh, I
right.
think map start.
Here we go into.
Alright, I need people to get shit on.
Meets up. Mega washed. Yeah, here comes Sim. Get ready for it. Not washed. Not yet.
No, he's great.
He's doing fantastic. Well, I was they were trying to go, but Teach and Gwyn, they've set up a wall across the middle of the map, not letting anyone from the Faze.
Wait,
camp
see,
get
why
towards
is
this
Faze
zone.
starting on
Contest from
offense?
Sim. Absolutely not washed. Holy, ladies and gentlemen, there's another one.
Someone
Washed.
is
Good stuff out of
is
Gwyn.
lying
There we
about
go
the
once again,
fucking
there's a single
vetoes.
segment gone, eh?
I think Breaking Point had the
Like
vetoes
there should
wrong,
be a
bro.
second as well. Draws here for the cutoff kills, and that is the only man that had a thought about the old A's zone. Yo, was Beans right? Does Draza need that the old exit line?
2 segments at 8 gone. 3 dead though. Ravens now pressing the advantage. Faze. We cast the curse the living hell out of this one. Over to Gwyn.
Bro,
Trying to cash a
I
couple
made the
kills
picks
on
under
towards
the
making
assumption
way
that
out.
Faze
The
would
stuff
be on
from Draza
defense,
finds a
but I think they
lifeline.
had the
Oh,
fucking
little bit more
vetoes
than that.
wrong.
Oh, what a shoulder from Simp. The old in and out. eats Slasher alive. Now on towards A. That's going to be the capture. There's no way you get through this. And Simp, once again, the shots with that Jackal are just delicious.
I mean, listen, just for those watching at home, that was the full spawn trap that Atlanta Faze were just put in, and that took them 10 seconds to completely get out of it. So that's not a great look for
Carolina.
It might not matter.
That
was way too easy, and TJ maybe in the feed able to pick up too, but Simp,
I don't know how I just got
over
cooked.
towards this B zone, and he's out, and this is prime Simp time.
Oh yeah, man, he's reading every possible player, and he's put them in positions to deal with them. At the very least, there's Draz to pick up what he cannot. What a moment right now from FaZe. Just when you thought they were down, they're only up by 1 life, and they are looking to capture the B zone rapidly. Halfway through it now. Quinn, last ditch attempt. Lovely work from the pistol. Not enough for the kill though. Simp still trying to stay alive in the zone. Nice work from Vivid. Over to Abe. Closes the second segment, and here come the rest of the boys. This could be the round.
Oh, nice shallow from Vivid. That's your opportunity, because that ticket is nearly gonna fall, but you still have to win all these gunfights, and they just simply are not. Vivid with the only opener, and now you're flooding into death, and Vivid, I mean, he has remained supine in that exact spot. And Draza, I was just...
Bro, hold on, man. Somebody cucked me, man.
Everyone's doing amazing. That's really, really lovely work.
It says Carolina picked this. Unless FaZe... I guess it's possible FaZe chose offense because they want to work on offense, which I didn't think they would do that. That might be what happened.
Really, really good stuff.
These guys don't give a fuck about online, man.
Ravens, they're not the best control team in the league, but they are absolutely not out of this one yet. We now swap sides.
I mean, listen, for offense has a much better chance now in protocol since the zone got changed, but still it's, at least in my mind, fairly close to 50-50. You can absolutely win on either side, but if you're the defensive team and you get the spawn trap, I mean, you have to make them work for it to get out of it. And the fact that Atlanta Faze got out so quickly, that's just a major pain point. Don't even need a stopwatch to figure that out, but for the moment for Carolina, TJ again gives you the first bloods. She's been great in this category. Respawn or S&D alike. Off the back of it, though, it looks like Carolina, they just have no pressure on the objective.
What is he doing? Why is he still peeking
at players, and they have to be very concerned about their flanks.
And they will. They're hoping for a head or two to turn, but now TJ is still trying to keep the kills up. Doing just that. And everything, all of it going
They have
away.
no progress. They gotta get on the fucking point.
But TJ's still trying to play the advantage he's got out through mid-map. And that advantage he still got through mid-map. His teammates are battling for their lives in spawn, though.
And, well, at least finally someone touched the point. That was 40 seconds burned off the clock, and even with like the map space and kills that Carolina were getting, they weren't really too active off of it. They really wanted the dream set up to be rolling through, but at this point, they do have the dream set up. Grass is covered. You really wish you had a trophy. Yeah. Now it's going to be TJ on the solo capture. Another 15 seconds before this zone falls.
Yeah, big Owen Wilson energy right now behind enemy lines, folks. Ooh, oh, nice moves out of Simp. Trade there from Gwyn, though, straight on. You're not completing the A-zone capture, though, yet. Now you got 2 members of FaZe on top of that one, draining the progress. So right back to square when you go there. So a single third remaining. Fight forward, fellas. See if you can't get out of there. The B zone absolutely watertight right now for FaZe, but A, there is still an opportunity. Can you find the opening kills on the setup? That's the question.
I just think Carolina, it feels like they are moving in slow motion on this map. And listen, Atlanta Faze got out of the spawn trap in a matter of 10 seconds. You got 20 to go. Let's see if Carolina can make anything happen.
Oh, try it. Try it. There we go. Trades. No, it's done. All 4 down again. BZ on a 4 spree right now, ladies and gentlemen. We are looking at the final 10 seconds of the round. Right,
it's not gonna matter, but what they just did to them on that defense, that's what I was expecting twice.
Who choose them up? No one able to make the
I think it's fine still, but the fact that they chose off, someone either got their info wrong or they chose offense. I don't know,
but solo capturing a point on control. Takes 15 seconds to get a single segment, 45 seconds to get the entire thing, and then if you add a player, you cut it in half. So you go from 45 seconds to 22 and a half. You add the third player, you're cutting it in a third, and then if you're adding the fourth, you're cutting it in a fourth. So if you get a quad stack going, point absolutely flies. But a solo capture, it takes a year in Call of Duty terminology to actually make it happen. But quick maths, if you ever I don't know, are interested in thinking when you play COD.
That's the kind of call that I want to receive. Hey, somebody get over here quick. We're going to capture the zone in an additional 15 seconds. Like, we're going to cut this in half. I want those clean
It's rarely applicable, but in the situations where, like, if there's no lives at the end of the round, if there's one segment left on, like, the B zone and you're in, like, a 2 versus 2, that just means the team on defense knows, hey,
wait, is Cell actually 6 and 8?
On the point, like, 1 segment, 2 people, you have 7 seconds to work with. Like,
I thought that was a
glitch.
glitch.
So you can treat those zones like a bomb site.
Oh, I'm good.
But it is very rare.
Strong setup right now for Faze on this attack. B zone, second segment, absolutely gone. And in the next 15 seconds, we're going to see a BZ potentially get this one done as well. Over towards the A side of the map, and Selim is dancing. A great win from Gwyn there. That gives you a tiny bit of space now to work towards the A side, but B is gone, folks. You can say goodbye to it right now. We will not see the B zone again in this round. Last ditch attempt there from the boys of the Ravens to open up the space towards A. So Faze right out of spawn, right at a time, but nice crossfire. The setup is in position, and Selim, Trophy's certainly going to help him here, but he needs his teammates.
I hit that Trophy putting in overtime too, just going to eat up absolutely everything. So on this next push, Atlanta Faze, at least on that front, going to have a little bit of that advantage. Not winning the gunfights though, but at least good news for a BZ, you still have control of the power positions. You're just trying to work yourself out of spawn. Only man you got to clear out now is Slasher.
We got 2 minutes.
You're going to be able to fill in the next spot in line. He ran through the A zone, and by the looks of it, Atlanta Faze not heads up about it, but they might just kill everybody else instead.
Yeah, this is looking great now from a BZ. Oh, picks a good corner. A little bit of a crossfire now towards A. And it's a 2-man stack. There's potential for the third now. Selim could be there. But an awkward situation to find himself in, because you don't get rid of Vivid out of the helicopter. So now he's gone, eyes forward, and that's Selim getting the job done. Can he help Sim get this last man on zone? Can indeed. God, it's a 2-piece on time as well.
Nah, they have no lives. They're just going to be a 3-0.
2 seconds for a 2-man stack. It's going to take 22 seconds for that bad boy to fall. And look at, oh, well. Slasher got a kill out of time, so if easy backs off. You know, Atlanta Faze, the best attacking team on this map and showing off some of the goods. They are having to work for it, but a minute and 15 and a life advantage. In any moment where they touch that time,
4 is also proto.
But they're actually really trying to work through the grass side of the map, and maybe for good reason. It is going to be open, but only briefly.
Oh my nice God. Work from Abe there.
Getting shit on. They haven't got a kill in like 30 seconds.
He speeds his step. He might be able to catch a BZ now. Full awareness now. He's going to have to double back. And this could help.
That's the first kill they got in a while.
11v4. Any kills you get here are a great win, but you've got to try to stay alive as well. The trade is going to be there from Selim. Oh no, another man falls. Another one down. Another one down. Another one bites the dust. Last man.
All right. The unders have hit.
Yeah, man. This is different teams are able to achieve.
Okay, we good. Have a good day today.
That team where when you can see they have
there we go.
You can just feel how hopeless it
I finally got the fucking streak to hit. Now I can do one at a time. I'll have to fucking find 2. That shit was pissing me off.
You hit the panic button just a little bit, because if you can't really rely on your control, Atlanta Faze very strong in that game mode, very strong on that map. You just have fear put in your heart. So Ravens need to pull off almost the anti-Neslo. You got to win both hard points just to force the map 5.
Oh, indeedy.
So went 12 and 12
for the Ravens. There's no doubt about it. Folks at home who are Faze fans,
David had 9.
Licking your lips.
That was an easy under.
Hardpoint to close out this series. 2-1 right now for Faze. Ravens though, no slouch.
Proto HP, man.
It just feels so difficult.
Faze is probably gonna win that too, honestly.
Really decisive. It is something. When they're losing, it still feels like they can get the job done. You know what I mean? It's really, really tough.
6-0,
they're the best team of the game for a reason.
And then
yes, they're good at every single aspect of the game. You know, in S&D they got the first bloods, they got the clutch potential, they got the mid-round adjustments and the respawns. They just sort of figure everything out. And obviously now to the point where they're like experimenting with like different maps and whatnot, trying to get in the series. But it's if there's any weakness in your game at all in this control for Carolina, not effectively setting up the defensive spawn trap.
No, he's
if you
probably
have any
like
weakness, it's gonna get exposed and you're just gonna lose.
20,
and you have to be dialed in at everything
28 or
match
something.
base, because they really don't have too many weaknesses at all that you can exploit. So you have to be on point. As soon as, in my mind, that first defensive round rolls through, where Carolina put themselves in a good spot and let it go.
All right, let's see. What were we doing? What do we think this is? This stronghold? Is it? I don't think it is. It kind of looks like it, but I don't think it is.
You don't. Hardpoint, the last of our Protocol trilogy in this series.
Nah,
if we have to go to the house in the game 5, we'll see how that goes. But
oh, it's a DLC map, I
how are we
think.
feeling about the Hardpoint chance? I mean, of course, Faze.
It's like a house. Oh, what's it called?
Base right now. I've yet to drop
I think I remember. It's like it's shit. It's like a little house.
First and third. I mean, we are in for a treat here. This is a heavyweight fight. But right now, it feels like Faze, well, at least in the round-based game modes.
I don't remember what it's called.
No, not too bad. Keep in mind for Adraza, I mean, he went double negative. It was at 6-24 at one point on the first hard point. They had to deal with 2 different hellstorms as well that the Carolina players got, and it was still only a 50-point game.
I don't remember, bro.
Now they're playing with absolutely no sweat.
We got any guesses?
On the map that they chose to play in this series,
I think I know
being
what
the
this
best
is.
team on it, you got to imagine they're feeling good. Granted, for Protocol, it is one of those maps, especially on that
There's not a chance I was ever going to say perplex.
Target neutralized.
You can really turn the map into madness, so that's going to be the focus point in my mind for Carolina. It's that situation. We saw how good Atlanta Faze are on rotations on that map.
What the hell is this? What kind of pick is this, man?
Once you get down
I don't know. I can't even see.
Bomb site area here on Protocol, it is
what kind of pick is this, man?
the money hill, the one you tend to get the most points on. The cleanest.
What the fuck is this, bro?
The Ravens, we know
no one's getting it off
but
that
it's really
shit,
going to come
man.
down to who can leverage that point the most, who can milk it for what it's worth, add to their stockpile towards that race to 250.
I still don't
this
know
is going to be a real good and folks. It's
kind of like a Treyarch map,
the
though.
Ravens to even have a fighting chance at getting a round in this series. Not so much an S&D win, but just a round, fellas. Here we go.
I think map starting.
Faze.
Map 4 Proto. I have no picks on this.
Tears in the
I'm hoping
the super soaker. Rest of the
Faze
map,
shits on him, though. Let's get this shit
Had a
over
strong
with.
performance, and that is exactly what you're going to need out of Vivid. Certainly struggled a little bit there in the Protocol control. All 4 players need to be firing. In TJ,
Time to dive straight into the hard point. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Map number 4. Stage 3. Yeah, that's actually kind of wild. Faze on a hard point. Wow. Thank you very much, production. Ravens, pretty good at it. There's a smell of a game 5.
Faze players.
Opening rips though once again. Faced with the guys who have managed to win him on Skyline. This time around, it's going to be a little even. But even is only one thing on an asymmetrical map like this one. Yeah, finding a little bit more time if you're the Ravens. And good job. There's the contest. Vivid puts that one to bed. The one Raven helps put all the members of Faze down. And now we go to P2.
Beautifully played. I mean, you really got to contain guys like
I don't understand how it's possible for Faze to suck at Hardpoint. It's just so weird.
Player to be playing it. And this is a
doesn't
super
make any
sizable lead
sense.
as far as the P1 goes. You could not ask for anything more. So Carolina starting their map off right, and TJ in prime position to help you out on this rotation. Gets tags in to shred Simp. And Sully, last man standing by time, wins it because he's shooting through walls and cells built different. What could have been for the Ravens? What could have been?
Oh, unbelievable. What a piece from Tej. Vivid on the outside. Perfect nade just keeps him suppressed. Cellumo still soaking away that time, trying to get back into this one. Nice picks there from TJ and Vivid. We are back in there. Ravens right at it. Faze counterattack now is on, but Vivid takes care of TJ. That's unfortunate. You lose the amount of time as well. And you lose the setup. Oh dear, that hit the fan pretty quick.
I do wonder if that's like I'm cooking a frag, getting ready to throw it, and one lands in my face and just explodes, or if that is just a bottle of the moment. But either way, that's like honestly on this hill, maybe 2 different opportunities for Carolina to accrue a really sizable lead, and instead keeping things a little bit close, but ultimately still playing very well. Still got the left side spawns and gonna get the scrap time as well. So a 30-point lead going into new, and the rotation percentage that Atlanta Faze typically on this map are great at, so far being outplayed by Carolina.
But yeah, fantastic work from Carolina right off rip. Third hub point now. We go inside. In-game says beach, but that's cat, ladies and gentlemen. Damn, shots out of Abe. On the approach towards time, Slasher might have to save the day here. You're starting to run out of boys on the point. Trying to maintain that back left-hand side of the map. That's where the spawn points are. That's where you want your teammates to be coming from here on the reinforcements. And what a turn! Oh, wicked win from Slasher. Saves the day yet again. And somehow nearly takes a Beezy with him.
Yeah, try to flip the time stone, doesn't pay off, and his teammates around time seems like they're falling. Gwyn, though, does give you 2, and that means you can keep the play going for Carolina. Maybe flood into this and try to get those trades. Abiz is going to fall. You send the next man in line, but Cell can't give you 1. So it's not a trade fest. Now, if Atlanta Faze dies in these moments, you're going to spawn out at all, but at the very least, even if Atlanta Faze get the kills, Carolina do get to the ever-important P4 first with a 15-point lead. This is their big opportunity.
Oh,
there
man.
It goes.
Yeah, there it goes. And yep, out we go. Tej wins another big gunfight. He has been absolutely tearing it so far. He's going to catch that. Good dodge as well. 10-6 so far for the mighty Tyler Farris. Now on approach to time. 11-6. Finding kills where his teammates have taken the lead.
Solo chow. Solo chow. Solo chow.
Everyone take a breath. Hold on, Ravens. You know what you're doing. Here comes the next hit. Solo chow.
I mean, at least you're trying to like set up the pitch. You know, Slasher, they're trying to work big door at the same time. So like, here's a couple bad solo chows, and then a guy like Slasher, as we expect, slows down the pace and tries to make the play happen together. But yeah, simply does not matter. Stop going down the steps. It's not.
It's not happening. It's not happening. Once again. There you go, Draz leaves his power position and gets himself brought down as well, but the Ravens, terribly difficult time trying to get to that hard point. Back upstairs we go though, folks. Next set upon us, back over to P1. And Ravens, once again, they were great at this the first go around. And so far, okay, but Simp's in.
Simp is 4-10, washed.
Unbelievable. Can't believe it. The Phenom shots out Vivid to take care of Selim from there. 12-8 though. His teammate Abizi not washed on the approach towards New. Folks, we are kidding, of course. If you are joining this, you think, what are these commentators talking about? We are joking. These are some of the best players in the world who are also washed.
Yeah, 30-point lead though for Atlanta. Might end up falling. Seldo, when did he find the time? Maybe a full 60 there on P4 is going to get him the Hellstorm. And he's making it hard to shoot as well. Serpentine formation as he comes flying down. And Atlanta Faze is going to be able to get this P1 time. And right side spawns as well. They're just playing for the trap. And this might be a moment, maybe a potential mistake. Number 2 is going to spawn out at old, and you actually do have Draza playing for it. So Atlanta Faze super heads up with the situation. Gotta win the gunfight though, and TJ, so tough.
So a big aura from Tej, dude. Look at him go. He's still going. Washed. Shots out of Draz. 45 seconds to go. You're on P2. And these boys are just disgusting.
I don't know if we're getting a map 5. I don't really do SMD picks often.
Right now from Draz.
I did try some dealership picks next series. We'll see.
Smack bang in the middle of the map, and he is causing problems. His teammates are feeding him information, and whether or not he needs to, actually adjust for it or not, is up to him. Because good God Almighty,
yeah, I don't think we're getting a map 5 unless
yeah, and Cell, by the way,
Faze
played that
fucking
perfectly on the minimap. He was blocking
gets
the
full
spawns
60'd on a
initially, allowing
P4
his
or
teammates
something.
to play with freedom, and then he sort of opened the spawns up to try to force Carolina out to New. It doesn't end up paying off because Carolina do pick up a couple clutch gunfights on the left side, but Carolina gonna have to start heating things up. Gwyn is on a 3. Maybe some momentum in the kills column coming this way, and Gwyn should spawn on the left side of the map. So you're good for this setup, and again, back-to-back kills if you can chain them. Carolina will be right back in this game.
A great piece out of Vivid. There's 4 spree right now, and again, not necessarily on time, so he's not getting a huge amount of points for that, but you've got a lovely, lovely hold here. Can you get rid of the players in the back line? That's on Gwyn. They are going to check this corner. It's a day 1. Beautiful stuff, though. No need to check it if he comes out flying like that. Can Gwyn keep going? Yeah, sure can. Nice read. One more man in the back to deal with, and the hold is still there for the Ravens. Oh, God.
Beautiful stuff there from Gwyn and Vivid delivering for 2. Simto making an impact, and that's going to make things a little bit more chaotic. You see the trades rolling through, except no dice. Abizi might have been one shot, but Gwyn shooting at a ghost can't take him down. And while you need to win this P4 rotation if you are Carolina, it might be a desperation effort. Simp, the emphasis was there. The gunfight was not. Well, you get the final 10 seconds of scrap. You go back to the stairwell of doom. These poor
Ravens has to break this or they lose.
Peacocks, man, you gotta let them fly, and they cannot fly in a space this confined. Well, down low we go again, folks. Yeah, that last P4 wasn't anything special for the Ravens, and Draza, finally brought down. Somebody fills the gap immediately.
There we go.
3 dead. They've done
they
it.
got hope.
They're in.
That's exactly what you need. Yeah, finally the double challenge coming through from the spiral, maybe enough to overwhelm. And that's a great corner being played by Vivid.
Wait, that's a good check.
I mean, I'd be calling hacks if I was in game, and it's just Tyler Abizi doing what he does best.
Just checks it. Crossfires there, Cell in position to soon get the contest, and Faze waiting for the opportunity to strike. Oh, the iron was hot. Draza makes it red hot, baby, and this should be the last man left alive on time, and it's TJ, so he's a tough character to deal with, and he's diving and sliding. Here comes the reinforcement. Oh, Gwyn's over the top, managed to keep the Ravens in time, and they're looking at the comeback.
Yeah, all things considered, a great P4 just to make sure Carolina can battle. And for the first time since
It's dealership. I don't even know.
Ravens have the lead.
Whoa, slash
I feel like these wouldn't even, has probably never even played that shit before.
Cruise control though not there yet.
I could see 04 being like a nerd and like having strats already.
He's going to get at least one kill out of this, so he's going to fight to try to maintain some presence here. Good luck, Ravens, on the approach. But let it go. What a battle that was.
Hey, at least he took him to death and set your teammate up there for the trade. TJ gets help on time, and Vivid there, credit for the assist, but there's always some annoying player on Faze getting you off the time, being the thorn in your side. That time it was Draza getting the space, but Gwyn does to Draza what Draza did to him, gets the cutoff kills. Now Carolina back in it, so a bit of a slugfest right now on Protocol. The #1 versus the #3 team on the map. We have ourselves a fight.
A true battle. What a contest this is as the contest comes to a close there on P1. Over to 2 we go, and right now, in theory, Ravens with the position. They have to make most of this though. A lot of members there are faced in the middle of the map. Slasher caught unaware. Now TJ on a bit of a wrap. This could be great, but again, you've got to get over towards time. TJ's wrap, a delicious one at that. Nutritious. Can he find 2 out of it? Plenty of damage, and he's trying to make the play over towards time. His teammates now in position to help out, so he might have filled up his boys, and they are in time.
Yeah, that's great trust from Slasher too. Knows that Vivid has his outer step, so he's just ready for the gunfights up top. But being ready for Simp is different than winning the gunfight against him. And Simp, who's had a slow map, now he's on a 4 spree. So he pulls out an AR, comes off spawn, and starts to take over. Gotta be on the lookout for Simp, as look at the setup on the minimap. I mean, the 50-yard line being dominated by Atlanta Faze.
Totally red, as is the lead right now. They've got it back. 15 seconds to go here on P1. No one's getting out. Oh, sorry, P2. You got to get through this line of red over towards the new hardpoint as well. Try to secure spawns. No strings to do so. The kills are perfect right now. Simp's on a 5. He's got himself a Hellstorm as well, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and he gets that as well. Cell with 2. And the spawns are terrible for the Ravens.
From 14 and 24 to 20 and 25, and heating up Simp is when it matters most. But he does get dropped, but while he falls, his teammates pick him up. Draza in the feed for 3 of BZ for the final 4th. And Carolina, now you got to flood through the front of time. It is a nightmare situation. And Simp continues to be calculated on his approach.
And he is the terror. 30 seconds to go. You're not going to need all of it to get the win here. Ravens, last chance to get in, fellas. Last chance to make a game of it, and they're in. Abizi on time, still soaking it away. 10 for the win. The back door wide open now as TJ finds his way through. Can we get the pinch going? 5 seconds for the dub. Ravens are in. Ravens find a kill or 2. Sim now from the side. He gets brought down over the cell. Last man here for Faze. The rotation's on as well.
Wait. Oh, Faze is already down low.
And guess who's here first? It's gonna be a big door hit. 3 players.
They got one chance.
Easy. Gonna have to stave off all this pressure. He doesn't have the help, nor does he have the reinforcements. The flock of the Ravens fly. You're into the crossfires. The trades roll through. Gwyn, last man standing, and this is for the map. And Cell gonna be the man to close that door. Atlanta Faze.
Wait.
Get that final point.
I thought. Wait, I thought it was gonna be game. Hold on.
It's not.
Wait.
Yeah, and it will not end here either way. A single second for Faze is all they need. One more break. Get a perfect one and dip a toe, boys. And the series is yours. Ravens, they are holding. Ravens, next man in Sim. Contest. Ravens
no way, right?
Next man in Celium.
Wait a minute.
Ravens are holding.
You got to get to P1 though, so someone's actually have to get out of the mix.
Yeah, someone on Ravens has to go to P1.
On the time when it pops in Atlanta Faze, do you want to try to late hit old just for the single second or try to rotate towards new? They're going to try to rotate. They get the first 2 kills, but now 2 kills fall. You want a gunfight for time. Slasher clutches up. Look who's standing on new, and his teammates get the kills.
249 is tough to like. If it was like 246 or something.
Ultimately, they fall.
249 is tough.
Faze for the 3-1. A stressful hard point. What a comeback it was from the Ravens. And man, did they hold. Well, brilliant hardpoint game, folks. But again, Faze just too tough with 2 Fs. Too much aura. I don't know if I'm doing it right. But 3-1. When it came to Search and Destroy and Control Chance, damn son, were they just special.
Yeah, looking good. The 6-0 especially, I think, is painful. The Control, I mean, they just continued that.
Nice 3-1.
For Atlanta Faze, a series.
If it hasn't had his cam on all weekend, I don't know.
Does go right, and
I want to do first bloods on dealership because I feel like on dealership, everyone has an opportunity to get a first blood.
Still at some point he
because it's just both teams see each other immediately.
Hilltime getting the hell stormed just off the back of Draza, had a poor map 1, slams them there in the map 4, and obviously the AR duo untouchable on the protocol S&D. So all things right in the Atlanta Faze camp.
Absolutely, folks. Well, aside from Skyline, hardpoint, but again, I think most teams would possibly fall where the Ravens did not. And there we go, a banging series, folks. Faze put on a real show for us there in the round-based modes. Of course, Search and Destroy and Control, absolutely squeaky clean, folks. Nothing wrong with those at all. The hardpoint, so still could do with a little bit of work for Faze, but right now, still the top dogs in the scene. They have yet to, well, that's the first hardpoint win they've got so far in this run up to Major 3. Chance. Great stuff from those guys. And now it's great stuff.
I might stream some playoff games.
The best stuff.
Maybe there's some late ones.
Hey, that's a fine in the NBA. Put those away, Miles. Let's talk a little bit about what we just witnessed here, Nameless, because Faze does not lose 2 matches in a row. Draza does not go negative 2 maps in a row.
Yeah, as Miles said, that was aura from Atlanta Faze. Some huge moments throughout that. Carolina did their best, but on that game 4, it was really just the P2s that set them apart. You saw it multiple times, like Atlanta Faze, they just have a good idea on how they want to hold it. Carolina giving up far too much time there. And then on the last one, like, Carolina, they had an opportunity at the end of that game, right? Like, if you could hold all that time, get somebody over towards P1, it's just too tall of a mountain to climb. Like, you've given up way too much time earlier.
Allie, what do you see during this series?
Throughout the series, just, I mean, from Atlanta Faze, a masterclass Search and Destroy and a masterclass Control. Again, we were heading into that, and I was like, look, Control is one of their strongest game modes.
What is
right
this
now.
hardpoint? It's Skyline again, right?
More, though, like, I can't wait until we get into the interview because I don't understand what it is with Atlanta Faze and getting these huge leads and then kind of allowing Carolina to crawl back into it. And unfortunately,
all right, let me see. What is this fucking map?
This could have been a 3-0 box.
We know what this is.
Faze, which raises some question marks for me if this is going to be kind of something that follows them throughout this qualifier.
Atlanta playing the hard points much tighter today. Is that credit to Carolina improving their side of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit of both. Like, Atlanta clearly have, like, they're trying to put an emphasis on the HP, right? Like, they've been losing a decent amount. Lost 2 to Vancouver, 2 to Toronto.
Is this Breach?
And now in this series, you could have just lost 2 to Carolina, right? So it's definitely the biggest pain point in the Atlanta camp right now, but still have full faith in them. You saw the surge. You saw the control. They are dominant in those game modes.
We've got the man who is #1 in the KD leaderboard, the MVP of Major 2. He joins us live. He goes by the name of MacArthur, but you can call him Celium until you get to know him better. Celium, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Having a great show. Today has been fun. We've had some really good matches, but I was a little worried for you guys after watching map #1. What's up with the slow start?
I mean, I honestly on the holds, like our team couldn't really get one, but I mean, it's unusual that happened, you know. So I'm confident still in the hard point, like for the future, for the future.
If anything, Atlanta Faze has is a lot of confidence, right? But it did follow you guys into that map for a little bit. You were able to ice out, close it out at the end, close out the series. But why do you think you guys in this series got so ahead early in these hard points and then kind of fell a little bit short, allowed Carolina to be like, hey, we might be able to rally back in here? What kind of happened? Was it Carolina turning up, or maybe you guys slowing down?
It's a bit of both. I honestly think Carolina was taking advantage of our mistakes, and our team was kind of slacking, so there's a bit of both.
MC, I want to ask you, you know, you guys have won back-to-back-to-back tournaments. I mean, truly spectacular. Have you sat back and reflected on, like, a dynasty in the making? Like, how does that feel? Talk to me about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy because I feel like back-to-back-to-back is crazy and hasn't been done in a minute, so I mean, our team's going for every event, you know, so that's what we strive for.
Love that.
Have Banks and the Faze crew hooked you up with a giant gold chain yet, MacArthur?
Not yet.
Yo, Banks,
hopefully soon, maybe.
Get on it. This man is repping Faze for the league. #1 on every KD leaderboard you could ever ask for. Celium, congrats on the wins. We weren't worried about you at all today.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Celium also earns our scuff play of the game. It's not his first. You're going to see many more of these. They're called clutches, but this time it's a 1v2. Walk me through it, Allie.
This guy is just icy, dude. There's some sort of like confidence, aura, whatever it is from him in the past couple of years, but like just the way that he plays, he knows the guy's gonna drop through the side, so he's framing that he's expecting the pressure from the left, but he doesn't even go for the chow. And then you move on later on, and he's basically
What the hell is this map now?
Again. By the way,
I
this round Simon self
I don't think it is Black Ops 3. I don't know. At first I thought it was, but now I don't think. I'm not sure that it is.
Carolina, wake up, bro.
If you were sleeping at home, well, it's time to wake up, because when we call back, LA Thieves tries to get back on the horse. The problem? Vancouver is surging forward. Top 3 teams take each other on when we come back.
Might get another pick. I don't think it's hard hat, because like, where would this be on hard hat? Oh, but I don't know what the fuck this is. What the fuck is this?
With the Scuff, the official
I
controller
don't know what this
of the
is,
Call of
bro.
Duty League.
Sell MVP? Yeah, probably is, honestly.
Is an official partner of the Call of Duty League.
Yeah, I think Thieves will win. It's online. You know about online, man. The graphics look good, so I feel like it's not that old of a game, but I want to say it's like Vanguard or something, because the graphics look pretty good. I don't think it's old. I don't know, what the fuck is this? Or BO4 or something, I don't know. I don't know what this shit is, man. Oh my god, shut the fuck up, don't you dare. Wait. Is this dome? Why is there a dome thing? This isn't dome though. What is this? Wait, is this like a dome remake or something? Wait, this is Cold War, I think, yeah? There was a map like this on Cold War. I forgot what it's called. Is it Echelon? This is, yeah, I think this is
Target
Cold War, yeah,
neutralized.
because I remember I played this map. Yeah. Wait, what an easy map to be. Let me see, hold on. What is this right here? Oh, this is Vanguard, I think. I forgot the name. I think that's Vanguard. What, Draza? 0.55, 1.64 the rest of the series? What are they talking about? Map 1 is, it's Skyline. I'm pretty sure this is Vanguard, bro. It's like, right here on the right side right here, there's like it's like a hallway that you look down into. You can see across to the other side, and then in the middle here, there's like a little computer underground room, no? I just don't know the fucking name of it. And then if you keep going out, there's like a field. I can't tell you the name. Not Berlin. I'll get another pick. I don't know the fucking name. Yes, this is the map. There's like a field out here. You go in here, there's a room, there's like a little hole in the back. I don't know the name, bro. I know the map. Oh, they're doing intros. Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm about to look it up. Vanguard maps. This one? No, not this one. not that one. What the fuck is this shit called, bro? Is it Spear? Yeah, it is. Spear.
Target neutralized.
Still doing intros. Yeah. What is this? This looks like... Oh. Oh no, it looks kind of futuristic. With Thieves intro. I actually don't know what the fuck this is. I might have to get another pick. Oh, this is IW. I have no idea. I didn't play that shit game. Definitely IW. I know what map this is. But
knocked out by the top 8 seed Boston Breach. That's the lowest in the winners bracket in the winners round 1. After that, they run into Toronto, get knocked out of the tournament with not nearly as much money as they planned on banking. But Hydra and crew are back to their online form today. And do you expect them to take a moment like Atlanta did after a major to find their footing?
Maybe a little bit for LA Thieves, because that's been the thing, is like the weird inconsistencies when the expectations are so high. They get us so hyped and so excited for what this team is going to do, and then they kind of underperform. So for LA Thieves, I'm expecting another really strong
target
qualifier.
neutralized.
I think for them, this is a lot of lesson learning and a lot of team building heading into what is going to be the World Championship at the end.
LA Thieves saying to Vancouver, you will never be in a final again after playing them in Minor 2.
what in the hell?
That Major 2 final, of course, if you're a Vancouver fan.
What is this?
Vancouver,
is
I mean,
this
feeling great right now. Like this team
this looks like MW2.
Look great throughout the entire major that we just
had. Like a state or something.
Search and destroy maps that you don't like, they got removed, right? In the first lick on deal.
I don't. Okay, I need to get this picture to fuck off my screen. Hold on.
In this matchup, these were the 2 best hardpoint teams throughout the entire split in the qualifier. The difference was when we got to land, Vancouver was still good there, and when you look at LA Thieves, they went 3 and 4 in HP.
Trailer part,
so
that's a good
they
guess.
just didn't translate to the land. So for Vancouver,
target neutralized.
now, like, I feel extremely good about them headed into this.
For me, for Vancouver Surge, I
This is actually a good map.
Important match for them, at least confidence-wise, going up specifically.
I remember playing that
against
shit in
LA Thieves
Pug.
because they haven't won this matchup yet.
I think they remade it.
I
forgot in
they
what
went all the
COD.
way to that game 7 in the Minor 2, and then during qualifiers, the LA Thieves bopped
What
them
is
3-0,
this? This
right?
looks like
So
Treyarch.
Vancouver Surge, this is just about
Actually,
like, can we finally take down the LA Thieves? And their biggest issue
I almost
is
thought
going to
it
be in
was
that search and
derailed
destroy,
because of the
because
back,
it
but
has
I don't think
fallen
so.
off incredibly since what we saw last split.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I just kind of talked about like the maps a little bit. Like the map changes, I think, really does help the Vancouver
really
Surge.
does.
And there's like some things that they're trying here too, like Skyline Hardpoint, a map that they haven't.
I thought it was derailed, but I don't think it is.
So, Vancouver still
Oh, there's
evolving,
like
still
a
getting better.
lake or
You know, the
something
individuals
frozen.
on this team as well. Nasty, a guy
The
that we've
fuck
been
is this?
highlighting a lot. Abuza, man, we don't talk about him enough. He's been so consistent for them, and 04 has taken a huge step. Like the confidence he got at that major, we saw it in the first match. He was rolling.
Let's take a look at some of the numbers. Why does Vancouver have hope today in the rematch? Well, Neptune tops the leaderboard. Hardpoint kills per 10 minutes. He's dropped 27.6 out.
I mean, their hardpoint has been insane. 29 and 19 on the season, top 3 overall in the league. They've been unreal in that game mode. The thing right now that they need to focus on is adding another game mode to that pool, because hardpoint can only get you so far.
Ghost?
And they're
This
pretty
is a Ghost
50-50
DLC?
when it comes to that control respawn, and they're under
but no
50-50
Ghost
when it comes to
DLC,
search and
man.
destroy. So that's going to be my focus honing in on this team.
And as cool as the fact that Neptune is number 1, 0.2 behind him is this guy, Scrap and Hydra.
Yeah.
You've got them in the 2 and 3 spots for LA Thieves. If you're looking for Slayers, this is a packed lobby.
Yeah, this is a packed lobby. I mean, this is firepower on both sides. Each of these teams, you know, at one point have just been straight dominant. And, you know, talking about this LA Thieves team, like, like they have the gun skill. They're always going to be able to win gunfights. It's just, will they lose their heads in these HPs? Like, so uncharacteristic on LAN, especially in that Boston match. Like, watching them, everything online was so smooth, so calculated in every push, in every break, and then we get to LAN and there's just no cohesion whatsoever. Ghosty was the best player in the game mode, right? So you need these guys to bounce back.
Speaking of Ghosty, I need him to stop shooting bodies in the firing range. It's time to get into the lobby. Let's take a look at why LA Thieves was knocked out of that tournament early. Boston hands them a 3-1, some surprise losses in Hardpoint. Then Thieves are able to take out Miami. They beat the Royal Ravens 3-0. We're thinking they're looking great after a 3-0 over Cloud9. But then Toronto took control in that series, Allie. Is it a matchup thing? Where does LA have
We did have whiteout. I don't.
Matchup thing, but it's also just Toronto and Boston.
I don't think they use them twice.
I mean, we've seen it now at the start of the split. Like, both of these teams look miles ahead than what they did during Stage 2 qualifiers. So I think they might have just caught LA Thieves off guard really well in that day number 1, because obviously they drop down, they take care of Heretics, they take care of Atlanta, they take care of Cloud9, then they meet up with the same kind of situation on the flip side in Toronto Ultra, they get shut down.
I mean, it's just like a weird tournament. Like, they're uncharted territory. Like, you go into a series.
I'm gonna look at the
like
ghost maps right
every
now.
single control. They were on that crazy streak, and then you lose to Toronto 3-0 on a protocol. You decide to chow them there because you're extremely confident. You start to lose some HPs. Like, they got cooked by Toronto. Like, it was not
50 to 115 in that map.
It was.
I don't know if it is a ghost
close,
map.
right? So some maps that they thought that were just lockups.
I'm looking at the
clearly not, and
maps.
still needed a ton
I'm
of
not
work.
sure it is a
And if you think
ghost
back
map.
to, like, the minor final
Unless
that
it's
they had
this
up against
one.
Vancouver,
It
this
doesn't
is a
look like this.
completely
But
different
hold on.
Vancouver. They've gotten so much
This
better
might be
since
something
then,
else.
especially in the hardpoints and some of the maps
I
you're
don't think
playing, like
it's this.
Skyline, a map that evolved this LA Thieves team. They started to be dominant on Skyline Search and Destroy, not in the map pool anymore. So if you're an LA Thieves fan, I think it is time for a little bit of concern.
Yes, no,
I'm hoping these guys made some big strides.
it's not a
since that
ghost
game.
map. What is this? Battle map? Oh, just that weird shit. Oh.
Vancouver, they are just
Target neutralized.
That big ass shit.
Only 4 teams to do so
Oh,
on the season.
that's
If you're
why I was
looking
like,
for
what the fuck
individuals,
is this?
Allie, who do you feel more confident in dropping the most kills in the lobby? Scrap or Neptune?
This has gotta be like MW2 or something.
I would have leaned towards Scrap, but he's had some floors recently, and I feel like we've gotten just straight consistency from the side of Neptune.
27 kills, 36 kills.
I'm gonna go with Travis McLeod the second.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo that.
State?
I'm gonna go with Neptune, man. One,
Yeah,
he's got the
maybe. I
Super
don't
Saiyan
know. It's
vibes
definitely
there,
MW2.
and I think he's just been so consistent.
Wait.
Now we were getting this like elevated
It's
level
MW3.
of all four.
Is
Like,
this
they're just
Village?
bouncing off each other in game so well. I think
It's
Neptune
Village.
might be in line for
Target neutralized.
Neptune, if you're wondering why the band-aids are there, he got in a fight with Nameless. Don't
Good ass map, man.
Let's take a look at our maps and
They don't make them like
Best
that
of 5,
anymore,
first to
man.
win 3 of these,
Yeah, so I was just kind of talking about it with the
What
Skyline
is this?
Hardpoint, Uncharted Territory.
It says
Don't know
it's
how
literally a
gonna be
picture of
for the
Nuketown.
team. LA Thieves,
I mean,
they only played it twice in the last
it's
stage, so,
it's
dealership
literally
S&D,
look how many
it's
fucking
looks like a
Nuketowns
good
there
map
are.
for Vancouver. I love this for them.
Yeah,
how
looking at
good
this,
does
I
that
think
picture
dealership's
look?
Gonna be great. I'm looking at the Hacienda and
I
layout
don't
of the
know.
series for Vancouver. I'm glad that it's map number 4 instead of map number 1 because you're going up against.
Wait, I
like,
think this is the
number 1 team
Do
in
they
the
have
game,
Black
so they're
Ops 6
playing for
maps in here?
the long haul for sure.
Scuff Pick'em leader. My lead
I don't
has
think they
now
do.
dwindled to
Slightly.
just 2. Allie, I hope you don't have faith.
I thought it was that destroyed BO6 Nuketown map, but I don't think they have
I just
BO6
go for
maps
it
on
just to
here.
try and catch up.
Catch up.
Ah, screw it. Vancouver Surge. I was gonna
Do
pick
they?
LA, but I gotta catch up
I
somehow.
don't think they do.
Wait, are LA ahead of them? In
Well, let me
overall standings?
Yes.
Yes.
2 and 4.
let me see if they
so I
do.
said I'm
No,
going
they don't
for
have
it.
BO6 maps on here.
Vancouver?
What the fuck is this then?
Chip study. It's time for LA to put on a masterclass, right?
What it's called? That's not
Sure,
here.
why not?
Yeah.
All I know is this going to be
The
an
date?
old-fashioned slot rocker,
No, I
absolute
think that's the
blockbuster.
date
One
of
that's
when
gonna do
they
the show for sure.
posted it.
And the thing
I don't
about
think it
this is,
has
if you're
any
Vancouver,
relevance.
You're sitting here like you're gonna tell
Like
us we're never
this
gonna
one
make
probably
grand
April
finals again.
2nd. Yeah,
They
that's just the
did.
date
You
of when
guys
they made it.
lost it. So let's see how they fare as they get back on the online sticks.
Yeah, if I'm
Let me get
LA
another
Thieves,
pick.
hopefully I wasn't kicking a soccer ball this morning because the 2 days that I see them do it at the event, on Thursday they lost to Boston, on Sunday they lose to
Oh,
Toronto.
this is
So
Cold
throw
War?
that sport out the window,
This
but
is
This is always going to be a great matchup, Alan. We
It
had
was
the
in the
opportunity
beta.
to cast it obviously in the Mind of 2 grand
What's this
finals.
fucking
It goes
map
all
called,
the way to
man?
distance, Game
Satellite,
7.
yeah.
It was like the reincarnation of Neptune's COD career.
I think the map
Target
started.
neutralized.
With them the following weekend, you get 3-0.
I
So it
remember
was just
this
like
map.
game was all mixed emotions. I just love
What
how we're
map
gonna
started?
have these 2 powerhouse teams teams, some of the best teams that we have in Hardpoint, duking it out, and none better than the opening Skyline because Des touched on it. Vancouver do not.
I don't have no picks on this Skyline. If I would guess, it's about to be overs, but
to put it in the bins on their end, and LA Thieves picked it. So let's see what they learn.
Yeah, I like this though for Vancouver just to kind of again build out your map pool because yeah, through stage 2 there was a level of like let's just keep Neptune where he's most comfortable. That resulted in a lot of haciendas and a lot of faults in particular. But yeah, I love the idea of just trying to get yourself diversified in the Hardpoint map pool. So let's get it out here. Thieves, Surge looking solid for one of these possible rivalry matchups between these two. But at the opener, it is Thieves all through the kill feed and in the Hardpoint.
Yeah, absolute perfection start. Right there from LA. They spawn on the bad side here for P1, but they get all 4 kills at the same time, instantly able to flip the spawns. And now Vancouver haven't even had an opportunity to potentially find a break here. 20 seconds still remaining. The ARs are gunning. Even Hydra has one in hand. That's another 3-for-1 trade, and LA Thieves currently can do no wrong.
Yeah, battle of the ARs over the top hallways. Ghosty surprised as a double hit through Kitchen starts to develop for Vancouver with 5 seconds remaining on P1. Force trying to get around the back to block, but not going to happen, and things will stay stable for Thieves as they get the rotation to 2.
Yeah, they definitely look like they didn't play any soccer this morning. Perfect. They're at that P1.
All right, I see why Surge doesn't play this map. They might be fucking horrible at it.
Is going to play into his favor, but the stun even better there for Vancouver. They find the opening kill. They're currently winning the trade fights, and the spawns might get a little freaky as long as LA Thieves do not find trades, but they're still in the back.
Yeah, really good composure here from Thieves. The setup is perfect. The layering is absolutely the way you want it to be. Never really allowing those spawns to be blocked, threatened really at all. And so now Vancouver with 25 seconds kind of has really just one more chance at this. Neptune is continuing to keep the hand hot as he's good for 4, but still, it's just one of those situations that for Vancouver, they never really got any substance towards those breaks. That's going to be essentially a full 60 for the Thieves.
Oh yeah, it doesn't get any better than that. Like LA, we're filling every layer, trading every gunfight, not allowing Vancouver to cross past that 75-yard line to block those back spawns, and just consistent trading allows them to open up this hard point.
Bro.
But basically a full 60 on both.
Okay, finally got some fucking points, like, dude. Hey, they should never play this again. I know they wanted to try it out, but like, these fools are getting fucking set. They don't even have 10 points. This is insane.
This has been absolute perfection for them.
Hey, no wonder they don't play this shit.
Create something here through the middle of the map. That'll work out as Neptune's right there with him. But again, the trades are so swift for LA. It gets the hard point back to neutral. Gunfight win comes through. Now we got a 4v3 for the Thieves.
And they still have the spawns that they want for the P4 side.
This is bad. I'm not sure they're gonna get to 50 points.
They go 3-for-1 in the trade fights.
If they don't break this P4.
Start to apply pressure toward the backside of Cabo, but LA Thieves just keep on creating those layers. Onward a 13-5 start. Like, he's all over the map.
It's just one of those things, like even in that
they
moment
should
right
be able
there,
to break this though,
like
actually.
Thieves have both ARs that pop up. They watch that long street over through kitchen side, and the SMG's
Never mind, they got pissed on.
4
dead.
For Thieves. That's
Never
gonna be
mind,
4
their
dead.
ass.
Vancouver, I don't think they actually realized they spawned the Thieves out. They were still expecting them to be backside patio at 4. Not the case, and we're gonna have a 100-point game with LA in the perfect setup through P4.
Yeah, they took too long right there to challenge the players in the hill. Like, you already have back Cabo. We got to push forward because pinches are going to be about. And if no one's watching kitchen, that's where that repinch instantly breaks them down. So now LA actually trying to walk away with all this time here. You still have pinches here from Vancouver for every single angle. 2 players still trying to stay alive around the tub area. Back and forth we go in the kill feed, but it's still LA towards the back. No longer.
Okay, finally there's something for Vancouver to win, and it comes at just the cost of what is about 18 seconds worth of scrap time. So maybe a sign of life here, but for the most part, I'm sure Nameless is sitting there in the green room right now thinking of a multitude of ways he could draw some conclusions about how perfect that first set was from LA. Tall task here for Vancouver to mount a comeback, and they're going to get beat once again in these battles over the top of the hot tub.
Right, Mamba Wheeler has a bunch of clips that he can take in and draw conclusions because LA basically played that first half perfect besides a mixy P4. Now we get into the second set. Vancouver looking for the bounce back. So far, they're the team soaking up a lot of time here at P1. But when you have such a lead the way that you do, that's going to allow Hydra to develop on this long route.
Yeah, this is the perfect time as Thieves are just, again, creating all these spaces and these opportunities. Let's jump in to see how the LA Thieves are coming here in the second rotation.
No, nerd class, that's left. Stay left, stay left. From P2 as well. No, they don't.
Hold on.
On time.
Wait a minute.
No, what on me? Let's go top mid. What on me, boys? What on me?
Hold on.
Front bed, phone bed, in bed. Front bed, other one on time. On top, take our time. Top T, nasty. Nasty, that top T. On time, weak. On time, our side, time. On time, weak. On time, weak. Needed it. It's on it. Our side, time, hit him again. Nothing left. Dude, one shot 04. Wow, one shot P1 and one from grill.
Dude, they all called 04 out weak, and he just shit on everyone every time they try to trade him.
Absolute. That's the only one I think. Just keep one shot back door. One shot back door. They're gonna be close front after. Yeah, in front. He's still back flat, boys. I spawned one in front of me.
Are we blind?
Two front. We need to quit for this kid.
This will be a bad. Hey, this will be a bad loss if they choke this. Bro, they were up like what? Like 100 to like 5.
I'm looking for it. I'm going in. I don't see him here. Probably going to boys. I'm leaving. Two. I got one. Zip, going in. Zip, P1. One's P1 on me. Look, outer in. I don't see outer. I'm trying to P1 right now, dead. We're gonna be close. This one minutes. Yeah, top B, top it.
A little bit of a listening curse right there as Vancouver start to bake their way back into this game, and we're going to take a look to see how Surge are coming as we go to P3.
I'm here. He's one marks, side at once. Go see on right side, 2 fight. Wait, one shot down.
Oh, they're good. They
They
do need to kill Neptune though. Oh, they never killed him. Hold on now.
I'm doing it. Okay, I'm going top, alright? Come on, they don't know. Yeah, no. Yeah, we top. You can leave time. Go on top. Go on you. Nice. Yeah, they need to go top. 1 2 on guys. One more on. He's probably low guys. I'm staying in buff. I'm waiting for the shoot. I'm staying up top, guys.
Hydra just tried to jump. Did you see him? He fell off. He tried to jump from P1 to the window.
That was getting top, guys.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna play the get left. Okay, I'm all on top. You're left.
No, dude. Oh, they're about to break though. That's a break.
I'm going on that fast. We're good. Top on me.
Wow, okay, 04, we see you. A couple of heroic plays here for Vancouver in the last stretch of hills. Has them right back in this game, but the scrap time, about 30 seconds, looking solid here for the Thieves, Jay.
Oh, yeah, this is looking great so far here for LA to walk away with this final 30. Vancouver going to give it one last push. Good. They go 3 for 1 in the trades, even though the spawns are technically to the back for LA. They're all working that OE through bottom kitchen. They want to try to flip it. Start off on this side for that P1, because that's when Vancouver started that train of starting the comeback. A lot of time off of P1. They already got the investment out of Hellstorm. It got nothing done. It was a 100-point difference. Now it's only down to 25.
Yeah, it's solid read from Ghosty, but just a little bit late to get the awareness that Vancouver was spawning right next to him. But Hydra on the pitch, almost able to find two, but Abuza shuts that down. Good time here for Thieves inside a hot tub as Abuza finds his second. Nade over towards the hill will actually miss onto Envoy. Sounded like it was closer than maybe it actually was, and now Hydra's pitching, and just when you thought that maybe the Thieves were letting this one go just a little bit too loose, they're right back in, and they find themselves a 50-plus point lead.
And Vancouver can't allow this time to get away from them. You need to find a break. Nasty was trying to get aggressive over towards Kitchen. He realizes, okay, my teammates spawned at Cabo. Let me start to back on up a little bit. And eventually it sets up all the angles to find the break for the final 15. Now you need a break in towards the P2. LA Thieves can close it out here. They're fully set up off the rotation. The kills are going their way. Vancouver, you need to go and go quick.
Yeah, that 1v1 win right there from Hydra onto Abuza. Likely the game winner. Can you actually force this through in any regard if you're Vancouver? Just too much damage coming through, forcing a team kill. And the last 10 seconds will be found here on P2 from the Thieves. Unless 04 can be a hero once again. He's trying to make his way up. He does at least secure one elimination, but it's not going to be enough. So what was about a 100-plus point game got real tight.
They brought it back, but
set of hills, but
are we looking? Grab 32, Hydra 29. Actually, I think the only person that went over was probably Scrap and maybe Envoy. Everyone else was like just under, I think, because they had their alliance pretty high.
So what was about 100+ point game got real tight there in the second.
Player nasty. I'm pretty sure he's sitting towards the back, and he miraculously is able to walk away with 3 kills for Vancouver to get time there. And then when you're going from P3 to P4, that's when you saw all 4 when we jumped into a listening with Surge that he was getting a double, whips out the pistol, slide and glide, hit him with the dive mid-air, and was able to make a big individual play for Vancouver to try to fight their way back into this game. But the Thieves, they weren't really worried. They knew that they basically had the game in control majority of the game, besides until it started getting a little bit scary towards the middle. That one break at the end for that final 30 at P4.
Dealership S&D,
all your gunfights that you were finding success for originally to start the game, you found it at the end to close it out.
What
at P2.
the fuck is that quality? This is COD 4.
A lot sooner, but Vancouver showed some fight there on a map that they usually don't play.
Yeah, and I think the encouraging thing for the
Hydra was at 30, right? He had 29.
Really smart adjustments after that first set of
What is
hills.
this shit? This is
when Thieves were playing, it's just like Vancouver
just
was
making a
coming
crazy
in,
guess.
like legitimately
This
in
quality
one
looks
front,
so
one
bad.
direction, and LA was just dominating the map. They were just walking through a lot.
Why does
of
this
what
look
Vancouver
so
was doing on the
shit?
map. That's
I can barely even
though,
see
in
the
that second
pick.
set of hills where you got a Booza watching over the middle of the map.
Zoo?
Trying to get some information for Neptune and 04.
Why does it look so bad?
Target neutralized.
P3 instead of just
Ew.
from the front over and over again. So good adjustment.
Zoo does not look this shit, I don't think. I think these are bad picks.
But still, the lead
What
just
the
too
hell? This
large.
looks like
team's
it's
still
fucking
looking really
terrible.
solid across pretty
What
much
the
every single
fuck?
respawn we have.
Yeah, that's gotta feel good though if you are LA, because obviously your major 2 performers.
What the hell is this? I can't even see. It's a bathroom.
Had you guys going a lot deeper.
I think.
And when you
This
take a
shit's
look at
dark
this
as hell. I
game
can't
flow,
even
though,
see
they
this
were
shit.
basically in control of the game. Never lost the lead. You started off basically up by 100. They were slowly starting to edge their way back on.
I actually can't
When
see
you got
this,
to about
so I'm gonna
175 to 165. That was when the break came in. 3 players
Get
pushing
another
their way
pick.
through back kitchen.
Okay,
You
this is
overwhelmed
COD
Booza
4,
on that end
I
and
think, judging
instantly
off the
flipped Vancouver out
picture.
for a good
Looks like
amount of
shit.
junk time there to take map number 1. But now on Dealership Search and Destroy, I know we saw Vancouver play this versus Falcons, but I don't know if you saw Falcons' most recent game where it didn't matter if Exit found every single first blood on the map, they were still going to lose it. So now this is truly a test to see what Vancouver are like, because I know they're phenomenal at Search and Destroy. They just
It's like
haven't
a
really showed it
van.
recently.
Wait, I think this shit's
I
about to
think the
start.
thing about this Vancouver team was
Oh,
it
shit,
felt
man.
like the Search and Destroy
Oh, I
was
think
the
it's
last
vacant.
piece of the puzzle for them. It definitely looked like they were putting the most amount of time of getting
Target
2,
neutralized.
3 maps that they could really rock on with Hardpoint. You know, talking about things like
Why do these pictures look so terrible?
The Search and Destroy
Okay,
was
this picture looks
largely just
fine.
protocol, and when it started,
Like, what the
off
hell
at
is
beginning of
this?
the
Why does
stage
it
with
look like
Neptune,
that?
They were defaulting to playing for
So
floodgates
blurry.
to A, and it was working out because the SMG gameplay was obviously dominating at that point. But as we started to get closer to the major, and in particular as we got into the major itself, not a lot of success. But the thing about it was there's round 10, round 11 losses, and more importantly, a lot of the maps they struggled.
What's that big ass
Skyline
map?
and Vault, those are no longer in the picture, so it does put a little bit
In
of pressure on them to be
MW
good at
2019?
dealership and rewind.
Wait, there's like a.
And again, I think this is important because
Is
looking
this
at what
Octane
Nasty
from
and Neptune were
Ghost?
able to do on this map, they were finding success both as ARs and SMGs.
No.
Oh, and when these guys are
They
doing
give me a fucking
going
room.
crazy the
You
way
know what
they
I'm talking
are,
about?
this is obviously gonna make your job a whole
No,
lot
it's like a
easier. Missed the
giant
ball
ass
rate,
map. It's like
750,
20v20 shit.
3.5 KD. Then you got
Fuck.
Mr.
It's just like a
McLeod the
town, but
second,
it's so
1.6.
big.
Basically, both edging out
I don't
1,000
remember
damage
the
in
name,
that
bro.
Search
It's
and
some
Destroy.
bullshit.
100% in their open dual win percentage. They found 7 first bloods last time they played this map. So, gotta try to do that again because you know LA Thieves are going to have those players on the opposite side, especially like Dylan Envoy. He's gonna have some
We
strategies
need
going
another
into a
pick
map that
because
they have
this
yet
is
to play.
not.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's just like when we talk about like the politicking that comes with, you know, map vetoing out at the beginning.
Bro, they
of the
just show me
year.
the inside of
LA
houses.
definitely
This is
did
not helpful.
like to see Rewind be taken out from the hard
Was it
point
Palace?
perspective, but they didn't play Rewind at all in the Search and Destroy. So the same
It was
conversation
not Palace
talking
because
about
I don't
dealership
even.
and Rewind as being key towards Vancouver to try to get their Search and Destroy back into the picture. All
It's
of that
like-
work we talked
look it
about
up.
for this Thieves squad after Major 1 when it comes to them being a better Search and Destroy.
I think this is what I'm talking. I don't know if this is the map, but that's what.
Target neutralized.
Yeah, it's
this
this giant ass
Veto
motherfucker.
out protocol. So there's a lot of
Look at
pressure
this piss
on
ass
this
map.
team to be solid at both dealership and Rewind. And again, just to reframe it, Rewind was not a part of the opening Major 1 picture
that?
and search for this squad. So it does put some pressure on both these two teams to
That
be good
COD
at these
4?
two new maps.
That's
coming
what
out.
it were. I think that's about to start.
Love the fact that it's
Hold on, what do I have on this? I think I have Envoy and 04. I just wanted to try a dealership.
Putting a lot of practice in on the back end. Same thing can be said with Vault.
Envoy 6047.
Go-tos as of recent as well, because they've been playing a lot of Hossie Search and Destroy. They found a lot of success on both of those maps on their offenses. It's just a map like Dealership where you're banking probably on your offenses.
It could be Kowloon here. Let me guess real quick. The map's
it's so easy to retake, so
it could
let's
be.
see what LA gonna throw at us.
No, it's not.
All right. Well, it's going to be a little bit of a poke and a prod over through mid. Nades on the corner for the defense will push back both Hydra and Ghosty. And more importantly, Neptune has also kind of reclaimed some ground at the front side at middle.
Neptune's
So
all the way up
not a
in
lot of
there,
space for LA to work with off the get-go, but here comes the attempt. And Abuz is there to meet them and meet all of them as he finds the first two. Neptune cleaning up middle.
Oh, we're just all fucking dead.
Down to Hydra.
Okay, Hydra now left in a 1v4. Abuza
what is that noise?
shuts it down over towards the station with the opening double.
All the fucking cars
Now
blowing
if
up
you're
and
Hydra, it's
shit.
just everything blowing up around you. Let me just play it a little patient because I don't want to die to a car bomb.
Yeah, it's like a domino effect of car bombs.
Wait, Abuza didn't see him.
And I don't think Hydra was seen coming through the window,
Hold
so
on.
he will have an opportunity to catch one for free. Door popped. Sees one on the left and the other on the right. Question marks towards where Neptune is now. But this is difficult. And Nasty's going to take the check and hold the scope up to find the elimination. So Vancouver, off of just Abuza's heroic defense over on the one site, gets them the opening round win.
Yeah, LA Thieves try to open up with their opening attack. 3-1 split. Try to use your nades early on to at least back them down from that A position, but they were banking on the slide over to the car, staying alive, draw the attention, and then we play the bait and switch. But
oh, I think that's the map website. When you get it right, they say that.
Yeah, at that point, the player through mid, and Envoy tries to make up for it. He gets taken down by Neptune 1v4 there for Hydra. Realistically, like, I don't know about you, Alan, but I had a feeling that he could potentially pull that off. But yeah, he should be up real.
No,
Vancouver took
definitely did. Thieves looking to get aggressive on their defense through B. Looks like this has been at least somewhat established that Surge are going to have to be aware of this. May not make a difference, though. Envoy still gets up in towards Arches, plus a first blood from Scrap means that this B site is really no longer an option for Vancouver.
Now Vancouver, tough to make a decision here because you know that Abuza yet to take space over at A. They were probably banking on a rotation here from LA, but they stayed
no,
strong
Scrap
on their
stole
setup.
that.
Envoy finds the second, Scrap with the cover fire for the third. Now Abuza, your turn for a 1v4.
Well, he catches the first again. A couple of stray shots coming through the glass. Gives him maybe a look. Scrap just dancing with him. And Abuza's going to go for the re-wrap up towards office. More damage comes through, but doesn't win the first gunfight in towards the actual garage itself. So Thieves able to respond with a solid defense of their own, and that is just one of those rounds that comes by way of forcing that play through Arches. Get your info, get your kills, get out of there.
Oh my god, too shit.
Just watched the series 2 series ago. And just saying, all right, a lot of teams, if they get that bomb down at B, it's pretty difficult to retake it if we don't have the power spot. So let's just take that one away. You strike for the first blood by keeping Envoy alive, and then you take some more space over towards Arches. Force Vancouver to make a tough decision there, and they thought that Thieves are going to bite on that bullet and think about that rotation out, but they just stand strong, tie the game up at 1 on their defense.
Similar offensive break off here for Thieves. This time Envoy will get in towards the small room. Plus the nades behind it, blowing up the cars for him to get a little bit deeper in towards site. The thing that's different about this defensive setup, though, for Vancouver is Abuz is playing way deeper.
But he knew a wall bang spot for the bomb. Hold on.
Also comes to the Surge, and Envoy's in trouble.
Some wild shit.
13 HP in a dream. And he tried to play his life. He knows he's eventually going to get overwhelmed, and Neptune strikes for his second kill of the round. So now in a 4v2, making a 4v3 at the
you gotta spawn in, bro.
Gonna start to rotate that bomb on out, but with the knife out, you're not gonna be prepared for the gunfight. Nasty takes care of Scrap 1v3.
Oh, nice play from Nasty. Off the reload, still catching the information, knows the gunfight's in front of him, and takes care of it swiftly. So a little 1v2 in the middle of the map there for Nasty to secure the round. Vancouver not foiled by either of these opening set plays from Thieves whatsoever towards A. That one a little bit different, though, just not being hit by nades early and trying to get Envoy in the site through small. Doesn't really work out, though.
Yeah, that's with LA developing some trophy systems there. They're saying, okay, the nades has us a little weak. Abuza chose a very tough spot to sort of read because of all the car bombs that could potentially blow on up. Just decided to take that risk, and it worked out in round number 1, but that time plays a little bit safer. And his teammates are able to help him. All-out defenses so far here on dealership. A pace change up though, right through the middle of that for both squads.
Yeah, think about this as the defense just gets so much priority in that location. So a single trade coming back is not likely going to feel like enough. And what's going to have to be a 2v3 with the bomb down just inside that tight corner as well. You see it just right behind the table. Ghosty has just the sliver of an angle to look at it.
And I don't know if they have the info that the bomb is actually going to be down, but thankfully Ghosty is a heads-up player, knows that all of A Street is going to be open. They're potentially going to try to take that space away, and now it's nasty. And a 1v3 with that bomb still down on the little map, this only gets more tough.
Yeah, he's got some time to work with, but the issue is LA's defense is just not moving. They're just holding corners. The bomb could get collected here, but this will be the first challenge, coming up the stairs and not being able to predict Hydra again, holding in a corner. So all defense thus far, Jay. I mean, we're talking about it like we said in challenges. We've been seeing a lot of attacking success coming through. Defensively, though, in the CDL is,
I guess supposed to be an S&D kid.
Really find a lot of priority, and mostly I think it's just again, the CDL teams are so aware of where their advantage.
I think it's the first one that's gonna lose today. I'm pretty sure, right?
Defensive round.
I didn't bet that made today. I just did that control and then that
complete blind counters. First time pushing through B. Next time medium in the middle of the map. There's gunfights going down in the first 5 to 10 seconds.
So if this fucking scum can spawn in, that would be great.
Approach, gain some info and then develop off of that. But now LA, your turn to potentially take the opening offense here on map number 2. They're gonna leave the bomb and spawn, and look how aggressive Envoy already is.
Yeah, I mean, this is all focused onto Hydra. Stuns and Semtexes light him up at middle. You can see 2 defenders are watching this avidly. But you have to be cautious here if you're Neptune, just because of this side door as well. Shots back and forth, but now here comes that pinch from Envoy, just waiting for the proper time to make his move. Up and behind one, trying to find the angle on the other, but 04 simultaneously pushes through
okay,
B. And
we're
it's actually
spawning
Vancouver
in now.
that pinched the play before the Thieves can. Whoa! Power play there, move from Vancouver, just trading out
There
with
we
speed.
go.
That's insane, man. It's like both teams are playing against each other at the same exact time. Like, it's, well, I'm going to do this. All right, I'm going to work a deep pinch on the A side. I'll work a deep pinch on the B side. Let's see who's going to get there first. And whoever does is going to make the impactful play. By the time Envoy is able to strike, all 4 already found a double. So Envoy is then left in a 1v3. I love the slow and steady approach there because he could have edged his way on out. He could have been the game breaker there. Since 04 on the opposing end was like, I'll do it too.
Yep, it legitimately just comes down to that. Doors bashed at mid once again. Vancouver looking to get to arches quickly. Abuza just to sit and make sure no one pushes through aggressively at the corner on A. And with stuns clearing the site, Vancouver's going to go for one of our first plants, but the island player of Abuza is down, and how this post plant has to make a decision. Do we push up and scale forward, or we try to hold this at arches?
And you got to realize, like, if you give up this bomb site control at courtyard,
oh my
you
god,
don't really have an angle.
No, at least get one. Fuck, man, he could have got so many. Oh man.
Left up to Nasty and Neptune.
Yeah, there's just nothing you can do from that position. So tough. I see what 04 is trying to do. Again, you try to just get a level deeper to try to make this post
Envoy already hit.
Dynamic, but there's just not enough space to do that.
It's still the right idea, honestly, because this map's so back and forth. Like, you get a lot of rounds, so I think overs definitely have an edge on this map.
That's it, plainly.
It's just a big heads up kill right there.
You just gotta make sure you don't pick the fucking wrong guy.
On that re-pinch because he was going to take his sweet
Envoy hit. Just need 04 to do something on the map, man.
That pinch to now allow him to have that beat successful plant. So he wins the one-on-one. All of the focus now is in a 3v3 over towards the courtyard. And
people just don't really want to go A, yeah. They go A occasionally, but
to his teammates, they were just hitting out through courtyard, isolate on the 04. And they realized they've already backed down the last couple of players from Surge in towards the archway. So all tied up at 3.
I think Neptune's line was higher.
Texas and stuns going.
I think Neptune was 7.5, I think, and 04 was 7, so I just put the 04, but
have a clean look at the bomb site, but can try to hold this offensive push back from getting deep in towards A, but as Abuza drops, Scrap turns his attention, finds Neptune. Now
oh my god, this guy can't get nothing, man.
Deal with this. Perfect timing in LA. Find our first offense.
And that time, LA didn't really rely on their ARs to try to find success at that A street. They send both the SMGs. I'm pretty sure someone else whipped out an extra one there. And they were just aggressive up through A, catching Vancouver with their pants down. They strike for the first blood. The trade comes in, but then they instantly put themselves in a numbers advantage. And then at that point in the 2v3, you know if you're Vancouver, the play's at A. You just now leave that opening on the pinch for Hydra to catch that timing and secure the final double for finally an offensive round win. LA take the advantage of 4-3. Now just need to do what they've been doing so far on defense in this map stairs.
Yeah, and I was about to say for Vancouver, why not continue to try to make the same play happen over towards Arches? See if you can try to get this Thieves defense out. Remember the first round, they were here aggressively. Envoy did get stunned and naded, but played the same corner. So has Vancouver learned that lesson? Are they going to be able to check it? Does it make a difference? Scrap still finds the first. Envoy in a little bit of trouble, but doesn't make any difference. The help is going to allow him to get the regen, and then you push forward and you keep your numbers managed. Beautiful stuff from Thieves.
And that's going to be bombed down. At the same time, Hydra wins another one-on-one isolation gunfight versus Abuza. Now it's Nasty in a 1v3. Potentially spot Hydra, gets some bad timing. Now Hydra is sort of ready for the gunfight. Puts him down to 44. Now he sent him into teammates for the kill.
Yep, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And for Thieves, that just works out better thanks to the trophy system initially that comes through, but also Scrap just watching the right angle. You know, where Envoy gets up on top of that little platform. He watches one door, Scrap watches the other. And there's just not a very easy way at all for Vancouver to really flush that out. Because, yeah, stuns and some Semtexes are getting damage into Envoy, but Scrap stays safe. As soon as you get that tag, those damages, Vancouver tries to find a pick, but Scrap is right there watching, and it's just a really solid setup to try to hold that B archway.
Yeah, and it was a different look as well, because last time it was Envoy watching the right arch instead of watching the left. But this time, Scrap switches up, saying, I got your back, you just watch your front. And he's able to find another first blood. Now, Lisa Thieves at game point. Gonna slow down this approach. They're on the attack. Envoy just playing for some info. He also has an RC car to work with.
Yeah, Envoy gonna get naded, but he is just playing as a distraction here. They've showed this hit a couple of different times.
Dude, this guy sucks, man.
They show like they're gonna be hitting A. It moves the defense out of mid to watch through vent or the garage door. And in that moment, Thieves are able to find a 2v1 isolated pick onto 04, and now you can rejoin Envoy knowing the defenders here don't have any nades. This is absolutely brilliant in terms of a play call, but Neptune may have something just a touch better. Finds the first blood on this engagement, tries to slide to the bomb. Not gonna happen, and look at your minimap. Hydra's behind the play again.
Yeah, he was just trapped, and now you force your teammates to try to help you, and that opens up the pinch here for Hydra. Time to strike another kill onto Abuza. Nasty left in the 1v2. Try to keep his team alive here. They're playing patient and not rushing this plant, and this might work out in favor of Nasty.
It could.
Wait,
timing
he turned
pending.
He saw him, right? Yeah, he did.
And there's a double chow. It's so good. I will say, for a new map being added to the mix, yes, you have kind of a default setup for LA, both defensively and I think maybe more importantly on the offense. But good adaptability, good kind of modification play that you can make as mid-round starts to come through. You don't see what you like, or you get information that kind of forces you to change. And I think the decisions are just absolutely perfect, legitimately. Like, I think that setup where they get Envoy up at A, or pretty at B, be at the arches on defense with Scrap helping is solid.
What was their number?
Their ability to show force at A on offense, but then modify how they hit through mid is good. And really outside of a couple of rounds where we just had a 3v3, 3v4 situation through mid or quick hits to A, I mean, that was as
I think Scrap got a lot. Yeah, Scrap got 4.
That's 6 first bloods to match with the 6 rounds they were able to pull, and largely speaking, good team effort across the board.
Oh yeah, it was great team effort, relying on a lot of individual play as well, because Envoy and Scrap, they were the dynamic duo shutting down that B side. But if Hydra's not finding success on those first kills over towards that A street where the Boozers trying to catch those timings to work that deep pinch, then those rounds completely play out different. But LA, they just covered all their bases, didn't let anyone slip on by. You know, someone's gonna try to make up ground there and at least work that overextension, but they just got picked off, man. That's a great search and destroy there from LA in general, from every single player. They all had their moments.
That plus the hard point, I would say, as far as the recovery is concerned, Desk, that was pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Pretty strong start if you're an LA fan. Question for the Desk though: who has been the most entertaining player to watch through 2 maps?
Envoy, I think. It's been fun to watch Envoy for sure.
Yeah, why?
What do you mean, why?
Take a look at
I don't know, Surge just kind of got shit on him.
It's just because when Envoy is comfortable on the map, he is probably one of the more fun players to watch, because he gets kind of in this flow state where all the timings really start to work out for him. I mean, come on, how is he winning that second on 04? For me, the S&D, I just really appreciated the attack from the side of LA Thieves. I feel like that was the difference maker in this map too. I just think back to round number 6 where Surge were making this push towards the B site, and they leave Abuza sort of on this island over at A, which I don't hate the play to make some noise and maybe try to catch a couple of LA players out. But the issue is Abuza dies before bomb even gets planted over towards the B site. So now you've given the numbers advantage to the LA Thieves,
I
And then there
wouldn't
was a
even.
moment where
Oh
all
god,
four was
who
pushed up to
picked
their
this? Let me
shack,
see.
and instead of pushing in,
Actually, let me
he's
see
down
what
the
happened earlier,
stairs.
bro.
Like, I get it,
Something.
but also I don't. If he had pushed in,
Something
he
ain't
would've
right.
locking up at least maybe a kill or two.
Yeah, I love what I saw from LA Thieves here, and I love what I'm seeing from Dealership. I mean, you think back to the Minnesota game, they sort of favored that bebop.
An issue for Slasher's crew
on both. Yeah,
on Proto, and it was amazing when Slasher's crew
on both. General.
Sitting right
Where the
outside
fuck
of the
is
top
the
floor.
videos? I just saw him.
And a Faze will go on to make it to.
Oh. Breaking Point had the fucking wrong vetoes. Yeah, look. They said that Carolina. Faze was Team B. Okay, that's why Breaking Point had the info wrong. These fools almost costed. The hell?
Surge, they get inside, they get a little bit of time, they flip them out, and they have a huge P2 hole, right? So,
but can I trust these fucking morons' info now?
Of them on this map with Neptune.
Right.
And I will say, like, if they didn't get themselves in such a hole early, they could have won this map. They look good in it. Second rotation through the end. Surge, I mean, they still look formidable.
100%. I mean, you're looking at 04 and Abuza. They had an insanely slow start to the first half of this map, and suddenly, once they start to get comfortable, you can see how close it almost got. The difference is, as Ant touched on, it was 2 P2s from both sides. For Vancouver Surge, it was the P1 that kind of started their comeback, and for LA Thieves, it was the P1 that solidified, like, whoa, all right, Vancouver Surge, we're not going to let you steal this one away from us, and end up closing out that map.
You can snowball like crazy on this map. We're seeing, like, as the year goes on, the P2s have become a money hill lately. Since the middle of stage 2, and now that was the difference in that map.
All right, coming up next, we have another dose of protocol for Control. We saw it in the previous series. What did you learn from that you could see potentially from Vancouver? Tell me the comeback story, Nameless.
I mean, it's going to be tough, right? Because you're going up against LA Thieves team. So good on Control, 8-1 on this map in particular. I will say, though, they played Toronto, and they got 3-0'd on it. So if you're Vancouver, there is hope.
All right, so they bled once in the 9
Yes,
games.
out of the last 5 controls LA Thieves have played, their one loss is on protocol to Toronto Ultra in a 3-0 fashion.
Wait.
So out of the 3
Oh, they took it down already.
bads that you could pick from when it comes to control, this is probably your best chance if you're Vancouver Surge.
We got some hot takes. Let's jump into it here, and this is
What the fuck is this old shit?
What is the best roster move?
Neptune to Surge.
Neptune to Surge,
Yeah,
number 1.
This has gotta be World at War.
Penny to Minnesota.
Hey, that looks good right now, but they're 1-1.
All right, let's keep going with Neptune here.
I'm gonna go with the entire LA Thieves roster. Does that count?
No, that
What do you
is
mean
the
that
same
doesn't
roster
count?
going in from Major 2 to Major 3.
Oh, we're talking about recently. Okay, then I'm gonna go
Golly,
with
what does that graphic say?
best roster move.
Courtyard.
He said Neptune.
Probably, it's gotta be
Target neutralized.
And they got Hook. Hook's back in the building.
I'm gonna go with Miami. I think Miami's gonna be gross to super in lineup, especially on land.
Wait, didn't they remake this in
I don't know.
something? They remade it.
Let's go back and shift and study.
I forgot which game they remade it in.
Big super fan here, by the way. I love that.
Recently.
However, I'm going LAG.
What the fuck is that?
That T-Fell pickup.
Yo, actually, hold on.
Too early.
What in the fuck? What is this? Is it? It's water. Oh, this is the worst pick I've ever seen, bro.
Couldn't get no worse.
It's like water, I think.
Could get no worse. They finally won some hard points.
Absolute worst
Potentially
pick
might win a
they've ever
series
given us.
next week. Might be a good shot there for the Falcons.
No, give me T-Fell Enterprises, bro.
What is this?
I'll just say it right now. I've got LAG finishing above
This is
Vegas
this
in
is
this.
BO3 DLC.
Wow, that's hard. Yeah, that's hard
Give
to
me
do.
that. Give me that. Gentlemen, fans, please love me. You can find me on Twitter at iHoldShit.
Man, you think it's Stronghold? It's not Stronghold, is
Again,
it?
the news is not
No.
going anywhere when
What
you
is
play
this?
the Thieves.
I don't know what this
Control.
is. What is this?
Small bit of recency
I don't think I
bias.
played
Sure,
this.
Toronto came out frying, to be completely candid. But on the
I don't know
other
what
front
this
here,
is.
when you look at this Vancouver team, they did really, I think, kind of utilize this map early in Stage 2 as they waited to facilitate the subs to run and go crazy. It didn't really treat them as well at the Major, though. So we'll see what we get here in the Major 3 quals.
Yeah, realistically, it's going to come down to Vancouver to keep with the slang on the side of LA because they are #1 in every single one of those stats. And They continue to show it every single time, besides the slip-up versus Toronto Ultra, who was the roster to hand them their first protocol control L at Major 2. But so far in their defenses, 30 seconds wiped off the game clock, all tied up in lives. Vancouver have yet to be able to touch one of these points. Neptune is looking for his moment to strike.
I just have to say, like, I love that we're trying to fish for, like, oh, LA Thieves, like, they're a little weaker on control. They've only lost 6 control maps all year. Like,
insane,
it's
bro.
good everywhere. Like, we're fishing a little bit, friends. A little bit of copium. But here we go. Little nice solid breakthrough after the opening start from Thieves. Looked like it was going to really mitigate a lot of this push towards A, but the secondary effort for Vancouver has been solid. They're going to get the first pick at least on the A zone.
Yeah, first segment is locked. Neptune, unfortunately, is going to get caught, and now it's all about reading this player who's working on this pinch in Envoy. He strikes for a kill onto 04. Also is able to find a double onto a Booza, so now it's a 1-on-1 onto the point. Nasty not going to try to dance with him. At least puts him a little weak before he commits on the gunfight. Able to find it as well, so still working on his progression.
The problem is Hydra's still wrecking you and Spawn. It allows a chance for Ghosty to push forward, keep the clock ticking, and more importantly, he finds another, which allows the secondary push for Thieves to come right back in and reclaim that mid turret. Nasty still back over towards the stairs. Abuza, importantly, shutting down Envoy, but with 25 seconds remaining and the entire overextension open, this is going to have to be a successful play on really both zones if you want to try to get this LA Thieves defense back over to your side of the map.
Oh yeah, now it's on taking out Hydra, because he's already been a nuisance
Scrap
behind.
playing.
Now he finds kill number 2. You already find the break onto the
Is he
point.
a
The
zero?
second segment does not get locked.
Are we AFK?
Now with 10 seconds left to go, you have to waste time to even work out of your spawn. I don't know if you're gonna touch it.
No, I don't think you do. And that is like Hydra on a respawn simulator of I'm gonna spawn up, hit the OE, spawn up, hit the OE, spawn up, hit the OE, and he gets around the back every single time. Second tick of progress, though, looks like it very well may come through contested for Envoy, and as the kill comes out, that is enough for LA to just hold it at one single tick for the Surge.
Yeah, that's got to be so annoying there if you're Vancouver. You're like, okay, guys, we killed everybody through the middle of the map. Who are we looking for? Hydra, someone turn around. And if that timing does not go your way, he breaks you every single time. There were players in that sequence where Neptune and Nasty were able to find a double. Last 2 players from LA were working on those deep pinches. You caught the timing going to at least the first, so you got 3 dead, but then Hydra just gets 1 and then just plays his life. And then by the time you're trying to play for that reach out onto him, he takes care of you as well, and then just stalls out so much time for his teammates to now get back into the play. That doesn't allow them to even work up more than 1 segment there on that round. They don't really do it in the slaying there. They do it more with the finesse, but LA strong on the first defense.
Yep. Just too much SMG pressure. Color me surprised. Who would have saw that coming from Thieves? On a map like Protocol Control. The answer, everybody. Everyone saw that coming. Nice opening from Nasty. Able to take down 2. Abuza nearly able to finish off Scrap, but he had to trust the knife. Not going to work out as 04 finds 1 elimination, and then the follow-up play, not as clean as you'd like. Both SMGs will drop, but Nasty still keeps the B zone safe.
Yeah, that's forward dead again. Now you don't really have a lot of pressure through that mid-map, so LA Thieves aren't really worried about their pinch. They're more focused on winning gunfights through the front side. It's on Neptune now and 04. Working on these pinches. 04 already finds himself on 2. Nasty gets himself involved into the play. You know, the last guy sitting towards Heli side, Hydra's able to win that gunfight. And at least opens up that lane over towards Heli.
Still, though, not enough presence to get onto the zone with any level of comfort. And talk about perfection. You thought Thieves had started us off on a hot foot. Vancouver trying to one-up them here. 30 seconds to fight for. LA do have control of their house, and now looking to make a play at mid. No one even gets a read that Hydra had pushed through, so he's going to take down 2, take a couple extra steps, scramble to open up space over through bottom side PC, and now all of a sudden 04 is on an island, and he really has to value his life here. He really can't be a defensive contestant, and that's why he gets found and immediately dealt with. First hit looking good for Thieves.
The information was there for LA. They knew that it was 2 players sitting on the bottom side of comms, so we already took care of Neptune. Where the hell did 04 go? Envoy takes care of him off the respawn. Now the second segment is going to be locked. It's looking like Vancouver are going to have to give this one up. You don't want to die in this situation and allow LAD to start thinking about that chain reaction. That's already 3 for 1, a minute 20 on the B point already, and have some mid-map control to go with it.
Oh, nice shot for Neptune. Huge shutdown. He wants more. He's going to get more. Whoa, okay, that's what we're talking about. 3 for Neptune, 14 and 9 leading the lobby. Ghosty up and through the vents. Able to find himself a freebie onto Abuza, and again, now he's got Grandma control, which leads to an opportunity for Thieves to use this as kind of a pivot point as they make their way over to B.
Yeah, but Neptune is not making it easy for them to approach over towards the B point. Just staying alive over towards Heli. Ghostly forced to try to get out of dodge there, but gets killed by the spawners from Surge. 9v10 and lives remaining. 45 seconds left to go. 2-2 split. You cannot afford to trade if you're LA.
Yeah. Envoy considering the zone, but wants to wait for help. That decision is punished as he was really kind of between 2 to 3 different Surge members. Hydra, oh, Semtex lands, makes that really easy for Neptune. And now it's just an 8v5. Respawns will really not make much of a difference at this point for the Thieves. They need to find a way to get a couple of wins and get on the point.
Oh, that's too dead. Nasty though responds with a double of his own. No more respawns now on the side of LA. Got one player pausing the game clock, but the repinch here from Hydra gets shut down. Scrap loses one-on-one, and so does Ghosty. So Vancouver able to spawn with the defense of their own. But they allow 2 more segments to get away from them. Got some ground to make up for, but 1-1 you're not mad about.
No, not at all. And the thing about it is, I think still you're thinking defensively, like we were that close, like 1 kill away. If we just see Hydra making that play through mid, take care of him, trade him, we likely don't let any ticks go through. So nothing too worrisome, I would think, if you're a Vancouver fan. But some ground to be made up for in this next offensive approach now that there's trophy systems involved.
Yeah, I think if you're Vancouver, though, let's just make sure we're spreading map off the respawn, because there was multiple times where the players from LA are working at OE uncontested. Like, you either want to send someone on the cobble steps or have the players playing towards top trip windows, consistently peeking over towards that B Street side. Just not allowing these SMGs to get lost. That was the reason why you lost round number 1. You can't allow that to be the case here again. A little delayed route for Neptune up the stairs and onto B. Hydra, though, once again, just runs through the OE, finds 3. Wow. I mean, it's just, I'm telling you, you could go back and rewatch the minimap, and it is just him playing through the B side of the map, up and around the back. Him playing through the B side of the map, up and around the back. And now you've got help from the rest of the team, and Neptune's just out here saying, I don't know, what do I do? What do you guys want me to do? And they know the positioning of Neptune as well. Like, they already put down shots, realizing, okay, he's in our grandmas, but just drawing that little bit of attention on that side allows his teammates to win the gunfights off the respawn. But no one watching the pitch. Here comes Scrap.
Yeah, gosh, it's just protocol things happening right now. Surge just aren't able to hang with. Neptune stalls out what looks to be an inevitable spawn trap as Envoy makes his way to lockers. Good first. Follow-up not going to be there, but Hydra has an AR to play with. Not picked up. He came out of spawn with this, and that will still work. 24 plays 17. 20 seconds on the clock, and Vancouver are being absolutely dominated. Can't get out of spawn.
Yeah, this is so annoying. Like, it's got to be so annoying on the side of Surge. Every time you think, okay, we got 3 dead. There's no one left in our base.
I'm not
the
sure,
repitch from Scrap
Wait,
is
today's Sunday, right? Yeah, no, I'm not.
And now with 5 seconds left to go, not going to be in an opportunity to even touch one of these points. Unless you win an insane one-on-one, but LA Thieves strong again on the defense. Do not allow any segments to go the opposing way. They just guaranteed themselves defense if it does go to round 5.
Yeah, that's crazy. By capturing only 1 zone, they've already guaranteed themselves round 5 defense without a second offensive effort. Yeah, some work to be done here, I think, with Vancouver. I mean, just their first offense never really were able to understand how Hydra was getting around the back. No one was watching the top side of the map whatsoever. Just too much focus into trying to battle against Ghosty and Scrap. Maybe there was a level of that here in this one. I think Neptune tries to change up his opening route to maybe
Wait, I never got
Hydra.
a new
That doesn't
thumbnail,
happen.
huh?
He saw him kind of look back over towards the ropes. Never saw him.
Yeah,
I forgot.
So, tough scenes, man.
I'll get one from Thieves.
Now they got to figure it out on defense. Obviously, the preferred side that you want to be. Potentially play for a shutout here. Go into this next round with a little bit of streaks to work with if you can. Nasty on 3 in a row and a boozer from the top window. Instantly shuts down that A push. And now your SMGs, your turn to have a field day, but their first attempt instantly gets shut down with Envoy finding the opening.
3 pitch though from, same from Neptune on the way, but Ghosty shuts that down as well. So now you've got an opportunity here for the Thieves to get yourself set up and get a look at this A zone. Scrap trying to push through, doesn't really work out. Envoy, whoa, just kind of pogo sticks himself onto the ledge, finds himself 0-4, and then finds himself back down onto the point again. So has a chance at the first tick of progress, steps off as the Thieves are trying to communicate some sort of a hit back to A. Adabuza's seen top window is going to be held at bay by Hydra as the A zone is being worked on.
Now you can already see on your minimap. Look at the way the LA Thieves are playing for these
Oh,
kills.
this has gotta be
Everyone
an
was
offense
watching a
win.
very important part of the map. Then at least are now all 4 dead. Second segment about to be locked. Vancouver don't have an opportunity unless some nades over the top are able to connect on the 8 point. They even contest this. Still the kill feed lighting up red. LA Thieves are again can do no wrong, and they already have an extra minute to play with.
Yeah, it feels like composure starting to get a little bit lost here for Vancouver. Just a couple of frustrated challenges, just trying to force stuff on that late contest at A. You got the stack over on the B zone. Moment of structure here for Surge, but they're going to lose 2 ticks of progress, and still every single
There's
kill
no way
continues
Surge.
to
They don't
turn
have
up
any
in favor of the
lives
Thieves. Nasty
unless they
holding on
just.
defensively though. Saves
There's
the
a minute
round,
40 and they only have
Vancouver
11
reset.
lives, so
17 v 11 though. Now
they
by
have to
6
get
slot,
like
you got
every
some
kill.
heavy ground to make up for here. Hydra trying to work the pinch, does get isolated. Now you have
Yeah,
this
they're
player
getting
weak
them,
towards middle map, so you're already finding the initial 2 kills. Players starting to get aggressive up through the spawn. Scrap though ready and waiting at the top of the zip with the knife out. Takes out Nasty. Now it's all on 0-4 to just continue to be a nuisance.
Doing what he can. The fortunate bit of news here is that he's getting a little bit of help and a couple of kills from his teammates from the front. The problem is you're losing lives and you're losing them quickly. 13 v 5. There's
No
the full
lives.
white.
One
Envoys is
tape.
going to try to push out the front door while the stack behind him gets underway. Well, it doesn't actually fully get stacked, mostly because the timing of these kills coming through. So Vancouver still have a chance to save this round, and boy, do they ever. Okay, hold on a second. 9v5, 60 seconds on the clock.
There's
and
still
Envoy
a
has to
minute
wait.
left.
Yeah, a little stack there right there for the Thieves would have hurt nobody. They would have probably been able to close out the map there, but they decided to have one person on it, giving Vancouver opportunities to still find the break, and they're currently doing a great job at it. But 7v3, no more respawns. Abuza, 0-4 Neptune, last players alive for Surge.
Yeah, and Scrap can just hop on the zone. He's got help at mid. Abuza's already been seen at ledge, but 0-4 Neptune finding a couple of kills.
Wait,
Neptune's been seen
now
over
it's
the
actually,
backside.
hold on.
Looking for the trade. A key elimination here. Neptune continues to dance with them. Finally, Scrap
There's
right
no
there to
way.
bail him out. But a 3v2. 30 seconds on the clock. Still plenty of time for Thieves if they want to play around the zone. But I was going to say maybe Abuza can cut them off, and you can see Nasty's already sitting
They
back
got
in
a
his chair.
little-
He knows the inevitable
little close.
is about to hit them, and it's a 3-0 from LA.
That's tough, man. This is a tough matchup for Vancouver. That's
Thieves
not a
online, man.
matchup they have gotten
Wait, let me
3-0
get my
in a row.
thumbnail. Let me see how everybody looking. Let me get me a thumbnail.
Can cut them off, and you can see Nasty's already sitting back in his chair. He knows the inevitable is about to hit them, and it's
Nobody's
a
really too
3-0
hyped
from LA.
or too
That's
sad.
tough, man. This is a tough matchup for Vancouver. And that's now the last 2 times they have matched up. They have gotten 3-0'd in both. You stand strong. When you think about this Surge squad, about their Hardpoint game,
Nobody's-
they're probably going up against the best Hardpoint team that we have in the game in LA.
Doing nothing,
Just
man.
opening up with that Mac 1 victory is great.
I might just take the Cell interview.
They look fantastic on it, and then just sticking
Where's the
to what
Cell
they've been
interview?
doing all season long, and that's being the best team in control. Leads to a 3-0 here for LA again over Vancouver.
Well, let me
Late
see
hit
if I.
old.
Wait, I might be
Just
able
for
to
the
get.
single
Let me
second,
get
they're trying
one
to
off
rotate
them.
towards new. They're gonna
I
try
might
to
be able to
rotate.
get a
They get
thumbnail
the
from
first
them.
2 kills, but now 2 kills fall. You want a gunfight for times? Is up. Look who's standing on new, and his teammates get the cutoff kills.
I think Slasher.
2 front war there for Carolina, and boy, did they fight.
Oh, it's not as bad
But
as I
ultimately,
thought.
they fall. Atlanta Faze for the 3-1.
Faze for the 3-1.
Oh yeah, this is good. Let me get a. This is a good Slasher thumbnail. Here we go. All right, here we go. Here's my thumbnail. Get that. All right.
Thieves showcasing a new level.
No, it actually feels like it is a matchup thing because Thieves have, taken a step in Search and Destroy. You know, I thought with Skyline getting removed, like maybe if they were a little wonky on dealership, it could be worrisome for them. But the dealership looked absolutely incredible, right? So you go up against Thieves, and it's like Surge and Thieves, like the 2 best hardpoint teams that we had throughout the last stage. If Thieves win that hardpoint, and then they have an opportunity to go up 2-0 in the Surge, like yeah, it is a matchup issue at this point for Surge. Gotta find a game mode where you can get an edge over Thieves.
I don't know. I'm hesitant to take that kind of angle on it just because they did during Minor 2 go all the way to a Game 7 versus LA Thieves. Okay. So I don't think it's necessarily that Surge will never be able to overcome or beat LA Thieves as the season goes on. It's just LA Thieves' bar right now, like their average is much higher than Vancouver Surge. I feel like if all the players on Vancouver Surge were playing at their ceiling, this is a Game 7, this is Game 5, this is Surge maybe taking wins. But unfortunately, we haven't seen that yet.
It's a 3-0 today, again, joining us live in the winner's circle.
Who
It
they
is
interviewing?
Scrap, the man who
Scrap.
once said you will never be in a grand final again, Vancouver. You didn't get an opportunity to get in their way back at Major 2. How have you guys reflected after that Major 2 event? You guys were coming into the tournament 7-0 with the #1 seed.
Yeah, you know, we hate this land shit, obviously. We're onliners, as Anthony said. But yeah, no, we're just like, I thought our process going into the major was good, so I think if we keep that, we should be looking pretty good.
1.28 today. You definitely look good on the AR once again.
Shit on. Yeah, no, that wasn't even close. Jesus Christ.
It really wasn't.
All right, Scrap, but this is one of those series where I can't ask you too much about it because that's how dominant it was across the board. So instead, I'm going to ask you kind of like, you guys, again, it's been you, Atlanta Faze, and then Surge kind of entered the conversation when it came to the top 4. Who do you think right now, outside of the top 4, comes to that 5th and 6th spot? Because it feels like during the split, every team with their roster moves have gotten better.
Yeah, let's see. This is a good question because I feel like once you get like 6 through like 10, you could probably slot anyone into like that 5th, 6th spot. Everyone on their given day is probably looking good. Boston's up there on their good days. Same with Minnesota. So I'll probably say those 2.
Got it.
Scrap, I want to ask you about the matchup with Toronto. Looks like you know, it's going to be tough and a little rivalry between you and Beans. Next time you guys play them, how are you going to approach it any differently?
Honestly, I don't think how we played the game, I don't think it came down to like how we played in game. I thought it was all out of game, and I think we all agree on that. Just not really coming in with energy, not really coming in thinking just like, let's come out and win this shit. I think we just kind of came in kind of complacent in the major, you could say. Just like thinking we were just come smoke everyone, and that's clearly not what happened. So as long as we're not complacent and just take everyone like they can win the tournament, I think we'll be pretty good.
Yeah, so talking about that a little bit, like the Hardpoint, you guys were so perfect online. Like every situation where it got tense, you guys made the right play, slowed down when you needed to. That went out the window at the major. What happened there? Like what you talked about how good your process was. What happened when you actually got to the land though?
I think that when we got into like you said, bad spots, our scrims were going so well in the major, and our matches were going so well to the point where we were
trash
really
talk always comes back to bite him.
So I think that when it got to land and we were in those tricky spots, we
can't be worse than what Shotzi did.
You know, didn't make the right plays, maybe rushed some certain things. So I think it came down to just, you know, not like, I don't know how to even
I get what you're saying, like you weren't rehearsed in the bad spots.
Exactly.
I get it.
Exactly. We never were that. For scrims and matches, it never felt like we were in that spot until land. So I think that was our problem.
Scrap, next week on Sunday, you get a chance to play against Toronto Ultra, your former squad. You and Beans, as Nameless mentioned, have been going back and forth. Can you give me a little bit of background on this scenario? Where did the beef start, and where is he at on your beef list?
Yeah, I don't know if I got real beef with Ben Bees. I like Ben Bees. We've been friends for, you know, all the way until challengers and stuff like that, but he's another player in the league that, you know, will talk some shit. And it's always fun to talk shit when against other people because people are dry in this league sometimes. So he's a good one to talk to.
Love that. Personalities. We need more of you. Thank you so much, Scrap. Thanks for a 3-0. I'm going home early tonight.
Me too. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Unlike last night, Toronto. Let's jump in, though, with our scuff play
All
of
right.
the game. It belongs to the one.
What's the matches next week? Let me take a look.
Very fluently.
Let's see.
He was fluid on the map in this one.
Miami Optic.
Pinch guys, learn from
Surge
Hydra
LAG.
You're gonna pinch
There's probably some piss match. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, this is a piss day.
Kind of send the SMGs
Damn.
out, make big plays.
That's
The Steelers
fine.
should, after
Saturday.
all, Hydra should be taking over.
Hydra's just unreal. I still can't. The 85% will never leave my brain when he was dropping like a 1.3. I was like, how do you get better? A 1.6. For the side of LA Thieves, I really enjoyed that interview actually from Scrap. I understand we're watching the highlights of Hydra right now, but
here, let's do this map real quick. What, do we know what this shit is? What is this?
It means that you can change it. So high hopes heading into major.
Honestly, don't. Let me get another pick.
Mental breakdown there. I give credit where credit is due sometimes too, and I give credit to Minnesota today. Let's talk a little bit about this squad.
It's AW DLC? Oh, I got no idea, bro.
Yo, this was like the ultimate me matchup.
I have absolutely no idea.
Dude,
Climate?
it delivered. Like these are
I don't think I've ever played this. I wasn't buying no AW DLC, man.
Listen, These two teams, I feel like,
I don't think I've
on,
ever
like,
played
the
this.
cusp of, like, breaking through, like the potential when you watch.
We at
it's always there. And, you know, for Minnesota,
142.
it is an awesome story. And
They don't.
to see, like, them
Do they not make
that
these
picture
anymore?
of all the
Yeah, they
returns
stopped
to
making.
look
When
at
did they
games,
stop
as
making
breaking
them?
down how they want to approach that next
They stopped making them
It's
like
gonna live in my
a
brain
year
because
ago.
that is what they were
Okay,
hoping
well we
for
got
bringing into the lineup.
142
And
more that we
statistically,
never
he
looked
pops
at.
off
But
today
I
as
guess they
well.
don't do it anymore.
I mean, they're just sponges. Like, I feel like Nero. Like,
All right, man.
around
That's
for a
it.
while, Gio-
I'll see you next week, same time. I think the major's at the end of the month. It's gonna move pretty quick now. I think so. It's gonna be like a couple weeks and then a major for the next like 3 months. So, anyways, I'm out. I'll see you next week.